We gotta keep that same energy. We gotta keep that same energy, man. It's good to be back. We're finally back. We're ready to talk to these fanboys, haters, and trolls. We're ready to get into some boxing talk. We got a lot to go over. And I'm gonna have the panel on. We want the opinions and voices of everybody, but there's a few things I gotta address first. I've had somebody call me a Canelo Alvarez hater. Now, I've been called a Tank hater, I've been a Benavidez hater, I've been called a hater for pretty much every fighter there is. But now I have people calling me a Canelo Alvarez hater. They don't listen to the videos. They're just putting, oh, you hating on Canelo. You're hating on Canelo. And the reason why they say I'm hating on Canelo is because I said David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez is a better fight than Canelo versus Conor Ben Eubank, than Canelo versus Hamza Shiraz. Yeah, Benavidez is a better fighter than all of those guys combined. He is. And so for somebody to call me a Canelo hater because of it, it just really shows me that these guys are fanboys and delusional, because nobody's that stupid. So anybody that believes that Hamza Shiraz, Conor Ben, Chris Eubank is a better fight for Canelo than David Benavidez, please, kindly, respectfully, slap yourself for being stupid. Because really, there's no reason for this dumb shit. David Benavidez is a better fight for Canelo than Terrence Crawford. He is. And this is what we're trying to say is, we all are boxing fans. We want to see the best fight the best. But these guys got to stop. 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 These guys are fanboys. These guys are trolls. These guys are haters. And to call me a hater over just trying to keep it real, it don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We just trying to keep it real, man. I'm going to drop the link. Let everybody get on there, man. Anybody that want to talk boxing, you feel free to come on here and talk boxing. And we can do that, man. We can do that. We can talk all of this. We can talk all of this and do all of this, man. But I've heard that Tank Davis is supposed to fight Jake Paul at the end of the year. If Tank Davis fights Jake Paul, like this is why Tank's a fraud. Tank's a fraud. And look, and first off, let me finish with the Canelo thing. Canelo losing me with this shit because Canelo, all of his last fights, I didn't like none of them. None of them. I didn't like the Berlanga. I didn't like the Munguia. I'm not liking Ben Eubank. I'm not liking Hamza Shiraz, and I don't like Terrence Crawford. I'm not liking any of this shit from Canelo fucking Alvarez. I'm sorry. And I'm not a Canelo fucking hater. I've already showed respect to Canelo. I've given him praise, but I'm not a fucking hater of Canelo. He got to fight better fucking people. I'm sick of seeing these garbage ass fucking fights. I'm sick of seeing these fucking mismatches. This is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. And then Tank Davis on the same side, that man's a fucking bitch-ass fraud. His whole career has ducked every fucking body, and you got the nerve to want to fight Jake Paul like you earned anything. Tank's a little fucking bitch. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the live stream, man. I apologize, Fight Sports. I apologize, Supreme.
Nah, you good.
I apologize, Carlos, man. Sorry, I apologize, man. I apologize to everybody, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm starting to get frustrated with this shit because these people losing their minds telling me. Let me ask everybody on the panel to get this started. Let me ask everybody on the panel to get this started. Before we keep going into this, what's your pick for Conor Ben and Chris Eubank? Whoever want to go first, everybody can give me their pick real quick because I got a little bit of energy right now. And I'm feeling some kind of way, and I got a little issue with the Canelo situation. But what you guys pick for Conor Ben, Chris Eubank this weekend?
My pick is Eubank by decision. My opinion has I'm a little bit unsure because of how drained he looked at the weigh-ins, and he's only rehydrating like 10 pounds. So we'll see how that plays out. But I still think, well, size matters. Ben has not looked the same since testing positive. Surprise, surprise. And he's also he also is stepping up 2 weight divisions, and typically elite fighters lose badly when that happens. And Conor Benn's not even an elite fighter, so I'm still picking him to win. This news, IBFP, it's I thought it was a joke at first. I thought Turk Alalshikh was just talking crap like a lot of people when he said the winner of this fight could fight Canelo or Shiraz if he beats Berlanga. But man, oh man, he is losing it.
And Fight Sports, that's why I like you, man. You keep it in a buck on this, man, and some change, man. I appreciate that shit, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Team, what do you think about all this shit, man? Talk to me, Preem. I need Preem to talk to me, man, before I get emotional.
Yeah, before we start getting emotional, comes on the panel. He gonna come on the panel soon, bro. Yo, listen. Nah, real talk. This is getting out of hand now, bro. Now, Eubank or Conor Benn, none of them. It's in Canelo's league. No, you shouldn't even be having that fight. Benavidez is the one he needs to fight. That's the one he needs to fight. Crawford, I don't want to see that either, but I got no choice. I have no fucking choice but to see it now. The Berlanga, of course, again, we had no choice but to see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's kind of, to me, it got to a point that it's kind of like a Rocky and Mick and Rocky. He was like, I was just keeping you safe. You know what I'm saying? From a real hungry fighters. You know what I'm saying? I need him to fight. I need him to fight the elite fighter. I need him to fight Benavidez. I understand people don't call him elite, whatever, but he could fight. This is the fight that we need to see. Not no fucking Eubank, not no Chris, not Shiraz, not Elizabeth, and not whoever the hell everybody else coming along. It needs to be Benavidez, man. I'm sorry to say. And for tonight, what's up?
Hold on, Preem. Preem, what about this? And if it's not Benavidez, can you at least fight like Christian and Billy? Because I think that fight fired in a bitch. But I think Billy better than Ben and Eubank.
I know he's better than both of them combined. If you put them both, listen, you can put them both together. You can put them both together like the Dragon Ball Z, where they fuse together. They still ain't better than that other dude. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So to keep it real, I'm gonna go with the fight for tomorrow. I don't know, man. Eubank, I know he's good. He's not a listener. He likes to do things his way. I mean, he fought good when he had this guy on his corner the last time, but now I don't know, man. I think Conor Benn's going to pull off the upset. I think Conor Benn's going to pull it off.
My brother Pimp got Conor Benn for the upset. Derek leaves a comment here saying IBFP exposed himself as another Canelo hater just now. He mad in Canelo, the king of boxing, and he can do whatever he wants. I'm not a Canelo fucking hater. Hold on. Somebody got your stuff up too loud, man. Somebody got your stuff up too loud. Somebody pause that shit, man. So Derek is talking about I'm a Canelo hater. I exposed myself. I'm this and that. Derek, kindly go ahead and eat a dick. And I'm going to tell you this, Derek, respectfully, Derek, go ahead and click the link. I'm going to save a spot just for you, Derek, because I would love to have a talk with you, man, because anybody that think I'm a Canelo hater obviously ain't been following the sport of boxing. That's it. And look, these are people that have been with me for a long time. Look at him. Anthony Pena, Nuke and his female emotion hormones. I say one thing about Canelo and it's a problem.
And can I jump in because I'm the one on the show who's always been critical of Canelo, and I'm not going to go into the I told you so, guys. That's bullshit. It's all the division is weak at the moment, so there aren't many big fights for Canelo, which is why everything I've said in the past, but again, that's the past. We talk about the future. It's disappointing. I wasn't a fan of the idea of Janibek jumping up to fight Canelo, but maybe because the division is weak, he kind of has to. Or I've always said I don't think Canelo is going to go to 175, and I still think he doesn't do very well up there. But in terms of challenging fights, maybe he has to. And if not, then we get more fights like this. And so it is what it is.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't accept this. I'm a Canelo fan, but I can't accept this bullshit that I'm hearing that Conor Benn or Chris Eubank could have the opportunity to fight Canelo or fucking Shiraz or fucking Berlanga again. Yeah, if I really have to see a 160 fighter fight Canelo, the only pass I'll give is Janibek. But other than that, I don't want to see these fights.
If I see another Berlanga with him, Berlanga fight, I'm done. I'm done with that camp. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Eris Landy Lara, I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch because he's a champion.
And look, I don't mind. I don't mind. Like, I understand sometimes guys are gonna have to move up and make fights happen. I understand all that stuff's gonna have to happen. Like Janabek Canelo, that's an interesting fight. That's a unified champion moving up in weight to fight Canelo. I'm cool
Yes.
with that because he's actually physically bigger than Canelo. But you also got Christian and Billy there. And I'm okay with the Williams Skull simply because it's a unification fight. But we got to stop these outlandish fights, guys coming from welterweight and shit. Like, let's stop this, bro. Like, they losing me, man. And then fucking Chris Eubank Jr. looking like a fucking Walking Dead zombie around this bitch.
Telling you, bro. Looking like Michael Jackson video. They like the Michael Jackson video, yo. Thriller.
This fight was just so The fight was so pointless to begin with. Like, I wasn't even that interested when they rescheduled it. I thought, okay, they hate each other, whatever. Now, then the egg slap kind of got me excited. And okay, as a grudge match, it is kind of exciting. But none of Eubank will go down as one of the biggest disappointments of this era because once he failed against George Groves, he never challenged for a world title again. He just ducked the best fighters. So it's and Conor Benn getting this opportunity. It's just silly. Like it's just a dumb fight that wasn't needed. Canelo's in a situation where the best fights for him are at 175, and you get, unfortunately, you're in this position when the division is weak, but this is why, unfortunately, again, when you have contenders like Benavidez and Morrell, when the opportunity's there, sometimes the division gets weak afterwards, and it is what it is.
Oh, we got Derlick on the line. Derlick is there.
Derek, talk to me, my brother. Tell me how I'm a fanboy, my brother.
Up,
the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just got one quick question for you. Is that okay?
No question. Tell me how I'm a fanboy.
I can't ask you a question?
No, don't ask me no question. Tell me how I'm a fanboy. Hold on, bro. You call me a fanboy. Explain to me how I'm a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy, a hater of Canelo.
I got a question for you. Do you delete
this
comments?
ain't about this. This is not your show. Hold on, bro.
Yo, Derlick. Hey, Derlick,
this is not your show, bro. You are a guest here. You are a nobody. Understand who you are. When I go to your mama house, I don't try to tell her what to do.
I was already there.
Tell me and explain to me how I'm a Canelo hater.
Do you know who I am?
Okay, this guy don't want to talk.
What is
Derlick?
This guy don't want to talk.
I think it's Derlick.
He don't want to talk.
Bro, he like a 10-year-old. What are you talking about? Talking about, you know who I am? Get the hell out of here.
Like, who are you? You just do this some fanboy. There's nothing else to say. You're done.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, while he was coming with this BS, he was typing out of the chat like, bro, keep that same energy.
Bro, I'm telling you, these guys are
look who just showed up in the comments.
Tough guys.
Who just showed up in the comments.
Yeah, look, Fight Sports, we've seen them both at the same time.
Dumbasses.
All right, man. And look, let me get Solidus T. Solidus T, who was your prediction for this fight, my brother? Ben Eubank, who's the prediction for that the winner of that fight?
To be honest, this might sound crazy, but I think the fight might fuck around and get canceled because the way Eubank look. Like, I don't think they should go forward with the fight based on that. But let's say they fight for the sake of it. I guess Conor Benn, just because Eubank looked like he's dead, his weight with the draining and all that.
He's walking
so I think that might be disadvantage. So yeah, he might win because of that. I never really like that UK dude, that England dude on the panel said. I wasn't really excited for this fight anyways. So I say Conor Benn.
What do you think about one of them fighting Canelo, bro? That's crazy.
Well, everybody knows my stance. I like Canelo, but I hate his fans. But I made a lot of enemies on these panels because of the Canelo stuff. I've been saying for like 2 years, the only fight for him to fight is Benavidez, but he don't want to do it. The Crawford fight is a waste of time. These fights that they're saying he might do after this, these are a waste of time. If it's not Benavidez, there's nobody else for him to fight. Christian and Billy, that's cool, but if it's not Benavidez, there's nobody left for Canelo to fight. What's up?
I disagree with that statement.
It's kind of crazy because it kind of sounds like Canelo said in an interview. He said that the only fight I'm interested in 175 is going to be Bivol.
Yeah, so let's
Bivol,
jump into that. Let's
Bivol.
jump. One second, Solidus. We're gonna jump into that topic real quick. Let me just read this comment, then I'm gonna go to Jigglypuff Tough, and then we're gonna go around the panel and talk about all this shit, man. Sacramento 916 says Turkey told Canelo not to fight Jake Paul because that's a mismatch. Then turns around and sets these fights up. What the fuck? That's all I'm saying. These are the Turk losing his turban, man. He losing his turban because he losing me with this shit, man. Turkey, you're losing me. Turkey, you sound like, see, you don't sound like Turkey. You sound like ham. This don't make any sense, bro. Get your shit together, bro. You're going to get fried up with this shit. Stop it, bro.
Like
give us the fights we want to see. Like, I mean, it shit don't even make any sense. And him and Terrence Crawford over here holding hands. This man got on his knees, begged you enough, and got the fight that couldn't nobody else get. All because he got on his knees and bent over backwards for you. Crawford's a hell of a fighter. He's a great fighter, but that shit don't make no sense, bro.
Yeah, but Canelo, he allowed himself to be bribed into fighting the guy that's not this weight class.
He did.
That's a red flag.
He absolutely did. And Turkey also put up the money. That's what I'm saying. It's mutual to blame here. It's not one side, it's all sides. You got to blame Canelo. You got to blame Turkey. You also got to blame David as well for fucking up the situation. That's what I mean. Boxing is having a fucking hard time right now because everybody fucking up. People ain't doing what they supposed to do. Hit Kid's about to slap a bitch. But before we get to my brother Hit Kid,
I have to be honest. I'm rolling with the punches. I've had my eldest dog die today.
Hey, Hit Kid, I like your video, man. I saw your video.
Sorry.
I like it, bro.
I've lost 2 pets this month. My oldest cat and now my eldest dog. So I'm rolling with the punches, as the saying goes. But I'm here.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Because pretty much, one, this is the family, so salute to the family. 2, I have a fucking ton of shit I want to get off. It's been a few weeks since the video, and I'm pissed off with a couple of things.
Hey, you from the UK, right?
Yeah, the Ben Eubank fans tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it.
Are you going to be there, or are you watching it at home?
I'm watching it on telly.
Okay.
And
hold on, Hit. Let me go to my brother Jigglypuff Tough real quick, man. Jigglypuff, what do you think about everything we've been saying, and who's your pick for the Conor Ben Chris Eubank fight?
Well, salute everyone. Thanks for having me back on.
Salute.
With the Conor Ben Eubank Jr. fight. Right now I still have it 50-50. I don't really know who's gonna win. I just know it's gonna be a war. They both fucking hate each other, so it'll be fun to watch them smash on each other.
I think Conor Ben got the advantage.
Now, what do you think about all this Canelo stuff, Jigglypuff Tough, man? That because I'm not really feeling these fights that the Turk is trying to line up for, man. I'm not really feeling these, bro.
Yeah, no. As far as that goes, fuck the winner of that getting the Canelo fight, and fuck the winner of the Berlanga fight getting the Canelo fight. Both those are trash in my opinion. I'm not going to give any credit towards that. I understand the whole argument of like, oh, Canelo gets to pick and choose, but he's already talking about like he was hinting towards that he might be going towards retirement. So fuck, dude, go out with a bang. Don't do a Floyd Mayweather bullshit, dude. Give us next 2 fights after Crawford. I want to see fucking Benavidez and Bivol. Those are the 2 fights I want to see him go out on. Fucking go out on the Shield. Show us what his fucking legendary status is, and let's fucking go out loving this man as the fucking champion we always know him to be.
Thank you. This is why this is my dog right here. This is why this is my dog. We all bitch when Floyd was sitting up there fighting bullshit fights at the end of his career. And then we're going to block Canelo for doing it? No, I'm not finna hold nobody's nuts. And look at Anthony Pena back on here. And Anthony Pena used to be a big supporter of the channel. Now, everything he got to say is crazy. He said, Nuke, what promoter is willing to put up the money for David? Who? But Canelo gets offered $100 million for a nobody and you crying. You would give Ashy Knuckles a hand job for $1 million. Now,
I don't know about all that. That's diabolical.
This is diabolical, but it's so
That's
funny
crazy.
to me.
And Ashy Knuckles just got on.
It's funny to me. It's funny to me is I wouldn't give nobody a hand job for no amount of money. I'm not your mama.
Somebody else.
Okay,
well, Ashy Knuckles will lose his fucking nickname if he gets a hand job.
It's so crazy that one.
Who's echoing?
I was just gonna.
Somebody got an echo.
That's Ashley.
I think that's you, Ashley.
You got an
Ashley
echo, Ash.
Knuckles, you got to fix your shit, man. You got to fix your
Ashley,
shit. And the
fix your
whole thing about
microphone,
this
Ashley.
Ashley guy is, not Ashley, this Anthony guy is, the whole thing about it is, his mama the only one willing to give hand jobs some money. But one thing I will tell you is this. Turkey Alalshikh already said that he wants to try to make a Canelo-David fight. He backtracked and said he's open to it. Now you got to convince Canelo to take it. Canelo clearly said the only fight he's willing to take at 175 is Dimitri Bivol. I have no problem if he fights Bivol. But if the two fights you got on the table are Benn and Eubank, and you take that, and you take the Shiraz fight, that's ass to me, bro. I can't fuck with Canelo on that type of shit.
Oh,
because now you're taking a bunch of
Listen, Anthony, Anthony Pena's mom is like a doorknob. We all took turns. All right, let's go.
Before you go, Hickman, I agree. Everybody knows my stance. I never expect Canelo to fight Benavidez. Bivol, I don't think Canelo ever wins that fight, but if he takes it, okay. The thing is, Bivol is held up with, he's got the trilogy with Beterbiev, which is no foregone conclusion. Then, I mean, Benavidez has to be next. I've been saying that. I've been saying that since the fight was announced. So Canelo, I actually don't want to see him have an immediate shot there when you've got Benavidez, who has fought at 175 and had a lot of success.
Benavidez needs to fight in between, though, if I'm allowed to say that.
No, Benavidez is going to take
Oh, yeah, he's going to add a caveat to fight sport.
Hold on. So this is where we're getting it all convoluted. Nobody's saying Canelo's very next fight is going to be Dimitri Bivol because he's already going to fight that trash-ass fight with Terrence Crawford. Another fight that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for Belonga. Nobody asked for Munguia. Nobody asked for Crawford. Nobody wants Shiraz. And nobody, I mean, no fucking body wants Benn or Eubank winner versus Canelo. Nobody wants all of these fights. Nobody wants these fights. And so, hold on. So when we say Bivol as an acceptable fight, we're cool with that. But we're also cool with Christian and Billy, a young, hungry contender that looks better than all of these guys. And Billy looks better than Benn and Eubank. He looks better than Shiraz. Shiraz just got a fucking robbery draw. But guys want to see him fight Canelo. Like, what is this stupid shit? Like, I've never seen so much dick eating in my life. It don't make any sense. It's getting out of fucking control. When I got dudes sitting up here telling me that I'm a hater 1 minute, I'm biased the next minute, it's just a bunch of bullshit. It is. And I'm sorry. Chris Eubank is fucking drained, and Connor Benn look like he needs an egg salad. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this fucking shit.
I want to add a caveat, too.
Let my brother Park Street add this caveat. Park Street, talk to him, my brother.
So, if Canelo is serious about wanting to fight Bivol, right? Do he leave it in the air and say, I hope to fight Bivol, or do he go and beat David, who's the mandatory and the champion, to demand it, to keep that in place? I'm not trying to keep nothing in the air. I'm going to go fight them. See, before David wasn't standing in his way because he didn't offer nothing. Now David is standing in your way and he offers something. Don't be a pussy now.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't be a pussy now.
Hold on. Park Street. This is what I said in my last video.
We talking legacy now.
I said, now David has something to offer Canelo. Now David has the WBC championship at 175. Now David also has the WBA mandatory spot for Dimitri Bivol. This is the perfect time for Canelo to go up there, get that smoke in, and then he's right there for Bivol. But if Bivol loses to Beterbiev or he moves up, that fight's off the table. And now you end up fighting fucking Benn Eubank or fucking Shiraz or one of them garbage ass fights. I'm sorry, my brother Park Street spitting in this bitch.
I got one more thing to add. And for everybody that said that David, there's no mandatory activation and this, that, and the third. Well, with the same belt, why did Bivol get stripped but Canelo didn't?
Because the WBC enforced it with Bivol.
Nah, David activated it. That's why. That's the difference.
All right.
Activated.
That's the difference.
No. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to come to the defense of Benavidez a bit here. David did activate, but to be fair, WBC did jump the line and unfairly fucked Bivol over. Let's be real.
No, I'm not saying that they did, but that's the same difference because the WBC also mandated Canelo 2024. But did he activate? No, and that's the key difference. That's why Canelo didn't get stripped, and that's why Bivol did get stripped. The same way
now,
when they
now it's really up
activated.
to now it's really up to Canelo really right now.
Oh no, absolutely
Now
it is. It absolutely because see now he got to back up what he was saying because see
Yep.
before he was saying it was
Stop
about
the
legacy.
It's
It
got
was
to be
about
what it got to
legacy.
be. Yep.
So now
Now
if
it's
it's really
all
about legacy,
like
because
you
see now
said.
it's
Now
legacy and payday because
Right,
it's
right.
going to be legacy
Exactly.
and he's going to get that 250 mil or whatever the fuck he was talking about.
It's time for Canelo to put up or shut up, bro.
Now
It's time,
now
bro.
time to big fact.
It's time to put up or shut up, bro.
Park Street.
And I'm
I
a
need something
casual.
from you. Park
I'm
Street,
a
I need
casual.
something from you, my brother. Go ahead and put in the private chat, put your email, man. We're going to make some content together, my brother. Put your email in the private chat. Let me get that on deck, man.
I have a few things to say.
Yeah, you
And
got to
I'm
make
going to let
that
Hit
intro
Kid
music,
go.
brother.
And I got to say this real quick,
I
man.
got to
Preem,
hear
that
it,
hat
Hit.
looking crispy than a bitch. That Green Bay Packers hat is fresh
Green
as
Bay
fuck.
shit is fire.
The only thing y'all
Supreme
just
getting all
gotta
cheesehead over
understand
there.
is Canelo is
Oh,
not
not
going
God, not
to
this
fight
guy.
David Benavidez. So y'all just talking. Y'all talking in
I'm
circles.
not.
Why
I'm
you
not really.
saying that?
I'm not really going to
Oh,
waste too much time on Canelo-Benavidez. So I'm not. Pretty much, all I'm going to say on the Canelo situation is I'm predicting on the fight tomorrow. I'm predicting a Conor Benn knockout within 5 rounds. Yeah, there's a hot take.
Within 5 rounds. Whoa.
Yep. I also think, what do you call it? Benn ain't even going to take the Canelo fight because he's insisted he's going back down to 147 to challenge for the welterweight title. Like he's been saying that
What weight
all
class
week.
are they fighting at? What's the weight that they're fighting at?
160.
160.
But he's weighed in. Ben's weighed in at 156. So I would be interested to see Ben at 154, but I think he wants to move down to 147. Speaking of
Him versus
147,
Boots will be a good fight.
speaking of 147, I need to say this: Brian Norman Jr. is a duck.
Yep.
Mario Barrios is complete and utter fucking trash.
Yep.
Let's just get into this. Brian Norman Jr. fights Shinsake. I know Shinsake, I believe, maybe a mandatory. I'm not sure with his belt, but pretty much Top Rank are doing an in-the-house fight there. Nobody cares about that fight. We all know you overpriced yourself for the Bruce Ennis fight because you duck boots. And then this fucking Barrios. Listen, I love Manny Pacquiao, one of my all-time favorite fighters. Manny Pacquiao is nowhere near the same fighter now as he is, okay? And not because rumor has it the fight is going to happen. I will be cheering on Manny. But fuck me, you are trying everything to avoid, unifying your division because you know you've got that ass whooping coming off Boots.
You see the similarities that's going on here? It's the WBC. If the WBC allows that bullshit ass fight, Manny Pacquiao and Barrios, and allows Conor Benn, the winner between Conor Benn and Eubank to fight, it's trash.
WBC is utter trash. I think they fucked over many fighters' careers. I think they fucked over David Benavidez' career. I think they fucked over Canelo. I definitely think they fucked over Bivol. Like I said it, I think Bivol having his belt stripped was completely wrong. So I think they've been fucking over fighters left, right, and center. I think the WBC has been utter fucking garbage.
How did WBC fuck over Canelo? Explain that.
Damn, he got you out there, Hit.
Hold on. I'm going to say to him, okay? WBC fucked over Canelo because, let's be honest, I get that Canelo got the belt off the fucking Yildirim fight, if you all remember, and that's how he got the belt.
You talking about the made up franchise belt? That's what you're talking about?
Knuckles, shut up.
Oh, I hate those fucking belts. No, I hated those when they announced.
No, but I'm just saying. Hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. You could tell WBC was catering to Canelo because on the strength of the franchise belts. Because if it wasn't, where's the franchise belt now?
Actually, I've hated those franchise belts when they.
I know you hated it, but I'm just making my point. I'm not talking about how you felt. I'm talking about it proves that the WBC was catering to Canelo on the strength that they made a belt for him.
Could say the same
and
about
if the belt was that irrelevant, the belt would still be around. The belt don't exist anymore, which lets you know it was bullshit from the fucking giddy up.
I agree.
It was just something to please Canelo. I'm just letting you know because you said the WBC was fucking over Canelo. So I'm just letting you know. No, they was
the reason why I'm saying the WBC fucked up with Canelo is because they should have called the Benavidez fight.
Canelo's 3% that he got to pay them for sanctioning is way more than any other fighter could give him for their 3%. Oh my God,
dude,
it's business. Y'all know this.
Canelo.
Let's stop playing games, man. WBC was catering to Canelo. Wasn't no fucking over. I just wanted to correct him on that. It was no fucking over Canelo. You can name all them other fighters.
So, Hit Kid, until you come up with a response, he got you in a grave right now, my brother.
That's fine. But all I'm saying is, I feel like they fucked over Canelo because pretty much they should have called the Benavidez fight, which they didn't.
Okay, hold on. We're going to come right back to that. Let me just go over a few. Let me go over a few questions real quick. Hold on, Ashley. We're going to come right back to it. One second. We're going to go over a few questions first. The first one is Mike Trade says Arthur 2.0 finna stop Morrell in July. Imam Katiev. If you guys don't know, that fight is already, I think he has like 9 knockouts in 10 fights or something like that. He's going to fight David Morrell on that big card. So that's going to be an excellent fight. I'm really looking forward to that. Salute my brother Mike Trades. See what else we got here. My brother Harris says, salute Nuke. I was thinking to support your channel. You should just do live watch-alongs and Undisputed Game live streams too. Just a suggestion. If anybody wants me to do a live watch-along, I'll do it. If people want me to do Undisputed Game live streams, I'll do it. If people want me to go to the strip club and show you exclusive footage, I'll do it. All you got to do is leave it in the comments, man. If you want me to, if that's what you want, man. If you want me to go to Anthony Pena's mama house and you know, show what her bedroom look like, I'll do it. I do what I do for the people, man. My brother Domo says, salute. What's the topic? The topic is anything, everything. And my brother Park Street ripped the hell of one. Park Street, I'm going to make a video about this exact topic that we talked about, my brother, because I just got to. I think you broke it down perfectly. I'm giving all credit to Park Street. Park Street really broke that shit down and explained it in a way that really made it clear to everybody. That's my brother from another mother. Park Street, drop your email in a private chat, my brother. Let's make some content, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Domo says, at Ashy Knuckles, the WBC was catering to David Benavidez by giving him a shot at an interim for Volstick, then allowing him 3 delays, to decide whether or not he was staying at 175 or going back to 168. So he's challenging you on that, Ashy Knuckles. He's saying the WBC catered to David Benavidez, allowing him 3 fucking delays. Nobody gets that many delays.
If they was catering to David Benavidez, they would have stripped Canelo. On the strip that
hold on, Ashley, you're not making sense. Hold on, Ashley. See, Ashley, we start getting on the right page, and then you say some dumb shit. Why would they strip Canelo when David? Hold on, Ashley. Why would they strip Canelo when David was still trying to fucking decide what he wanted to do?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I'm explaining.
That don't make any sense,
I mean,
bro.
listen. Let me make it make sense for you. Let me make it make sense for you. For the same reason, just like remember after he beat Caleb Plant, he was supposed to be mandatory to fight Canelo. You remember that? You remember that, right? Or don't nobody on the panel remember that?
So he said after the fight,
on the panel
was going to. Hold on. I want to make sure we got it on point. You want to say after that? He said he's supposed to be mandatory to fight Canelo. Hold on. Let me finish, Ashley. So after the Caleb Plant fight, he was supposed to be mandatory to fight Canelo, and then he was presented with a mandatory opportunity. Was he not?
No, listen, man. How you gonna cut me off to explain that to me? I'm trying to make a point. I'm just bringing that up to make a point. The point I'm trying to make is the same way that he was mandatory to fight Bivol, and they stripped his ass that fucking quick. Remember that when he just now when it just happened not too long ago, they would have did the same thing to Canelo. But see, the reason why they did it to Bivol is because Bivol was not a cash cow like Canelo is. So they don't give a fuck about stripping him because his 3% would never compare to fucking Canelo's 3%. So yeah, they're gonna move on him quicker than they would move on Canelo. Because if that was the point, if that's the point after Benavidez beat Plant and fucking Boo Boo, he was supposed to have been mandated to fight him. They would have been like, okay, you got to fight him next. Ain't no listen, man. Him the opportunity. Listen, let me finish. Then explain to me. If they would have told Canelo, look here, ain't no more Munguias and no more whatever old boy name was, you got to fight Benavidez next. That lets you know, because Canelo just said he won 150 to 200 million to fight David Benavidez. If he's not gonna fight him without that money, what makes you think he was gonna tell the WBC, all right, well, if y'all gonna say y'all gonna strip me, I'll go along with it. No, they wasn't gonna force him to fight him. Just like he ain't gonna fight him now.
He would be called a duck.
Ashley predicts the
future. Yeah, he would be called a duck.
So Ashley,
what is that gonna do? What is that gonna do to Canelo's career? That's not gonna change how y'all feel about him.
Okay, hold on. Let me respond to that.
Yes, it will.
Hold on, Ashley, because you're not making sense. The
I'm not
mandatory
making
was called.
sense.
Hold on, actually, relax. The mandatory was called. David Benavidez decided to move up in weight once it was called, dumbass. And then not only did he move up in weight,
Why did it
later in
take
the
that long?
year, when they came back to him, he still delayed it 2 more times and then said, no, I'm going to stay up and wait and not enforce it. The reason
Okay.
Bivol was stripped was because he enforced it by putting in his paperwork. He didn't do that with Canelo. He was still fucking deciding.
Hold
and
on.
when they
Whoa,
came
whoa,
to him
whoa.
in February, March, he said, no, fuck
Whoa,
that, I'm
whoa,
moving
whoa,
up.
whoa,
You
whoa,
obviously
whoa,
don't know
whoa.
the history of this
No,
shit,
no, no,
Ashley,
no,
and you
no.
make
You
yourself look
don't, man.
crazy.
You don't.
I'm gonna break it down to
Look
you.
like,
I'm
no,
gonna
you
break it
can't
down to
break
you.
it down. Those
I'm
are
gonna
the
break it down
facts.
to you.
I'm
Those
ready,
facts have no room
IBFP.
for
I'm gonna break it.
interpretation.
I'm gonna break it down to you. Let me say.
Tell me
You
when you're
said
ready,
your piece.
IBFP.
Let me say my piece.
Hold on, Ashley. I'm about to put you on
emotional.
a quick hold real quick. Let me get to the next one. Let me get to the next one real quick. We're going to come back to you, Ashley, because you're talking nonsense. That's already been debunked 10 times. Antonio Garcia says, salute to the panel, except for Sassy Knuckles.
Salute.
My brother, Sacramento 916 says, mandatory was a year after the Caleb Plant. Exactly. And not only was that, is David Benavidez pushed it off and delayed it and said no when it was about to be called. He
3
made another
times.
fight and
Just
then
answer this
delayed it
one
2 more
question.
times. This is
Answer
what I
this
mean.
one
Not
question for
everybody
me, and I'm gonna shut
understands
up.
this.
Just
Who
answer
Hold
this
on,
one.
Ashley. Hold on, Ashley.
Well,
These are just facts. These are just
Okay.
facts. Hold
Just
on,
answer
1
this
second.
one
1
question,
second.
and I'm
So
gonna just listen.
Antonio Garcia, hold on, Ashley. I'm still going through the comments. I'm gonna get right back to you. Antonio Garcia says Karen Knuckles ashamed of nothing and offended by everything. Salute to you, Antonio. My brother
had to get
Domo
that shit
said,
for Ashley.
Emotional.
Shea Butter. Oh man, don't do it like
Oh
that.
man.
Domo says at Ashy Knuckles, but they did though, and they made an agreement at the WBC convention in November
Here we go
2023.
with the. Here
David
we go
moves
with
up
the
in weight
agreement.
in February. Why? So if they made an agreement in November and David moved up in weight in February, that's a body bag, dumbass.
Body
Let
Yep.
me put the
bag.
body
Body.
out there,
Body.
because he don't know what
Y'all
the
still
fuck
didn't.
he's
Well,
talking
You still
about.
didn't answer my. You saying the
That's a
body bag.
body, bro.
You
What are you
saying
talking?
Go,
Asking
go
you
to
okay.
the
what?
go,
Okay.
go
You
to
just
the
Okay.
got
You
go, go
saying it's
to
a
the
bodied.
body bag.
coffin
Okay. You
up there. That's
say
a body bag.
can somebody just answer this
Bro, you
question?
just got
Just
bodied.
just
It'll be a
You
answer this
got
coffin.
question, man.
bodied.
Just answer this
I'm
well,
question.
about
After
emotional.
what fighter?
I
After what
just got
fighter?
body.
After what fight was What fighter did Benavidez beat when he was mandated to fight Canelo next? Just answer that question for me. Was
It
it
was
Plant
Caleb
or was it
Plant,
after
and
Boo
then
Boo?
they didn't announce the mandatory till March of the next year. You don't know your facts.
Listen,
That's
listen,
the
man.
problem
Body
with you.
bag.
Listen,
Another
just
one from
listen,
Timmy
man.
Another
Pump.
another
body
This
bag.
body
guy does
bag.
Listen,
not
man.
know his
Y'all,
facts, and he keeps
I'm trying to
talking
prove.
about.
I'm trying to
Ashley,
prove a
you're
point,
making the
and y'all
wrong
just
argument
talking.
because you're confused. You're lost.
I'm not confused. I'm
David
trying
had
to.
an
Hey, Ashley.
opportunity, and
Ash,
he
you losing
passed on
control. You
it, bro.
losing control, Goose.
Listen,
Accept
man.
it.
If y'all just
Hey,
listen
Goose, you
and
losing
stop.
control, Goose. You losing control, Goose.
If
I'm losing
y'all
control,
just
Goose. I'm losing
listen
control,
and
Goose.
come with facts
We've
instead of
already
jokes, then
listened,
maybe.
and we debunked
We
everything he
listen and
said. It's all been debunked.
So what fighter? Y'all still didn't tell me. Y'all
I
said
just
after
told you.
Plant.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
listen. I'm gonna
wow.
repeat what y'all said. Y'all said after Plant, it was mandated that next March, right?
After the line of mandatories, because
Right?
there's a line of
Am I right
mandatories. You
or
have
am
to
I
go in
wrong? I'm just
order.
answer
You
the
can't
Yes.
question.
just jump the line.
Okay,
Yes.
which means a year later, who did Canelo fight in between that year of him
It was
having to wait till
What
March,
mandatories
right?
difference does
near
it
the end
made
of the
who
year.
I'm gonna
Canelo
prove
fought
it.
between that
I'm
time?
gonna
What
Another
difference
I'm
does
gonna
that
I'm
make?
gonna
mandatory.
make my point.
Daniel.
I'm
Even
gonna
your
make my
analysis don't
point.
make sense.
I'm gonna make my
Who did he
point.
fight, Ashley? Who did he fight?
I'm
Ashley.
can
asking
I make
y'all.
it?
Ashley, who
Can
did
I
he
make
fight,
it
I'm
simple?
Ashley?
listen.
I
Y'all
gotta.
gotta how you gonna have me answer the question I'm answering that I'm asking y'all?
Well, answer
That
it.
don't
I
make
mean,
sense.
Because
you know,
you
Well, answer the
obviously
shit.
you know
you
what you're
know it.
talking
Go ahead
about.
and answer it. Let's
How I
see.
don't know what
That's
I'm
why we
talking about,
said.
and y'all the Canelo fans, man.
I
That's why
said
I'm
you
asking the
do
Canelo
know what you're
The
Oh
fan of
talking
man.
about.
boxing, bro.
You do know what you're talking about. So tell us who he fought,
after John Ryder, right? He fought Munguia.
which
Then
was
he
a
fought.
mandatory.
Then
Which
he
was a
fought.
mandatory.
Listen, man, you're doing too much talking.
It wasn't
Did he
mandatory.
These are
did he
facts.
fight? Okay, he that was his mandatory, right?
Who
John
else?
Ryder was a mandatory too, right? That was one,
WBO.
right? Then Munguia was the next mandatory. You telling me, right?
Yep. WBC, I believe.
Which means that made David Benavidez have to wait, right? Right?
He
That's what
made
you're telling me,
No.
right?
himself wait. He made himself wait.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
How he subway? If
Because
listen,
he
y'all
didn't
said
activate the mandatory.
after the
What are you
Plant, he was
talking
mandatory.
about?
He was supposed to be the mandatory to fight him, right? So y'all say he had to fight John Ryder because he was a mandatory, and y'all said Munguia was a mandatory,
But
right?
what is the
So
activate
what's the
means to you?
point at what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
What
what
you get
does
to
it
the
mean?
point.
What the fuck?
I had already told y'all for the same reason why he stripped Bivol that fast. He was already mandated after Plant, right? So after he fought, so y'all trying to say he didn't have to fight
He
him?
wasn't mandated. He was given the mandatory option. David has to activate it.
Exactly.
Now,
you have to put in your paperwork at that moment. Even Jose Sr. said, we got our hold on. Jose Sr. said, we got our paperwork.
On
we're
video.
ready to put it in, and we're ready to mandate the Canelo fight. And then when the fight came around in the middle of the summer, they didn't do it. They put in their paperwork at 75 and not 68. You keep getting bodied, Ashy. You're not making sense, bro. You're not making sense. You are lost on this one, bro. Accept the L, my brother. Accept the L.
I'm just gonna say this and let the show move.
Hold on one second. Let me get this next comment real quick. Let me get this next comment. Domo says, at Ashy Knuckles, Caleb Plant, they take a year to announce the Mando, which is why they made the agreement to order the fight. On video on March of 2024 for May, Fat Boy moves himself up in weight in February. Why would he do that?
Why?
See? And not only did he move himself up in weight, later in the year, he took 2 extensions and decided to stay up in weight. Ashy, this point has been debunked. You've been body bagged, buried, pissed on, everything, and you still want to come back from the grave. I've never seen this much stupidity in my life. Like, let it go. You lost. It's over.
You ever
okay, I lost. Well, like
Tank?
I said, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on with the show. Basically, y'all saying back then Canelo was gonna fight him, right? So what changed from
we don't know.
David didn't do his part. That's what we're saying.
Listen, let me finish. I said let me say what I'm gonna say.
And we needed David to do his part.
I understand that. Listen, I understand that.
That's what
we don't know. The point I'm trying to make is this. If he was going to fight him, like I said, y'all don't know what changed from then to now. What changed from then to now that why he needs 150 to 200 million to fight David Benavidez?
So because everybody wants to see that fight.
Didn't he say it for the mandatory to be called?
Let me just body bagging real quick, man, so we can get this out of the way.
Idiot, bro.
So he can start talking, so we can talk about Canelo and Benavidez and what good fights are next and all of this. So first off, Ashley, did Team David Benavidez say that Canelo deserves that amount of money to fight him? Did they say he deserves it?
Yes. Listen, man, there you go.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No.
Listen, shitty-ass question.
Answer it.
Answer the question. Does Team Benavidez say Canelo deserves that money, yes or no?
I could think you deserve $100 million.
No, it ain't about what you think I deserve. Me and you ain't finna get into no fight, Ashley.
All right, listen,
let's just go to the next topic.
Okay, Ashley been body bagged. He don't want to accept the cash.
Let's go to the next topic.
Yo, Jiggy, you don't want to accept that. He's getting body bagged.
Let me finish the comments. Man, because Ashley's just all over the place.
Nah, you
don't want to accept the L, bro. You don't want to accept the L, bro. Like, you getting your ass destroyed on here. Paul.
All I'm saying is,
don't make any sense, bro.
Ashy Knuckles getting slapped around like a $2 whore on Butcher Avenue.
Your boy keep talking about he's disrespectful. He keeps saying he's disrespectful. He thinks he's Superman. He's been thinking like that for a long time, which lets me know he don't want to fight him. So why he just won't shut him up?
Did Team Benavidez say that Canelo deserves 150 million?
Why your man just won't shut him up? Why your man just won't shut him up? Why your man just won't shut him up?
We're going to give Ashley one more.
Okay, let me get to the next question, man. Let me get to the next question.
We're going to give him one more chance.
Hold on, Ashley. Hold on.
Why Cinnamon Head won't shut him up, though?
Ashley, wait a minute, man. Harris X says, the more I think about it, Bivol stops Canelo and Benavidez.
Wow.
I don't think he stops Canelo, but I've always thought that he stops Benavidez. I personally think he's a bad style matchup for Benavidez to the point where he would stop David. But I said that I know Fight Sports disagree with that wholeheartedly, but I've always thought that Bivol either destroys him 12-0 or stops him. And I know people call me crazy for it, but I think Bivol is really that good.
Actually, I think Benavidez.
He can fight coming forward.
I think Benavidez would be a better matchup for Bivol than Canelo. Canelo, like I told you last time, he doesn't fight good.
I pray to my dead mama that they fucking fight because he's going to beat the fuck out of Canelo. And I swear for God, when I come on here, I'm going to
All
I'm trying to tell y'all because listen, Canelo is to the street now. Canelo is to the street.
You shut
If he
up for like
if he wanted to fight Bennett, he know Benavidez is a bad
pointless.
matchup. That's why he don't want to fight him unless it's a big amount of money because it's a risk. Why you think he needs 200 million to fight somebody who's a nobody?
I'm gonna keep it real.
King jumped in the ring and mopped the floor with
as the Canelo critic on the show, I'm just going to say, look, I don't think Canelo would ever fight Benavidez. But if the Turkey's not even trying to make the fight, which he clearly isn't, that's on him. I don't think Canelo will ever take the fight. But your job as the money man in boxing is to at least try to make it, and he's not trying to make it. So at this point, you've got to blame Turkey, just if not more so than Canelo in some ways. Yeah.
Nah, I don't blame Turkey.
I'm gonna be honest.
You should have that same energy for Turkey.
He's the champ. He's the king. He's supposed to be like, you know what? I'm the king. I'm tired of this dude running his mouth. I'm going to beat the fuck out of this. I'm going to beat the hell out of this.
You don't know how business
to be honest with you,
out of the dad body dude, shut his fucking mouth. But he won't do it.
Hey, to be honest with you, I think if Benavidez and Canelo, if Benavidez and Canelo did actually fight, I don't think Benavidez will beat the fuck out of him, but I do think he'll beat him though. I don't think he'll destroy him though. No, but I think he'll beat him.
He's not going to destroy him. He's not going to destroy him, but he's going to do him. He's going to do him worse than Bivol did.
That's cat.
I promise you.
The host of the show needs the floor for 1 second. Now, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody can believe whoever's going to win, and we never really know until the fights happen. But the funniest thing I've ever heard is that David Benavidez would do Canelo worse than Bivol, which makes no sense.
No, I don't agree with that.
I'm sorry, but Canelo stops David. Canelo stops David. And if he don't stop David, if he doesn't, hold on, let me finish, guys. If he don't stop David, he's going to beat him up like a piñata. It's going to be another, he's going to win 10 rounds, drop him in one of them, and then, David gets a couple of rounds, and then
IBF, no disrespect.
Fellas. I'm going to let everybody speak. It's going to be one of them type of ass whooping. He's going to make David look like Munguia. He's going to make David look like Berlanga. People hype up David. And I like David. I think he would give Canelo, he might win 3 rounds, but he's going to be no more different than those other guys. The moment he touches the ball, all of these guys are going to put their head up their ass because they can't believe that Bivol just made him look like Sordo. He's going to whip his ass 12-0, and these guys going to be out there fucking crying. Mark my
IBF.
Okay.
No disrespect. IBF, no disrespect. I disagree. I think it'll be a good fight. He's not beating David, bro. He's not.
The disrespect that y'all have is that y'all compare Bondic and Burrell to the great Canelo.
Can I interrupt?
Hold on.
I didn't compare them to Canelo.
Hold on, everybody. We're gonna go one at a time. It's my fault. I got the live stream very disorganized. Hold on. We're gonna let Solidus finish his point. Carlos, Park Street, Hit Kid, Ashy, Jigglypuff, Supreme, and Fight Sport in that order. Solidus, you're up first.
Nah, I think it'll be a really good fight, but I don't think based on when you evaluate their fighting styles, the way they fight, when you go off how they do it, Canelo's fighting style and then David's fighting style, that's kind of a bad matchup for Canelo. I don't think he'll get washed, but he's not beating Benavidez. That's just not going to happen.
Okay.
I don't see that.
Carlos, what do you got?
Man, all I got to say, man, who the fuck Benavidez beat? What great fighters did Benavidez beat? So y'all can put he's watching Canelo.
Demetrius Andre,
Bosdick, Morel.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me respond to that real quick. IBF.
Triple G.
Hold on 1 second, Solidus. 1 second, Solidus. We got to let him get his point off.
Come on, let me get my point off real quick, man. Lara, Austin Trout, Mosley. Come on. We can't compare orange to apples here. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out.
Hold on, Silas.
Hey.
We're going to circle back to you, my brother, because I really want to get everybody on
right.
Park Street real quick. You're up next, my brother.
Yeah, so I can't believe what I'm hearing, bro. We talking about the toughest chin in boxing. We talking about the slickest, one of the top 5 slickest. What?
Slickest.
The slickest counter punchers.
slickest.
What? Are you
Ashley,
serious?
wait your turn.
Ashley, wait, Ashley, let him speak. Let him speak, Ashley.
Shit, he more
I
slick
said
than
one of the
David. I'll tell you that much.
One of the
Ashley,
slickest.
Ashley, come
Let
on,
him
man.
speak.
In order, man.
We're gonna go in order. Park Street. Keep going, my brother.
What are we talking about? Like the only thing that Canelo got, the only thing that David got over Canelo is his work rate and his pace. That's it. Once he get in the ring with Canelo, Canelo's going to control the pace. What are you talking about? Once he start counter punching and start hitting him to the body, and he ain't never been in there with no body like Canelo. What are you talking about? Who is the legacy fighter we talking about? David ain't fought nobody. He
Exactly.
tens and dozens of fucking champions. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about.
No. This could be a legacy fight if David didn't fight and duck all the other champions that he fought. If he would have fought all the other champions that he ducked, then we could talk about legacy versus legacy. But David
Mr.
ain't got no fucking legacy.
Hold on, let him finish it. We got you coming up.
No, I'm finished. Go ahead, Ashley. I'm finished. Go ahead.
It's time to body bag you real quick.
Ashley, you can go and then hit.
It's time to body bag him real quick. First of all, you're talking about these great fighters. Canelo didn't start at 168, dummy. He started at what, 147, where all the greats is at. So David started at 168. He wasn't down there where the little men was at, where all the greats like Shakur, and fucking the rest of the good ones was at. See, all those greats wasn't up there in 168. So he had to fight who the fuck is there and who's in 175.
He didn't fight who was there. That's the whole point.
That's why he
that's
don't
a
have
body bag.
So what?
That's a body bag. He didn't fight these people. What are you talking about?
See, this is the problem.
147 and start his way from there.
No, we're not talking about that. All we're talking about is Benavidez got to fight fucking champions.
Give him the floor.
The champions don't want to fight him.
Let him finish.
Your boy don't want to fight him.
What do you mean? He's a champion. What are you talking about?
Hold on, one second. Let Ashley finish.
If Bivol don't fight him next, is that a duck?
No. Because Turkey was the better fighter.
How is it not? How is it
you
not?
You keep talking about everybody ducking but David, who is the biggest duck.
Just hush your mouth for a second. I'm going to tell you how. On the reason that he dropped his belt. He dropped his belt. He should.
Did he drop his belt, or was it taken because it was mandated?
Nah, because he had a choice. He could have said, "You know what? Fuck that Turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and fight this dude, take him out, and I'm gonna come back and fight the rubber match." On the strength that we all know, everybody can say Bivol won the first fight.
Hey, Preem, hit that shit.
You can say Bivol won the first fight. You can't say that.
You're not talking facts right now, bro.
He's gonna knock Bivol out.
Okay. Hold on, one second, Ashley. Before we go to the next one,
we need some fresh meat.
Okay. Before we go to the next one, my brother Outstrike says this to you, Ashley Knuckles. He says, "Will Ashley Knuckles keep the same energy and say David Benavidez is fighting an old Canelo, like when Canelo fought Kovalev, who was 36?" And next year, Canelo will be 36 and David will be 29. Will you say that if the fight happens next year that David is fighting an old Canelo?
Hell no, I'm not going to say. Hell no, I'm not going to say that.
So you're not going to keep the
I'm going to tell you why. Let me explain. He asked me a question. Listen, I'm
He's a clown.
See, y'all start running your mouth before I can even explain my answer.
He's a clown, man. He's a clown.
I'm giving my answer. I'm explaining why. I'm giving my answer. I'm explaining why. Anyway, here you go, Luke.
He's a clown. You're not keeping the same energy.
I'm explaining to you why I'm not. On the strength that, am I right? Can everybody agree with me that Canelo picks who he want to fight? Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, fuck off.
No.
Can you just answer the question, man?
Let me get the floor. Everybody. 1 second.
Just answer the question,
let me get the floor. 1 second. So he said, am I right? Am I wrong? Canelo picks who he wants to fight. Canelo said that he'll pretty much fight anybody for money. It depends on if the bag is right, he'll fight anybody.
We all know all that.
Hold on, Ashley, 1 second.
We all know all that.
Ashley, wait a minute. He said he'll fight anybody for money. He said he didn't want to fight Bud, but if the money was right, he'd do it. He said he's not really interested in David, but if the money's right, he'd beat his ass. And he said if you come with the bread, he's willing to do it. That's what he said. Those are his words. So if you say that, oh, he's going to fight this guy, that guy, if the money's right, he'll take the fight. That's what it is. You keep spreading some kind of false
There you
narrative.
go.
You
No, I'm
spreading
not. How am I
you spreading
spreading a
false
false?
narrative. We're gonna circle right back to you, Ashley, because I got to get to these other guys in real quick. Hit Kid is next. Jigglypuff, Preem, and Fight Sports, and then we're gonna go back to Solid as T.
All right.
Hit Kid, go ahead and talk to me.
All right, so here's the deal. I've always said on this channel, and I'll say it truthfully, I think Canelo stops Benavidez. I think he stops him. I think he stops him late. I think he stops him at 12. I think it'd be a fight where David would win the opening couple of rounds due to his activity. I actually think David would win the opening couple of rounds due to his activity and punch output. However, Canelo would find his way into the fight, find his range, the jab and all that, and throughout the fight, he'd start seeing it from around round 4. He'd start connecting with a body shot, slowing Benavidez down. Look at the fight again. Look at the fight against Gostek. We've seen Benavidez. If he gets slowed down with his output, he'll back up. We saw it in the Gostek fight, his first fight at 175. Yes, Benavidez was dominating that fight, but round 10, he was backed up on the ropes, and Gostek was the one putting the pressure on him. You cannot allow that against Canelo Alvarez at all. Otherwise, you're getting taken out. No disrespect, you're getting taken out. You're either getting knocked down or you're getting put out the fight. Look at the Caleb Plant fight for, Canelo, if I'm allowed to say it. And I've already made it clear. I think Bivol absolutely cooks it.
It's kind of funny for somebody who can't fight. Somebody sure do need a lot of money to beat up somebody who can't fight.
Up. I didn't interrupt you.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Bitch, I'm in a bad mood this week.
For somebody who can't fight,
I'm not got time to deal with it. Listen, you fucking cunt. I haven't got any time to deal with you, stupid fucking cunt.
They sure do need a lot of money.
I don't have time to deal with you.
Oh, man.
Bro, you gotta watch out, man. I seen Hit Kid. Hey, yo, I seen Hit Kid starving in Mobland. Y'all niggas better watch out, bro.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna come right back to you, Ashley. We're gonna come back to you, Ashley, man. We're gonna come back to you, Hit. I think we got Jigglypuff.
Both wash Benavidez.
I'm gonna skip to Fight Sports because I think he's about to leave first, and so then I'm gonna go to Jigglypuff and Preem. Fight Sports. What's your thoughts on all this, man?
Yeah, I got to make way for Steel Mills. My thoughts haven't changed. I think Benavidez beats both Canelo and Bivol in tough fights. But let's wait and see if they actually happen. And yeah, you got to put more pressure on Turkey to make the fight since he's the one with the money. And Canelo, he is going to go wherever the biggest bag is. So if Turkey's not going to try and make the fight, then that's on him. I will say Benavidez better show up in better shape than he was for Gostek, but yeah, the fight's never going to happen at 168 because Benavidez can't. I mean, it's not healthy for him to go back down there. So we'll see if Canelo moves up to 175. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Y'all better hope Canelo get past Super Bud. Y'all better hope he get past
You're
him.
picking it. You're picking Canelo. Are you picking Bud to beat Canelo?
Yeah, I am. I'm
not
picking Bud to be I'm picking Canelo. I'm picking Canelo.
It's okay.
I'm picking Canelo to win.
Y'all gotta
he said you Bud. Nah, he said you picking Bud. He said you picking Bud.
No, man, I meant to say Canelo. I ain't meant to say Bud.
Nah, man, you killed yourself, man, right now.
But I'm gonna tell you,
y'all better watch out for Super Bud.
I used to be a Canelo fan.
Y'all saying, why are you implying?
I used to be.
Let me ask you a question.
All right, Hitman,
listen, man.
Are you on Nuke?
Listen here, man. I swear to God to y'all. I used to be a Canelo fan. And you know what made me change against him?
Yes, we will be on later, Hit.
I'll see you tomorrow night then. Have a good night.
All right, Hit.
I used to be a Canelo fan. You know what made me switch on Canelo? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. What made me switch on Canelo was when he had the fight with Kovalev. Now, it's not the fact that he won the fight. It's the fact that the praise he got. And what really pissed me off about it is that August, because they fought in November, that August, Kovalev had fought Anthony Yard in a hell of a 12-round fight. I remember that fight. And Kovalev pulled it off. He had 3 months to get ready for that fight with the rehydration clause that he couldn't fucking bulk back up. And that's the only thing that pissed me off with Canelo, that I felt that he did some fuck shit. And I felt that wasn't fair that he got the praise that he get for beating Kovalev when the situation that right after he fought Yard, he had 3 months to get ready for the fucking champion.
Did Kovalev agree to the fight?
But what that got to do with you picking Superbud over Canelo?
It has nothing to do with it. He
Yeah,
just
you
said
guys
something.
made me fucking-
Bro,
Listen,
yo,
man,
let me tell you
that's
something,
what made me stop liking him.
Nuke.
Ashley,
He is
your word-
I
moving.
said that's
Let's
what
use
made
his
me
words.
stop liking
I'm going to
him.
use your words today, Ashley.
Hold
You
on,
are
Ashley. 1
moving
second, Ashley.
the goalpost around. You are
How am I
moving
moving
the
the goalpost?
goalpost around, bro.
I'm telling you,
You're
that's what made me
seriously,
stop
bro.
liking him. What you talking
That's
about?
crazy.
Didn't he move to 160 to 175, 2 weight classes up?
That's crazy.
Hold on. Everybody on the stream, 1 second. I got Jigglypuff Tough here with the Raiders gear on. I got Preem here with the Packers gear on. I got Bruno here with the Rams gear on. So everybody's representing their teams.
All trash
Anybody
teams.
else? Raiders, Packers, Rams, anybody else in the building, man, represent any NFL teams that you riding with this year? The draft
Man,
was just yesterday.
Hey, if y'all know my team, y'all
There's
be
some
like,
chronic.
damn.
The Niners.
Preem, take that baby shit Green Bay hat off your head.
Oh, man.
If y'all know
Son,
what
don't be
team I
hating,
support.
son. Don't be hating, son.
Hey, if y'all know the team that I support, y'all feel sorry for me. That's all I gotta say.
Who
Sounds like
is
the
it, Carlos?
Giants. Sounds
Your
like the
hat,
Giants.
look like throw
Hell
up, man.
no.
Take it off, man.
Hell
Who
no.
is it, Carlos? Who you riding with?
Hey man, I gotta ride with my dog pound. We the underdogs, man. The Browns.
Oh man.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
Man.
He's on the
You know
same.
That's all
what?
right. That's all right.
I'm not going to even clown. I'm not going to even
Hey,
clown.
You
Jiggy.
never know though.
Hey,
Who
whose
you
turn
riding
was
with,
it to
Ashley?
talk about Benavidez and
New York Giants, of course.
Canelo? Who
New
was
York
it?
Giants.
Was it
Oh man, you
Jiggy?
went to this is why me and Ashley don't get along. I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah, exactly. See,
This is
that's
why
just
we have
why
issues.
I
This makes
knew it
sense
was the
now.
reason why I like your
Natural
motherfucker.
born rivalry. That's a natural born rivalry.
Oh, and one more thing, Ashley. Thanks for Saquon. He the truth.
You know what? You know what, man? Fuck you, Nuke. Word up. You ain't even
Saquon is
you
horrible.
ain't even have to throw that up in my face.
And he said that was a low blow.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was a crotch blow. No
My
didn't.
bad, Ashley. My bad, bro. My bad.
You know, he wanted to win a Super Bowl. You know, you can't
I
blame him.
mean, look, he wasn't gonna
But you know
happen
what?
in New York. So,
I can't be mad. I can't be
Nah, it
mad
wasn't
because
happening in New York.
Philly is the truth. I'm gonna keep it a bando. Yeah, they the
I
truth.
respect that. I respect that.
Man,
See,
Philly's
now
the
we
truth
can
for just
talk
1
facts.
year. It's over for them. They won the Super Bowl. That's it for them. That was it. Ain't no more for them. Over.
Hold on, I got a few comments we got to get in real quick. Goofy Combat, salute to you, my brother. Thanks for supporting the channel. He says Ashy Chap Lips should check Benavidez box rec. He started at super middleweight, and in his second fight, he went to light heavyweight. And for his next few fights, he flip-flopped and he decided to stay at 168 fighting midgets. Body bag.
Ooh.
Damn, Ashley.
Damn, bro.
Is he talking
That's
about
Kanye
David?
West with dreads?
Is he talking
Man.
about David Benavidez?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Benavidez flip-flopped between 68 and 75 his whole career. And why did he go back to 68 and try to fight smaller fighters?
He's talking about your
in
girl.
his natural weight class.
He's talking about your girl, Ben
I'm
Burgers.
explaining that to you
Break
right
that
now.
down, Ashley. Break that down.
I'm gonna break it down right now. See, unlike Canelo, which is he got a small frame, you don't have a slow metabolism. See, Benavidez was a fat boy. Yeah, we all know this. That's why y'all call him Burger Vitas,
That's
Bum
incredible.
Vitas, Dad Body. You all that. We all know he was a fat kid. So yeah, when he started, he had to start from the weight he was at until he started burning them calories and he got older and his body started trimming down some. That's what y'all forget, man. Y'all act like David Benavidez is 30-something years old. He still,
That still don't. That
he's
still
just
don't
getting his
equate
age,
to
so he's
fat.
not. He don't got. He's still a fat boy, but his body don't hold the weight like it used to when he was younger. He was really.
But
fat.
all you're doing is proving the point, though.
I'm just telling you that's the point. I mean, he's not. He never was a small dude. He had to do that until his body started slimming. He had to
But
start
you
off
said that he
at a
only
As you grow
fought at
heavyweight,
older,
one
your
weight
then
body
come
gets
down.
bigger. What the fuck are you
You
talking
said
about?
you said that he only fought at one weight class.
I didn't
So
say
by your own,
I never say he just fought at one weight class. I said
that's
the point
exactly
I'm
what
trying to
you
make.
said.
I said
You
he
said
went
that
from
he couldn't move up
168.
in weight
I said
because
he went
he
from
fought.
168 to 175. So whether y'all want to say he started at 175 and went down to 168, the point is he never went past 168 or 175. Canelo went
And he
from
did. He
No,
didn't
he
fight
fought
no
at
listen,
champions
man.
cruiserweight. What are you
neither.
talking
Canelo
about?
went
He
from
didn't fight no
147.
champions neither.
He
Canelo
fought at
went from
cruiserweights. I don't know what
147.
you're talking about, brother.
Canelo went from 147 to like 150 something to like what? After that was 154. Then he went to what? 160. Then he went to 168. So yeah, you going through all those divisions.
You know what he did?
Listen,
You know what he did when he was moving up those
But
weight classes?
the point I'm trying to
Fighting
make
great
is when you.
champions.
The point I'm
Yo,
trying to make is.
the point is that
David
Benavidez
Benavidez could have
is
fought
gonna get his ass
Usyk.
whooped
He
if
could have
he ever
fought
fight
Fury.
Canelo. Benavidez is
fought Deontay
tailor-made.
Wilder.
Listen,
It's
David
simple logic.
Benavidez is tailor-made for Canelo.
It's
Did he
simple,
win the
it's
belt
simple
with
You
logic,
want my
people.
take on that news?
It's simple logic. Only thing I'm saying is Canelo went through more weight divisions. So of course he's going to fight more champions, more greats.
But
That's
David
some
could have went
different
to
divisions.
3 or 4.
Well,
So
so
it's
I
the
mean, I
same
feel
for
if he
real.
would have went any lower than 168, man, he would have been looking like a fucking skeleton.
No,
He was
he
already
can
looking
go
sick at
up.
168.
He can go up. He can go to heavyweight. He can fight Deontay
Why?
Wilder.
Listen,
He can
why
fight
would you?
Usyk. He can fight Fury.
Well,
He's
he
not
was
ready for
talking
those
about going to
guys. Big
cruiserweight,
Bang,
That's
Ashy.
Big Bang.
lets me know. That
David
lets
said
me
he want to
know.
go to cruiser.
That lets me know y'all
What
don't
are you?
watch none of David Benavidez interviews because he already said he's not ready for heavyweight right now. He's not ready to be walking
Yeah,
around
he's
in
scared. I
heavyweight.
don't blame him.
Yeah, because he's a
That's not
pussy.
being
That's
scared.
why.
Listen, man, when
Yeah,
you
that nigga eating veggie. He
He's a
eating one of them
pussy.
you
veggie
can
burgers.
Usyk, who's even
Veggie
taller than
burgers. He don't
Benavidez,
want
is
to
the
go up
heavyweight
there.
champion
that
of the
lets me
world.
know
What
y'all
are you talking
don't
about?
If
y'all don't
David
put your
fought
thought
all the
into fighting,
champions
man.
at 168 and said that, then I could believe it.
Listen,
If he
that
fought
lets
all
me
the
know that you
champions
know
and
everything
beat
about
everybody,
David
then I
Benavidez.
could believe it.
Meat
But he
lover.
didn't fight none of them.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on one second.
None
I'm
of
gonna
them.
pause everybody for 1 second. Let my brother Bruno get in here. Bruno, you've been hearing what Ashley Knuckles have been saying. You hear what the chat is saying. What do you think about everything, my brother?
Damn, my brother. Thanks for the shout out, IBFP. I've been a true follower of the channel for a while now. I love your channel, bro. I love everything you guys put out.
Thank you,
I love the boxing talk. I love the panel. I think Ashley Knuckles is out of control, man. Like, Benavidez can do no wrong. Benavidez is a fucking perfect boxer. Apparently, that fool fights everyone. That fool's the shit. It's just like,
Well,
I
won't
think
you
all
tell somebody
boxers
to beat
have
him up?
their
Can somebody please
bad
beat him up?
fights.
Can
But it's
somebody
like
please beat him
Benavidez
up?
don't know wrong, bro. Benavidez
It's gonna happen,
is
Ashy.
on your pedestal.
Can Yard do it? Can
cannot
Callum
get that
Smith
fool
do it?
out of your mouth, bro.
Can Yard
You
do it?
gotta realize that
Ridiculous.
getting beat up and getting beat are two different things.
Either way,
David gets beat
can
up in every
somebody
fight. What are you
can
talking
somebody
about?
can somebody take the donut away from his record?
Hold on, Park Street.
Please.
Park Street.
Right now
Wasn't
he's what
Benavidez?
30
Hold on.
and 0,
1 second,
31 and
Ashley.
0, some shit like that.
Ashley, 1 second. Park Street, wasn't Benavidez' hands and ribs and all that shit fucked up after this last fight? Like he was in he needed to heal his body. Like he was super fucked up.
For sure.
What you mean, like Canelo?
Hey,
You mean like
Benavidez
Canelo when
super-
his knee and his hand was all fucked up in the
After a
beginning?
Somebody was hitting
legacy,
his knee in a fight.
Benavidez got a
You mean
super-
like that?
Somebody
You
was
mean like
hitting
that?
Canelo in the knee in the fight. Are you stupid? Like what are we
That's
talking
what you
about?
think.
man.
He's
Was he
thinking
hurt like
about the
that?
fucking
Was he hurt like
UFC.
that? Because last time I
Yeah,
heard,
that's what
if
he's
you're
thinking
too
about,
hurt,
Preem.
if you was too hurt, he
UFC,
shouldn't have
man.
never got his monkey ass in the
going.
fucking ring. But he got in
Hey,
the
When have you ever
heavyweight
seen
and he
Canelo
got his
fight
ass
there,
beat up.
fight
Benavidez
in
is
the ring and
special.
somebody
got
kick
beat
in
up.
his
Listen though.
face?
So
This ain't no
Benavidez
tie.
went in the fight with
Hold on. I got to read
But
another
guess who
comment.
he
We
was?
got this one from my
Bostic
brother
with his
Domo.
injuries, and he won his fight.
1 second, Ashley.
Hold on.
My brother Domo says timing beats speed and volume. David's best two attributes with them trash ass feet. What
Yeah,
base would he have
somebody
if he
can't beat
caught
him.
a
I don't.
counter while squared up? Canelo walks down bigger man. David Benavidez feet to fight backwards. Where's his feet? So solid as
Yo, I'm
T.
telling
When you
y'all.
talk about solid as T, are you there? When you talk about David Benavidez and how you see him beating
Yeah.
Canelo, how do you factor in his feet?
Dude, listen, man. This is
Nah,
what
his footwork. That's a fact. He doesn't have the best
This is what I'm gonna say to
footwork.
that. 30 tried,
This
30
man is
died.
tailor-made for Canelo,
30
bro.
tried,
Everybody that comes
30 died.
forward, listen,
It don't take
Canelo
much,
loves
man.
fighters
Only
that come forward, man.
so
Everybody that comes
Canelo.
forward, that is
Hold on 1
tailor-made
second,
for
Ashley.
him,
1
bro.
second,
Canelo-
Ashley. I got to get
What
to
up?
Solidus. So what were you saying about his feet, Solidus?
Nah, David doesn't have the best footwork. It's good enough, but it's not like great footwork. I think where he's going to get Canelo at is his volume. I think that will overwhelm Canelo because Canelo, if you look at Canelo, Bivol and Benavidez are two different fighters.
I got a cat
But
back on that.
nonetheless, there was parts in the fight where Bivol was like he was throwing a lot of combos on Canelo, and it was kind of giving Canelo trouble. Benavidez throws combos better than Bivol, so I can see Benavidez throwing combos. I can see Canelo getting overwhelmed by that.
Man, you just contradicting yourself.
Did he say
Wow.
David throw better combos than Bivol?
I got to talk.
Yeah, no, I gotta
He
do this
does.
shit.
He does not.
Can I do this?
Hold on, everybody.
Yes.
One at a time. Hold on,
man,
one at a time. Wait, everybody.
Bro, how many knockouts does Benavidez have compared to Bivol?
You said something crazy, Solidus. So
that don't make him a better boxer.
1 second, Solidus.
Hey, let me do it, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
I didn't say he was better than Bivol.
Hold on, let's go to Jigglypuff on this one because he got to get this one. Go ahead and get it, my brother.
All right, man. So you're trying to convince us that David Benavidez throws better combinations than Dimitri Bivol? Is that your actual statement?
Yes, he throws faster, better combinations than Bivol. He throws better uppercuts. He throws better body shots than Bivol.
Man, this guy
Bivol has better counter punches.
Combinations where he lands maybe 2. Bivol throws precise combinations in and out where he has the footwork to actually pull it off. David Benavidez stands in there with a counter puncher throwing those stupid ass combinations, punches. He's gonna get fucking clocked. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Says who?
I'm telling you right now, you're delusional.
If that was true, he would have. If that was true, hold on. If that was true, he would have did more damage to Beterbiev. He would have did more damage. If that was what he just said, hold on.
In any other fight, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
If what you just said is true,
body bag from Jiggly.
If what you just said is true, he would have did more damage to Beterbiev. If what you just said is true, you're cat.
Hey, he was gassed.
There's no body bag.
He was gassed though. Was he gassed though?
I'm alive and well, so there's no body bag.
Okay. So Solidus is disputing it. Hold on, Solidus is disputing it. Hold on. Let's take a roll call. Was that a body bag or was it not? I thought it was a clear body. Maybe I was wrong.
Definitely a body bag.
That's a fantastic body bag over here that my man Diggy did.
Hey, the fuck out of here.
Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know me well, so I get it.
Come on now.
That wasn't no body.
Y'all don't know me well, so I understand.
Y'all fair to realize that Benavidez is tailor-made for Canelo.
Okay.
What I will say.
Hold up. Listen. So what you're telling me is that Benavidez is gonna come in, right? He's gonna come in and he's gonna be dancing in the ring, in and out. The man got no feet. It's these happy feet from the movie. I'm telling you, listen, he got no feet. He's going to stand in front of there, open those hands, throw those bullshit combinations, and he's going to get stuck. I'm telling you, he's going to get stuck, and that's what Canelo wants. Mogia, listen. Hold up. Jaime Mogia he's a volume puncher, too. He throws a lot of punches. He went over with volume. What happened when he did that? Listen, man. Listen to me. Listen to me. What happened when he got stuck?
Yeah, I wanted him to fight him to beat the fuck out of him to show Canelo that the nigga he fight is free. That's why.
Ashley, listen, Ashley, your man is going to get stuck.
Shut your fucking mouth.
He's going to get stuck, Ashley. He's going to get stuck.
And Supreme to back that up,
he's going to get stuck.
Actually gets punched out for fucking 6 rounds.
Hey, yo, Jiggy, my man's emotional right now, Jiggy.
He's emotional.
Nah, I'm not emotional. I just like
calling other niggas, yo. Hey, yo, Nuke, did I hear this right? He calling other niggas sweet in the panel?
Don't try to
Nuke, did I hear that right?
Just because you're
he's calling sweet other men sweet in the panel?
Extra glazed honey bun eggs.
Damn, bro. Damn, I'm fucking them feathers up.
Hear me out though. Hear me out though.
I got another comment.
Nah, I gotta address. I gotta address the clown.
He's emotional, boy.
I'm gonna come right back to you, Ashley. I'm gonna come right back to you. Domo says Solid is
Please do.
He got a question for Solid is Chief. And he says, Solid is like Munguia's volume. I encourage you to watch Canelo versus Kirkland, Canelo versus Angulo, in any Canelo fight before 2013. Laughing my ass off. So he's talking about volume punching as well, Solid. You got any response to Domo's statement?
What I'm saying is, when you watch Benavidez, when you look at Benavidez' fighting style, it's very possible he can overwhelm Canelo. I don't know how you guys are not seeing it.
He's gonna get knocked out, man.
I don't understand that. I don't get it, bro. I'm starting to think y'all trolling me, bro. Like,
I need to break down his fighting.
I'm starting to believe y'all trolling me, bro. Are you serious, bro? Y'all claim y'all know boxing, bro. There's no way y'all don't see that.
With value.
There's no way y'all don't see that.
I don't see it.
Hold on, let's pause real quick. Hold on, 1 second. I want to hear part 2 real quick. 1 second.
Hold on, he asked me something.
Legendary meat rider, bro. Legendary meat rider.
He asked me something.
Ridiculous.
He asked me something.
This is ridiculous. Canelo has some of the best foot placement in boxing. He has some of the best defense in boxing, the best counter punching in boxing. He's one of the slickest defensive fighters. First of all, the one thing that's going to be the biggest problem for David is Canelo's jab. Once he start jabbing him and stopping him from coming in, going down to the bottom, that's going to count. That's going to set up everything else. That's going to set up everything else.
It's going to go down.
Hold on, man. Good sir. That Canelo hasn't seen.
Hold on,
what is he bringing to the
Ashley,
table
come right
that
back to you after
Canelo
this.
hasn't seen?
Hold up, bro.
Exactly. Hold on 1 second, Solid. So Park
Good
Street.
sir, can
So
you
Park
please
Street.
tell us the
I'm
list
gonna come back to you guys.
of
1
Canelo's
second.
arm, please? Can you tell us his arm length, please?
Hold on 1 second, Ashley. So Park Street. I like your breakdown, and you said the jab, and he's gonna keep David off. But is it true that David can't do anything to hurt Canelo? Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, then. So what are you arguing?
To hurt Canelo.
So what are you arguing then? If you just admitted that, what are you arguing?
Not through the bottom punches,
y'all
though.
specifically said overwhelmed. Y'all specifically said
overwhelmed, hurt.
overwhelmed.
Yes, it can go together.
He's not going to overwhelm
hurt. Yes, it can go together.
It hasn't been done before.
Bruh,
what are you talking about?
The Bivol fight, and he was even punch as much as Benavidez, and he had him overwhelmed.
He never had him overwhelmed.
He never had him overwhelmed. And he was injured in that fight.
No.
That's cap. He was never overwhelmed in that fight.
When he started throwing punches and started swinging on Canelo was backing up, and he started cautious.
He was leaning on the rope with his fucking high guard.
He's fighting the number 2 guy at light heavyweight. What are you talking about? He's supposed to be cautious. What are you talking about?
See, you're not listening, bro. You're too much on Canelo. You're not listening. What I'm saying is, when they were fighting, when he started swinging, on Canelo, Canelo was backing up, and he wasn't swinging back that much. I can easily see Benavidez throws more than Bivol. I can see Benavidez doing that to Canelo. You're saying no?
Who is Bivol compared to David?
Absolutely not.
Bro, Bivol is a little bit better than... I'm answering the question. I've already said prior, I don't think Benavidez is as good as Bivol, but he's not that much better.
Okay,
he's better, but not that much better.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on 1 second. I've heard a lot of things on the channel for over the years that I've had this channel.
That's crazy.
But this was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in life. The fact that he said he's not that much better than Dimitri Bivol, and the fact that he's comparing Bivol's performance to what David can do. David doesn't have Bivol's speed, timing, IQ, or accuracy. None of this even makes sense.
He don't.
So the fact, he does not. No, he does not.
More defense.
And no, he does not. No, he doesn't.
He don't got no defense.
Hold on, Solid. He doesn't have his speed. Nothing. He has none of that.
He has no defense.
He has none of that. He has none of that.
Hold on, man.
Hold on.
Could I send you a link?
Hold on 1 second, Solidus. 1 second. And we talk about, he's not that much better than Bivol. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard. This man, David, ain't been fighting world champions. This man has been fighting fucking nobodies. So let's stop pumping up David, because him and Bivol have never even fought at the same level. Bivol has fought at the top. David has fought in the mid. So let's stop comparing these two. Canelo fought at the top. Bivol fought at the top. David's never seen the top, bro.
Old man,
He's
y'all
never
fucking
seen
old man
the
better be.
David never even
Here we go.
What is you
Here we
talking
go
about?
again.
Y'all spoke
Let me ask a quick question. A quick question. No cap. Hey, IBF. Besides Canelo and Beterbiev, who were these elite level fighters that Bivol was fighting at the high level at 75? Besides Canelo and Beterbiev.
Those are his two greatest names. Hold on. Those are his two greatest names.
The best fighters.
Hold on. Those are his two best names, but he also fought Surdo Ramirez, who's better than David as well. Who's a world champion in a high weight class. Literally. So I'm sorry.
All right.
When David
you can't, bro.
Let me ask you a question, Solid. Hold on 1 second, Ashley. 1 second. Ashley, we're going to get to you. So, Ashley, I got one question for you, Solid. When has ever David fought anybody the level of a Canelo Alvarez or Archie Beterbiev? When has he fought somebody that level?
Fuck that. When has he fought somebody like Zurdo?
He hasn't.
So
He hasn't. But let me say this though.
So my statement remains true. He's never fought at the very top level, bro. Just accept defeat.
But wait a minute, you're using my argument against me. You're using my argument against me. You're using my argument against me.
Listen, admit defeat.
You can't reverse psychology me, bro. You cannot reverse psychology me. I just said that to you. You said it to me.
That don't make any sense.
Monster, bro.
I asked you.
Hold on. We got another question for you. Hold on, we got another question for you, Solid.
Won his first belt.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to go to Ashley right after this. Ashley, I promise you, you're next. I just got one more question for Solidus. Domo says, Solidus T, when we look at Benavidez fighting style, we're watching a trash fight, garbage, laughing my ass off. What elite competition has David fought and or looked good against? So what elite competition has David Benavidez ever fought? Solidus T, the floor is yours. Once you answer this, and if you can't give me a name, you can say nobody. If you got a name, say the name. But if he has not fought any elite competition,
and let me say this. And let me say this.
No, just say it.
Let me say this.
Just answer. We don't need a speech.
Answer the question.
What elite level has David Benavidez fought against?
Yes,
bro. He fought B-level fighters. Yeah, that's what.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say at the time Caleb Plant was elite level. He had already lost to Canelo, but I think his boxing ability was elite level.
Yeah, he is.
No, Caleb Plant was never elite. Caleb Plant was a good fighter, never an elite
former champion.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. Hey, check this out. Me personally, I thought Caleb Plant was elite, but me personally, if you feel differently, that's fine. I thought he was.
I mean, based on what Caleb Plant beat to show you that he's elite. How many world champions? One guy. One guy. He ain't elite, bro. He's not elite.
Check this out. Check this out.
Hold on. I understand Caleb Plant now fits a narrative that if you say he's elite, you can pump up his resume. So it's just our opinion. No, Caleb Plant ain't fucking elite. He ain't bit no bunch of champions. He beat one champion his whole fucking career.
Hey, look, check this out. Let me switch it up.
He ain't got stopped. Like, bro, we ain't got time for this nonsense, bro. We ain't got time for it.
You can't use that against Caleb Plant
for the belt either, bro. So come on, stop that shit,
so
man.
Let's name.
He actually fought him though.
Let's name the champions that David Benavidez fought. Let's name the champions David Benavidez fought.
1 second, Ashley. This one's for you. Domo says, Jaime Munguia can't hold David's jockstrap. How did Jaime Munguia become a two-time two-division champion before David then with no email belts involved? That's a body bag. That's a body bag.
And I was talking about Jaime Munguia.
So tell me,
bro, everybody's career works differently, bro.
So listen to David Benavidez. I won't be surprised his name is tattooed on your back.
Do anybody
I won't be surprised you take your shirt off and that should say David Benavidez.
Anybody on this panel believe that Jaime Munguia would beat David Benavidez right now?
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Wait, you mean after that? You mean after that plumber / cab driver /
Hey, you know why that is? Because Jaime Munguia was a real one that went
y'all do a lot of capping out here, bro.
Everyone, even though
that's what you're talking about, man. Really, he's going to beat David Benavidez. He's going to be the one
that beats him now.
Let's be honest.
Let's be real. Let's be honest. I want to hear maybe. Just like y'all told him to answer the question. Let's go around the panel, man. Answer the question, yes or no. Do you believe Jaime Munguia could beat David Benavidez right now?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so.
That's one no. Come on, you next, Preem. What's up?
Everybody knows he can't.
Yes or no, man. Yes or no.
Not after that. Hell no.
Before all the wars, yes.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah, Canelo ruined it. But before Canelo, it could have been a competitive fight.
Jigga, do you believe Jaime
Canelo, dude, it was Derevyanchenko. Everyone caught Jaime.
I think he took that fight too early, if you ask me, man. That's all I got to say.
Before Canelo cooked him, he would have had a chance against David.
I mean, even after Canelo, he should have just chilled for like a whole year.
Now, bro. Canelo damaged him, bro.
I believe that's the body bag. How you like it? How you like your bag? Zipped or unzipped? Let me know.
Hey, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. David Benavidez has a superpower, and his superpower is very similar to Magneto. But instead of attracting metal, he attracts punches to the face.
But for some reason, them punches don't put no L on his record yet.
Hell yeah!
Hold on, one second. Domo has a question for Solid
You're
as T.
fucking mutant.
Domo has a question for Solid as T. He says Solid as T, and he went 7-5 against Canelo. Pity patting him to death with a smaller fighter, knocked him the fuck out. Is he talking about Canelo? What is he talking about? What? Hold on. Trevor McCombs.
He's talking about what Caleb Plant.
And knocked Plant down. Why didn't David? Yeah, so he had a very rough fight against Caleb Plant. He pretty much lost the whole first 5 rounds.
Nah, just think about the Caleb Plant and Benavidez fight.
There's a difference between getting beat up versus getting beat.
Let me ask you something. Can you ask? Can I listen? Just like you asked me a question, I'm gonna ask you the question. Do you feel like Canelo already went through a lot of grit in the boxing game?
You asking me?
I'm asking everybody.
Yeah,
obviously.
Well, yeah, man. He's not.
Okay. So listen. So y'all telling me Benavidez been through? Listen. So Benavidez went through the same grit as Canelo?
No.
He ain't been in the game.
All right, listen. I gotta know. Listen, it's coming back to back. It's coming back to back. All right, that's a no, and that's a no. All right, so when David Benavidez, when he overwhelms Caleb Plant, when he overwhelms the other guys with little volume punches, whatever he do, whatever, these guys are not that elite that they don't sit back. They can't analyze what's happening. You're gonna have a Canelo who already went through the grit, who fought all type of champions, who fought everybody his way. Listen to me, got a guy coming forward to him. It's only gonna take time when Canelo analyzes him and destroys him downstairs and brings that nigga down. I'm telling y'all this right now. I promise you.
You love sliding that word out your mouth.
Y'all talk like Canelo's undefeated. Y'all gotta remember. When he fought the absolute.
You talking like David is Bivol, like he fought somebody to prove he's great, bro.
No, let me say this.
Between him and Bivol,
I'm not tripping off that. Let me say this though.
One second. Canelo has only been beaten by elite fighters. Dimitri Bivol, Floyd Mayweather.
Guys that were elite, right?
Hold on 1 second. And David Benavidez doesn't have any of those skill sets or attributes. None of them.
So why y'all talk like he's undefeated then?
That's what he is. He's a piñata.
Yeah,
we waiting for Kenny to fall out his ass.
Okay. After I heard you say that,
he can't be a piñata with Canelo.
Check this out. All right, so check this out. All right, so after I heard you say that, the absolute best fighters that Canelo fought, he lost to. You just said that, right? So why are y'all talking like this nigga can't be touched? If that's
Who
the
said
case.
he couldn't be touched?
What?
Who
Nobody's
said he couldn't
saying
be
that.
touched?
Y'all think Benavidez don't have a chance against him?
He couldn't be touched.
We didn't say that he can't get touched. We said he's gonna get starched.
Nobody's saying Canelo can be.
If they fight,
nobody's saying
it's going to go bad for Canelo.
Hold on 1 second. Nobody's saying Canelo can't be touched or can't lose. No one's saying that. What we're saying is David Benavidez does not resemble the fighters that beat Canelo. He doesn't have Floyd Mayweather or Dimitri Bivol skill sets or abilities. He is not that guy. He's a fucking piñata. So when you talk about a guy being able to beat Canelo, you're looking for a type of style or skills. David does not fit that mold.
Right.
He is too hittable. He's never fought at that level. And the fact that you believe he can beat Canelo makes no sense.
He can't afford to be a piñata against Canelo.
The fuck is we talking about?
I really hope they fight. And I want to do a watch along with you. I really hope they fight, and I want to do a watch along with you.
Hold on, man. You know what they forgetting. You know what they forgetting.
For real.
First of all,
I really hope they fight, and we can do a watch along.
No. First of all, Canelo was what, 5'7", 5'8", if he stand on his motherfucking phone book. David Benavidez was 6'2" with a 75, 76-inch fucking.
Yeah, and somehow that's not going to get to Canelo.
He fights inside. He's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
But he got 2 left feet.
Between him and Bivol, trying to be a mid-range fighter.
Close to this 6'2".
With the combination, you know that, right?
But look at this though. He got 2 left feet. He got hit by Morrell, and he got dropped.
Inside fighter and a mid-range fighter,
crossing his legs.
Come on, man. He too little, man.
Talking about?
He
Why
too
the
little,
fuck,
man.
understand?
why the fuck
Do you
Morel drop?
understand
man.
Why
a
the fuck
difference
Morel
between
drop
a mid-range
Benavidez?
fighter and a
It's like,
close-range fighter? Do you
listen, man,
understand that?
y'all
Who's the
call him fat
mid-range?
already,
Who's a
man. Y'all
mid-range fighter
Benavidez don't
with
got no
don't y'all say
combination
he
out
balance.
of
weight
David
He
bully?
got no
Didn't y'all say
Benavidez
he
balance.
and
weight
Dimitri
bully?
Bivol
Let me get
Bozo?
Didn't y'all
order
say
in
he
the
weight
court.
bully?
Order
This
in
is
the
gonna
court.
be like Canelo.
Hold on,
It's
fellas.
gonna
Hold
be
on,
like
fellas. Hold
Canelo
on.
versus
Let's
fucking
Bro,
get a
Steel
little order.
Mills, yo, this can't make
too
no
little,
sense.
man. He
Caesar, he
too
making
Okay,
no
he's
sense.
okay.
little
Let's get
Now,
a
body.
little
look,
order. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. We got the legendary Steel. Hold on. We got the legendary Steel Mills. My brother L. Caesar in the building. Now I know Steel he's about to blow a gasket listening to all this chaos
He's gonna
because
say
I
the
know
same
he's sitting
shit,
over here
man.
suffering listening to this shit. He's heard what
I
Solid has
know I
said,
am.
comparing. Hold on, he's heard Solid has
It's more pro
compared.
Canelo talk.
Hold on, he heard Solid has compare. Basically Dimitri Bivol and David Benavidez like they got the same fucking skill set. And telling
Hey, I
about
never said that, bro. Hey, bro, I never
yes, you
said
did.
that.
Yes,
I
you
never
did.
said that.
Yes, you did.
I
Don't
never
back
You
said
down.
said
that,
that
bro.
Don't try to back
no,
down
stop.
now.
Don't try to hide
Try to
now.
back
No,
down now.
I said they got the
don't
same
back
skill
down
set.
now. He's still getting a
Somebody got to
building
prove
that
that.
energy
Somebody got to
change.
rewind tape and show
Man,
me I
See
said
that
that.
energy change.
Hey, Nuke, you
That's
said that. You
Nebraska
said that
Right.
shit.
like
Then you
you
got
said that like
Ashley talking about
You
Super
said they
Bud.
both
He got to get
started
past Super Bud
dominating
first.
you said that like
Yo,
Teddy Atlas just came on the
can we just
motherfucking
one
channel,
at a
man. You
time
gonna say
talk?
the same shit he
Can it
been
be
saying?
one at
Come
a
on,
All
man.
right,
time
let's
though?
do
Then you
one
got
at a time,
Ashley.
fellas.
Stop.
Ashley talking about you got to pass Super Bud first.
Come on, man. Y'all
We got all
acting
this
like
shit
Teddy.
recorded
Y'all
here.
acting like Teddy Atlas just came on here and
All right.
he's gonna break the gospel
Oh,
down
that's
and
Oh,
shit.
you
Like,
sound like an
Oh my
hater, bro.
God.
Hey, yo, Steel
Ashley,
Mills,
the
man. Do
replays
your
are
all
damn
right.
on.
thing, bro.
Hold on. We're gonna go one at a
stop
time.
playing with us,
I'm gonna
man.
go to Steel. I'm gonna go to
Don't
Steel, and I'm
disrespect
Fuck
sorry.
out of
I'm
Steel.
here,
sorry,
man.
Ashley Knuckles.
Hashtag
I'm
it.
sorry.
FOH, man.
Hold on, Ashley.
Hashtag.
I'm
Fuck
sorry,
out of here.
but Steel is the IBFP's version and better version of Teddy Atlas. All that shit. Teddy Atlas kind of a
Hey,
moron
listen,
sometimes.
things can
Still is
Trump is
way
still
above Teddy
Teddy
independent and a
Atlas
Atlas.
bright
sucks.
future.
Fuck
So
out of here.
hold on, Still break down some of the shit you heard. Ashley talking reckless. Solid is talking reckless, bro. The floor is yours, my
Hey,
brother.
Cream, I'm knocking out Tim
Man,
Bradley.
man, when y'all talk about, like I heard Solid say that, Benavidez's style is all wrong for Canelo. And I'm like, based on what? Like, a lot, like I was running errands, so a lot of this shit I wasn't able to hear. But I did hear him say that that's a bad style matchup for Canelo.
Yeah.
Could you explain to me how? Like, that's a bad style matchup, my guy?
Nah,
Violent punches. Watch.
it's a bad
Violent punches.
style matchup
Watch.
for Canelo
Look,
because
look. It's a
again,
great matchup for
Canelo.
Canelo.
Hold up, bro. And the reason why I'm saying that is because with Benavidez Canelo likes to fight people that just back up, he can walk down. That Benavidez is not going to do that. When you bring the fight to Canelo, Canelo doesn't do that good with that style. Benavidez is going to bring the fight to him. And then he's a big enough
You don't know
puncher
what you're talking
to
about.
bother
Mr. T,
Canelo.
You
get
don't know
off.
what
Get
you're
off.
talking about.
Mr. T.
You don't
Mr.
know
T,
what
get
you're
off.
talking
Mr.
about.
T, get off.
Mike knows
You
no
don't know
That
what you're
shit
different.
talking
sound
about, bro.
reckless
Okay,
right now.
are you ready
Y'all
to
pro
respond
Canelo
to
though.
Still?
Y'all pro
Brody,
Canelo though. Of
take
course you gonna
Steel
say that.
body bag.
Oh, that's crazy, Mr. T.
Oh,
Brody,
this is the
Steel.
craziest
Get
shit I've
him,
So
heard.
wait a
Steel.
minute.
Get him.
Bro,
Yo, Steel Mills, I saw
Let me
your
ask
video.
this.
I like
Benavidez,
your
he's not a
video,
come
Mills. I
forward
saw
fighter.
it.
oh, appreciate it.
Hey,
Benavidez
let's
is not a
Steel
come
get it,
forward
bro.
fighter.
Let's Steel get it.
You said,
Get him, Steel.
man,
Get him,
Come
listen.
on,
Still.
bro.
You said, hold on. You said
Man, this is a pro
Benavidez.
Canelo channel, man. Come on,
Voodoo.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
what
He
it
fans
was
of
is,
Canelo,
bro.
talking about
definitely,
David
but
You
we
ain't gonna
Benavidez.
never
You a
win.
really big
we
dude,
fans of
You
man.
could
Canelo.
body
We
bag them
we we
100
we
times,
Hold
fans.
on,
man.
Get
let's
the fuck
still
out of here,
respond.
Ashley.
Let's still, hold
Get
on,
the
let's
fuck
still
out of
Hey,
here.
go
respond,
ahead.
fellas. Let's still
Go
respond.
ahead.
One
Go ahead.
second.
We fans of Canelo, man, but I think everybody has a pretty objective opinion when it comes to Canelo. If it's a fight that they don't think he can win, I don't think nobody on here is going to be objective to saying that he's going to lose. I didn't have him beating Bivol. I didn't think he was going to beat Bivol. I definitely didn't think he
Neither
was going
did
to beat
I
I.
Bivol,
definitely
and
knew
I
he
don't.
wasn't here.
So with that, on that notion alone, it's a pretty objective channel. I just think y'all kind of get convoluted with the fact that when we don't parakeet a lot of the bullshit that goes on surrounding the fighters that y'all necessarily are that y'all pro and that y'all favor and that y'all champion, then y'all fanboys and all this wild shit, and it just get the conversation just takes
I'll
a
just say
different
this:
direction.
y'all better pray. Y'all better pray they don't actually fight. I'm just
All
gonna
right,
leave.
now
I'm
back
just
to
gonna
that. Well,
say
now
that.
back to that. Back to
Why?
that.
We want
No,
them to fight.
We
We
exactly.
want
want
them
them
to
I
to
fight.
want them
fight.
to
We
fight.
Because
don't
this
want
shit,
them to
Right.
fight.
because
We scared.
I'm
this
gonna
shit
tell
y'all saying, this shit y'all saying is ridiculous, bro.
I'm gonna tell
This
you.
shit y'all saying is ridiculous.
You gonna see that shit if they fight? Who
Let
did
me
he
tell you.
fight?
Listen. Wedding crashes. Wedding
Let me-
crashes.
Go ahead, Steel.
Hey,
Go ahead,
let's
Steel.
Let me tell you
let him
this.
talk.
You said like he does better with fighters that fight off of the back foot as opposed to fighters who fight off of their front foot. If that was the case, he'd have did a lot better against Bivol, Brody. When you walk
See,
through
I never
him,
said that. I never said
no,
that.
but
Yeah,
you're saying
exactly
when he
what you said.
That's
You
exactly
said
what
when
you
literally
said.
just said that, brother.
Hey, yo, IBF should be. Let me say
You
this.
gotta read that, IBF.
Yes.
IBF should be able to close out this. Last time I was on here, I said
let IBF read
he
this
doesn't
first.
do good against fighters like Bivol. I said that. So that's not true. But go ahead.
All right. But just when you
Moving the
fight a dude,
goalpost.
Canelo style is he's a dude who likes to fight in the pocket between mid-range and inside. So when you fight, Benavidez would do half of the work for him by meeting him in the middle of the ring. Now, when they get at that range, what is it that Benavidez is going to be able? What type of resistance is Benavidez going to be able to give to Canelo that has you saying that's going to be too insurmountable for Canelo to deal with?
Nada. Te lo digo en español.
Like I said,
Nada.
I can answer the question. I can answer the question.
Can I please answer that one? Please let me
Let
answer.
answer it.
The same
Answer it.
style.
Answer
Listen,
it.
the same style that we explained to you already, and to give you confirmation on that.
Don't say
is to
volume
let you
punches,
know
please.
that the man Canelo himself know it's a hard matchup. That's why he want 200 million.
That ain't answering my question, love.
That is answering
That's not answering my
That's
question.
answering your
Like you
question.
scared to
The
eat the
same
tush.
style he done
Stop your
explained to
shit.
you 150 fucking times from the first time we was on here. The man done explained to you. That's why I told you you're a hashtag FOH. Fuck out of here, because you come on here like I said, like you fucking Teddy Atlas.
All right,
you come
so
on here
Ashley ain't
and
gonna answer the
say
question.
something about
Ashley ain't gonna answer the question. Ashley ain't gonna answer the
He's
question.
emotional.
Super emotional.
Nah, you know what?
Mad
I
at
just tell the
Steel
truth.
Mill.
I just tell the
You
truth.
got too
Why?
much
Because
farmland,
because
man.
He's
y'all be
What
cowards.
you
Y'all come
doing in
on
that
here and y'all
yard,
be
man? Go
sucking
find
these
something else to
motherfuckers,
do,
bro.
man.
But I'm gonna keep
Go
it
ride one of
100
them
on here.
4-wheelers or something,
Damn,
man.
that
You
shit
don't
sound like a little bit of
space.
hater coming out of you,
That ain't no
You don't sound
hate.
like
That's just real shit.
Steel Mill.
Nah,
Steel Mill, that
You
sound like some hating that's coming out of him.
You the king hater on here. You're the king hater. You're the king hater on here.
Ashley, go sit
I'm just
down
gonna
on your
be I'm just
furniture,
gonna be
Ashley.
100
Let
on
my
you.
man
Go sit
Because
talk.
for
down on that
one,
4-wheeler you
and
got.
I'm gonna break it down to you why
Ashley, go sit down on your furniture. Let my man talk.
I'm gonna break it down to you on YouTube on this YouTube stream
Oh my
for
God.
everybody here so
Hey,
I
yo,
can expose
Solidus,
you.
come holler at me, man.
I'm
What
gonna
you
show you how
think,
fucking I'm gonna show
Solidus?
you how fake you is.
Steel Mill,
I'm
do
gonna
me
show
a
you how
favor,
fake
Steel
you
Mill.
is, my nigga.
Break this dude
Since you
down
like to
like an
use that
improper
word, since you
fraction.
like to use that
Break
word.
it down like an improper fraction.
No, listen, man, y'all doing a lot of talking. Listen, man, I'm
Oral.
about to break something down on
Okay,
y'all
okay,
homeboy.
hold
Y'all
on,
just
hold
You
on.
keep
ain't
it up
breaking
for
Let's
shit
get
down.
some. Hold on,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
keep it
go
real.
around the
Hold up. No,
room.
I
We're
got to
gonna go
keep it
around the
real
room.
with
Just
him
get
because
Only
this
he
thing
shit
you
says a
straight.
lot.
breaking is a
He
Kit
says
Kat.
a lot. I'm
Only
gonna show
thing
you.
you
I'm gonna
breaking
show
is a
you how
Kit
fake
Kat.
you is. I'm gonna show you how fake you is. Because I remember when I first came here, you was like, "Yeah, yo, Ashley, you from the Bronx? I fucks with you." And you know how we get down for the Bronx. But you, as a man, for you to come on here and call me Ashley a fucking woman's name, my nigga,
Oh,
that
now he's
lets me
trying to
know
get
All
that
right,
you're a
man.
personal,
Stop
fake ass
dude.
crying,
dude.
bro.
No,
How
no,
many
because
shit you said to
because
me? You
for
hit the
one,
farm?
for
Yo, Ash,
one, because for
Ashley,
one,
so
that
many shit you
everybody else
said
that
to
come
me.
on,
Yo,
everybody
so
else
many
that
shit
come
you
on
said
this,
to me. You see me
everybody else
crying?
that come on here,
You still me
you know,
crying,
you know,
Mill?
call me
You
out
still
for
me?
you know,
Hey, yo,
call
you
me
still
out
my
for him,
ninja.
bro. Everybody else
Hey,
that
yo,
come on
Nu.
here,
Hey,
you
yo,
don't call
Nu.
him no
He's still
female.
my
Yeah.
ninja.
But you
He's
feel,
still
see,
my
you
ninja.
feel
Don't
you
See,
worry
can
about it.
play
Stop
with me.
crying.
That's what it is. Nah,
Hold
you
on,
feel you can
everybody.
play
One
with me
second,
like
one
Blood
that.
second,
That's
clot
what
bro.
it is.
crying.
One
That's why I
second,
say
bro.
you a
1
sucker,
second. Look.
fake ass dude, my nigga, and that's
Stop
just
the
real
blood
talk.
Okay,
clot
Ashley, relax,
crying.
So
relax, bro. We talking positive.
just hold that
Everybody
label,
getting all
just hold that
emotional
label and
here.
know who
We
Damn,
you
don't
is.
man,
need
he's
this,
so
man.
mad at me.
Ashley, chill the
Just know
fuck
Hey,
you
yo,
a
out,
Ash,
band
man.
hey,
nigga.
yo,
You know what
Ashley, I'll
band
be
stand
over there
for.
at the
You a
fight,
bitch
yo.
ass
If you
nigga.
want to,
So
I'll be
since you
at the
like to
fight.
use that
Listen,
word, just
I'll
know
be in
that.
Madison Square Garden at the fight. You see my face. You
Come
see how
on,
it
man. You
looks
don't
like.
want no
I'll see
problems
you
with
over there,
me.
my nigga.
Primo, you don't want no
Okay,
Bring
problems
that
with me,
up.
hold on.
bro.
One at a
Take
I
that
time,
just
shit
one at
told
a
back
you
to
that
time.
already,
Alabama
bro.
where you at. Take
Hold
it
on,
back
one
to
at a
Listen,
time,
Alabama
one
where
man.
at a
you at,
time.
bro. You don't want
Let's
Yo,
this.
get back
this
to the
all part of
conversation.
You don't want
everybody
this
else.
smoke.
But yo,
Hold
for
on,
Shut up.
those
You don't want
for
this
those
smoke.
who
Calm
don't
down,
know,
calm
you
down,
don't want
man.
no problem.
Calm down. You don't want this.
Hold on. Preem, Ashley, both of you
You
guys
don't want
take
no
a
problem.
quick time out, man. It's getting out of control, man. It's getting out of control. I'd like to
Nah,
give
I
a
just
shout out
wanted
to
to
my brother
expose your boy.
Clavo.
I just
Clavo,
wanted
I just want
the
to
world to know
expose this
that
if you're
clown
in the
over there.
chat,
That's all.
Clavo, salute to you. Jump on if you can, my brother. And look, let's get back to the
Man,
boxing talk, man. We getting too far.
I really want to have this conversation with Solid. Solidus, bro. I really want to have this conversation with Solidus. Ashley too emotional to get smoked, man. So I can't even deal with
Nah,
homeboy
it's
right
not.
now,
It's
man.
not. It's not
He
about me
can't get
getting
the
Ashley
smoked.
smoke.
too.
He
Yo,
start
still,
crying.
still, man. I'm
You
gonna keep it 100 with you. We all men on here, bro. I
definitely.
never came on here calling man out his
Oh
name.
And
Can I
my
You know what I'm
just?
God,
saying?
here we go,
mention
So
the
man.
I,
Come on,
listen,
emotion.
fam.
yo, so
Nah,
y'all,
listen,
y'all,
every time you
listen.
say that, I'm gonna say you
That's
emotional.
what's wrong with y'all now. Y'all feel
Every time
jokes.
you say that, I'm
Y'all
gonna
Hey,
feel
say
can
you
I
jokes to
just?
be
emotional.
said
Can I
Let
just
every
it
say
day.
one
go.
thing?
Y'all feel jokes to be said
Let it
every day.
go,
Listen,
man.
man,
Let
this
it
Dude,
supposed to
go.
be
Ashy, just
about
fucking chill the
facts,
Chill,
fuck
Mills.
out.
not
Hey,
about
Chill,
can
Mills.
I
Chill,
emotion.
Mills.
just?
What
Everybody
you want to say?
relax, bro.
Hey,
It is about
can I
facts. What are
just?
you talking about?
I just say one thing.
Hold
Keep
on,
it
fellas.
boxing. Call me by my name or don't even speak to me, my nigga. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Solid is holler at me, man. Solid is holler
Let's
at me,
get back
man.
to this, man. Let's get back to this. Still,
Solid is holler
would
at me.
you like to finish where you picked up, man?
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Canelo Alvarez did an interview a year ago where he said out his own mouth, this guy is a huge risk, so I need 150 to 200 million.
He did not.
This is what he said.
Risk.
Well, but he didn't say the huge risk. He didn't say that.
So if he's saying that, he obviously sees what I see. So I'm not taking your guys' word over what he's saying. This is what Canelo said.
All right, so let's
So
go
I'm
like
not
this.
fucking with what y'all saying. So go ahead.
Never said huge risk. So.
All right, so let's do it like
this. Bro, I can see the link.
One second. I want to respond.
I actually got that video.
Everybody,
Hey,
1 second.
hey, I got the video saved in my phone. Whoever said he didn't say I can send the link.
Oh, I bet you got to say. No,
what
I'm
Canelo also
said?
You know what Canelo also said? Canelo
He said that he didn't say that. I can prove he said that.
Hold on, everybody. We're gonna go one at a time right now. One at a time. That way we can get everybody points across. So, Solidus, am I good to go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thank you, my brother. So, Solidus said that David Benavidez is going to be a tough fight. Canelo said that David Benavidez would be a huge challenge for him. Is that correct?
Yeah, he said that.
Yes, and I'm going to go ahead and shout out to Mr. G4L. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Much love and respect, my brother. You welcome by any time, man. Support and salute, man. I just want to go ahead and put this body bag on the screen for you, my brother. No disrespect to you, Solidus, but I got to go ahead and get this prepared for you. Your grave is dug. So Canelo also said that Edgar Berlanga was a fucking great fighter. He also said that Jaime Munguia was a great fighter representing Mexico. So Canelo is very complimentary towards everybody. That's what he does. He said, oh, this guy's great. This guy's great. We don't know how he truly feels, but he calls everybody excellent fighters, great fighters.
You can't read Canelo's mind.
Hold on.
You can't read his mind.
Solidus, one at a time. Solidus, one at a time. Solidus, one at a time. So as we all know, ain't nobody on this panel dumb enough to believe that Edgar Berlanga is no fucking great fighter. We all know that man is ass. Everybody knows that. So your whole point has been debunked about that.
Let me cut in real quick. Real quick. He also didn't ask for that much money to fight those guys either, but he asked for that much money to fight Benavidez.
And that's
a red flag.
Them dudes also.
That's a red flag. Hey, at the very least, you can admit that's a red flag.
Hold on, Solid.
Can you at least admit to that?
Correct. No, that's not a red flag.
Hold on.
Oh my God! I'm about to be out, man. After you make your point, I'm out, bro.
No, don't leave because I want to talk to you. Don't leave because I want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, we got the body bag.
Bro, this is bad, bro.
Solid.
Now go ahead, IBF. Go ahead, IBF.
I'm put the bag back up here one more time because you keep saying slick shit, so I'm gonna have to keep coming back at you. And you're right.
No, I'm alive and well. I can't be putting no body bag, but go ahead.
Okay, you don't have to agree with it. You're getting buried anyway. And so basically he's saying that I'm losing my train of thought without talking shit.
Information is also available.
So my brother said up here talking all this stuff. Look, and I forgot what we are. Fucking still, go ahead and go, man. I done lost my train of thought.
All right, so peep game. So peep game. I want to wrap with you. So when they get at that range, I want to because I didn't get your answer on this question. When they get at that range where they both in the phone booth, they both in the pocket, what is it that David Benavidez is going to bring to Canelo that has you thinking that this is going to be too insurmountable of a task for Canelo to overcome? I want to know that.
No, if they in the pocket fighting, Benavidez is a very strong puncher, and he's a real good value puncher.
Right.
I can't really remember the last time Canelo fought somebody. Not somebody as devastating as a puncher as Benavidez. Now, for the record, I do not think. Hold up.
Wait.
For the record, I do not think.
Canelo's a boxer.
Hold on.
If he can't fight in the middle, how will Canelo not take a strong puncher though?
Y'all not listening. Y'all not listening.
He bodied
not
himself.
listening.
You saying the stupidest shit, dog. What the fuck?
Now, for the record,
spit that shit, Caesar.
Yo, you coming up with your feeling? You coming up with opinion like he's a strong puncher. Why did he?
Now let me holler at Steel Mill.
Why did he get dropped by Devin Morrell if he can take a punch? Tell us that.
No, I'm not.
He got dropped by Ronald Gabriel, journeyman.
He got dropped by Ronald Gabriel, a fucking
journeyman.
Oh,
So-
he's actually no.
so
hold
what
on,
I'm saying
hold
is-
on. I'm sorry, Caesar. Ronald Gavril's a Walmart clerk, but
Who did Canelo? Wait, who did Canelo get knocked down from?
He never been on the canvas. He never been on the
One
canvas.
time at Target, I think I saw Gabriel right there,
Yeah.
helping me out.
Yeah, David couldn't even knock out Canelo's leftovers in Caleb Plant, but
And
I guess
Caleb Plant.
David's some big power puncher that can't
And
be.
you know how
IBF, I want to
think
ask you a
David
serious
Benavidez-
question.
I know.
Has Canelo ever been on the canvas?
Never.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
Okay,
I
hey,
just want to make sure.
is
These guys know what's going
Hold
on.
on, let's go back to Steele real quick because I think Steele wanted to get his point
Munguia
out.
got 35 knockouts. David only got 24. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
So when you said you said you can't remember the last big puncher.
What does that have to do with Benavidez and Canelo fighting though? What happened in the past?
You said you can't remember the last big puncher that
I would
he
just
fought.
like to say
that
that.
was a big puncher
Hold
like
on.
David.
We're going to get a floor to Steels and Solidus for 1 second, fellas. 1 second. Steels and Solidus for
But I
30
can't answer the
seconds.
question though.
Hold on, 30 seconds. He's saying you're not answering the question. He's saying Canelo ain't never had that kind of big puncher or whatever, Steels.
So
This is what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what I'm saying. When Canelo fought somebody who was willing to not be scared and just let him walk him down and actually throw back, Canelo was having trouble with that. I admit, this is my 10th time saying this. Bivol is better than Benavidez, but Benavidez has some things about him that he does better than Bivol. And if he can, get, hold up. And if he can,
I can
Please
answer
let him
that.
finish. Please let him finish.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
You gotta chill. You gotta sit on the sideline for this one, loved one. Hold on.
Let him
Please let
finish.
him
Let him
No.
finish.
What
muting
Benavidez
myself.
does better than Bivol is, he throws better uppercuts and he's fat. His hand speed is faster. I can see that giving Canelo trouble. Why are y'all? What is so hard to believe about that? I don't get that. That's one scratching my head. I don't get that. That can't. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, I don't want to cut you off on that. You said who's the you don't remember him fighting a bigger puncher than David Benavidez. You think David Benavidez is a bigger puncher than Golovkin?
Well, he lost that fight, so I don't really want to bring up a fight that he lost. But you can say that.
He didn't lose
that
that fight, but that doesn't answer the question. That you can just it's a yes or no
I said
question.
yeah.
Okay,
I said yeah, but I'm bringing the fights that he won.
Well, he won a Golovkin fight.
Benavidez is a bigger puncher than Golovkin?
The third fight, right?
No, the second one. And the
All right, man.
Who the fuck did David Benavidez fought at 168 to be a great super middleweight champion?
Now,
we're
when it comes to
interrupting. Let's still finish off. But what Solid
Now, he asked me
around the question. He saw a fight he lost. Just answer the fucking question. But go ahead. Go ahead, Phil. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. It's your show, you dig? So I'm every time you get to talking, you'll interject, I'm gonna fall back. Is Benavidez a bigger puncher than Golovkin? I didn't get clarity from that answer from you. Solidus.
No, he's not a bigger puncher than Golovkin, no.
Okay, is he a bigger puncher than Callum Smith?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would say yeah.
Based on what? Because we keep circling back to this conversation.
Dude, could you keep talking about he knocked somebody out in 168? That makes him a harder puncher.
Chill. I'll smoke you in a minute. I'll smoke you in a minute. Solidus, is he a bigger puncher? He's a bigger puncher than Callum Smith based on what? Because we gonna break all this shit down. Benavidez is a bigger puncher than Callum Smith based on what?
When you watch Callum Smith fights and when you watch Benavidez fights, it seems like Benavidez hurts his opponent more. So based off of that, I would say Benavidez is the stronger puncher.
How many?
You don't really see Callum Smith. Like the knockouts is what it is, the records. But when you watch Callum Smith fight, you don't really see him fucking people up. When you watch Benavidez fight, he's fucking people up. Like you said, somebody said that he got dropped by Morrell. I find that funny when most people say that's a trip, but they say that's a drop. But whatever.
I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with
somebody
that.
on the panel. One of these.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I actually said it was a hit to the shoulder. He just
I thought that was a hit to the shoulder.
How many rounds did Morrell win in that fight? How many rounds did Morrell win in that fight?
What Benavidez opponent called a seizure off of a straight right hand from David Benavidez?
no, ain't nobody catch no season. Not that I know of.
That's a body right there, bro.
That's a body.
That's a body right there.
because he gave one man, because he gave a man a seizure, we don't know. He could have been
Yo,
drinking.
put that body thing up there. Luke, I like to see that.
Yes. So that right there, that debunks the narrative that
If
Canelo
that's the
hasn't
case,
fought
he
a
should have.
big.
If he hit that hard, he should be knocking. He should make everybody have a seizure. He punched.
Ashley, relax. 1 second,
If he
Ashley.
hit
Let him
that
finish
hard,
this.
everybody should have a seizure. Am I right or am I wrong?
All right,
You're
Ashley,
wrong
1 second. 1
as
second.
usual. That right
That's
there
crazy.
debunks your narrative on someone on Canelo not fighting as big of a puncher as
Dude,
David
be saying
Benavidez.
the
So now let's
dumbest
move.
shit.
I never say.
No, now we
think-
move away from that.
I
That's
don't
a
even think he's a bigger
misunderstanding, bro.
puncher as Danny Jacob. He
All
got
right,
more
man.
knockouts than David
So
Benavidez.
now, facts. So now let's get past that.
That's crazy.
We get
So
past
when
the
y'all
power
watch,
puncher. We watch what? Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So we get past the power puncher.
I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. It's a pro Canelo talk, man. Whatever.
It's
Is
not about
Canelo
it being
going to
a
knock out William Skull?
It's not about. No, I don't think he's going to knock out William Skull. It's
Hey,
not
don't you
about.
think that's a problem?
No, I don't.
No.
Because he's not knocking. No,
He's
because he's not knocking people out
undersized.
no
What are you
more.
talking
What the
about?
fuck is
That's
wrong
how
with you,
great
dog?
Canelo
Man,
is.
He undersized.
That's
But what the
stupid,
fuck
bro.
is he
You be
up there?
saying
Y'all
some.
got more excuses from this dude
be-
than the absent kid from school.
I don't
You do
get it, bro.
realize
I don't
that
get
we
it, bro.
started at 140.
I don't get it, bro.
Didn't we started the
I
live
don't get
talking
it.
about we will cook Canelo if we
Yeah,
fought
I don't
Chris
get it,
Eubank
bro.
or Conor Benn?
Yep.
You can't debate
That's how we
What are you
started the
talking
live.
about?
What
We
are you
don't
talking
defend
about?
You
Canelo.
can easily, hey, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. You can easily get disillusioned talking with boxing with y'all because y'all got a different alternative to it. I don't get it.
No,
I
it's not.
called
get it.
It's me
Canelo a
and you.
duck
I'm being
earlier. What are you talking
bro.
I don't get it, bro.
The thing is, you don't really have you don't have a
None of that stuff you're trying to say would mean like, bro, we haven't even seen Canelo and Benavidez fight, but somehow all that stuff you're saying is going to matter. Like, are you serious, bro?
But we've seen Canelo fight champions and Benavidez
How?
dug him. What are you talking about?
Not even that. When you talk about Callum Smith, Callum and Benavidez fight in the same division now, and Callum got 3 bodies up there. The Benavidez is none, and ain't even dropped nobody. So when you say he hasn't fought a bigger puncher,
See that right there. That right there should be a body bag in my favor because he's only fought twice at 75. He's getting his
He
feet
was in
wet.
the same weight class at 168. What are you talking about?
Callum Smith's first 2 fights he got a knockout, bro.
Nah, it's because they call him the monster and they think he should just automatically knock the
No, he
motherfucker
was
out
in the
if he
same
came
weight
up there.
class
That's
at
what it was.
168.
That's what it was, because they call him the monster, and
They
they
was
think
both
being that they
champions
call
at
him
the
the
same
monster,
time.
he's supposed to knock out the first 2 motherfuckers he fighting in
I need you to
175.
listen.
That's what it
That's
is,
what I'm
man.
saying. It don't make sense, bro.
It don't make sense. That's why I said they be talking out their fucking ass, man. They
Ashley don't know
be
what the fuck
talking
he
facts.
talking about. This dude is
Yeah,
over here super
Ashley,
They get
emotional,
on his
man.
don't know what
motherfucking
you're talking
channel
about. We
doing
talking about
crack jokes on
168.
Solidus.
1 second.
Solidus. Listen. When I'm speaking to the notion that you said that he hasn't fought a bigger puncher than David Benavidez, and I gave you 2. You agree with that he's not a bigger puncher than Golovkin. I gave you multitude of facts as to why he's not a bigger puncher than Callum Smith. I'm not saying because he's not a bigger puncher than Callum Smith that automatically means he loses the fight. I'm just speaking to that narrative that you're saying he ain't fought a bigger puncher than David Benavidez.
Let me say this.
Yo, Nuke,
he's not a bigger puncher than Golovkin. He's not a bigger puncher than Golovkin. I already know that.
Listen, hold on.
What I said was,
I can name 5 more fighters.
That's cool. But what I'm saying is he hasn't fought a really big puncher since Bivol. Bivol is a big.
What are you talking
Yeah, he's
about?
a bigger puncher. Who's a big puncher he's fought since Bivol? Please don't say Berlanga or Mugia.
Bivol's not a big puncher.
Bivol isn't a puncher, dog.
What are you talking about, bro?
He's not
You
a
don't
puncher,
know what
bro.
you're talking about.
Bro,
He punched
Bivol's
harder
not
than
a
the
puncher.
rest. He punched harder
know what
than
it is? You know what
Mugia
it
and
is?
fucking Berlanga.
Bivol isn't a puncher.
I'm going off.
Listen,
I'm going
man,
off what happened in these actual fights when they fight. I'm going off what happens in the fight.
Right. Is it Solidus turn still? Or
So-
In the fight with Bivol was bombing on Canelo with big punches.
You got an electrical storm, bro. I can't hear you.
Okay,
your mic is
let's go
punching
back to Still real quick. Solidus, hold on 1 second. He got a little social electrical storm to sort out.
He's in
He's saying
the Rice
Bivol's a big
Krispie
puncher.
right
Still,
Yeah,
he's
everybody,
saying
all
Bivol.
y'all shit on Vostick, but y'all can't say
Hold
who
on
else beat
1 second,
Vostick.
Ashley. I'm gonna go
Chill,
right back to you after this. Ashley, I promise I'm gonna go to you right after
What
this.
do you mean?
Still.
Boston got beat by Vitervia.
All right, I ain't gonna talk.
Hold on 1
I ain't
second.
gonna talk about
I just want to go to Still. I just
yeah.
want to go to Still because he's saying that Bivol's a big puncher. He's making the case. what is your response to this, bro? Because it keeps circling back down to these outrageous comments and statements. Bivol's a knockout puncher, and like I guess he forgot the 2 knockouts that Callum Smith got up there, vicious knockouts at 75 when he moved up. But you can't expect Davis to get knockouts when he move up, but Callum Smith gets them. It's just really funny. And Callum Smith has already been stopped by better BF. Like Callum Smith has been through the ringer. He's hurt Buatsi. We've never even seen David in with that level of competition.
Exactly.
In my opinion. So can you explain to me why somebody would have these type of thoughts and opinions about David still?
Did Callum Smith knock out his first 2?
One second, Ashley. Still, why would somebody have these type of thoughts?
Did Callum Smith knock out the first 2 fighters at 175?
Ashley, one second. Ashley, 1 second. Let's still get this one off.
Because a lot, like I'm telling you, man, a lot of this dude's stock is predicated on a defamation campaign of Canelo, dog. It's just they keep attaching, you know, the what they call the medals of valor to this dude that he ain't necessarily had to go through the war to get. He just got him because the narrative is Canelo's ducking at this dude. It's real goofy shit. So we skip past who's the bigger puncher. We skip past that, Solidus. When they are in that phone booth in the middle of the ring, outside of the biggest, because I'm trying to cut through all the bullshit and get to what it is you see from a nuts and bolts standpoint, like my man IQ says. What do you see that Benavidez does better than Canelo? I think we've debunked he hasn't been in with a bigger puncher than Benavidez. I think we got to that.
Let's talk about defense.
We get into all of that because defense just when they get in that range, what is it that you see from Benavidez that that Canelo isn't going to be able to deal with? Solid.
Interesting.
So what I'm saying is, now, like I said earlier, I got to say it again. So when I watched Bivol and Canelo fight, although Benavidez is not as skilled as Bivol, but what I noticed in that fight when Bivol was letting his hands go, throwing volume punches up close, Canelo was backing up. Benavidez is excellent at doing that. I can see Benavidez getting close to him and throwing it at Canelo, pause, swinging on Canelo like that, and Canelo having trouble, and I can see Benavidez beating him off that. Where my frustration is, anybody can see that. That's why I don't understand why I'm getting pushback on that. That's all I'm saying. All this extra shit, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying if he gets up close to him and he's able to do that, I can see Canelo struggling.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. And I was just about to say that. But does that?
Wait a minute.
That's actually okay. Go ahead.
Does Benavidez have the ability to get up close to his opponent and throw, let's say, devastating blows at his opponent and hurt him? Can he do that? Yes or no? It ain't. He's not as skilled as Bivol.
Jab. What is we talking about?
They don't.
Is this a joke?
What the fuck is he talking about?
He does. He does.
You
He honestly does.
You trolling, right?
Who you talking to me?
The person that said that they were trolling, right?
He's talking to Park Street.
He said he didn't know how to throw a jab.
Come on, man. He can barely throw.
I don't believe you. I don't believe Steelmill would say that. I think he's smarter than that.
He's not saying that. I am.
Yeah,
you're a troll.
Because you're a dumbass. That's why.
But see, the thing.
You a troll, bro.
The thing is this, man. I get what Park Street is saying. I don't agree with it, but I definitely get what he's saying. When you look at Bivol and you look at David Benavidez, man, a lot of them shots, especially down the stretch, Dimitri Bivol started throwing catch and shoot counters, dog, in multitude. So he catch the shot
at angles.
At angles. And he's not going to sit in angles.
Flipping and countering punches.
All of that. Countering.
In and out. Come on, bro. What is he talking about?
That is not David Benavidez's game. It's not. And when you can't, when shot.
Come on, man.
So you can defend against him. Value punching doesn't do nothing but. Oh shit! What the fuck?
Damn, you lot of shit.
Is my shit off? What the fuck?
Somebody down
Somebody got a boofer.
So I'm gonna just put Steel Mills backstage for a second. Why he does that?
Hey, Nuke.
And so why? Hold on, Steel. I'm not getting you off the stream. I'm just putting you backstage for a second until
Hey,
you
Nuke.
figure out your audio.
Nuke.
Yes.
Did Callum Smith knock out his first two opponents when he went to 175?
I believe so.
No, I ain't asking you, do we believe so? I'm asking you, do you know?
I believe he did. I mean, I can pull up his box recs right now, but I believe.
Yeah, go ahead, do that real quick. His first two opponents.
I believe so. What's your question
I'm
about?
just asking.
That is the question.
All right, so
Hey, Nuke.
he fought. Hold on. So his first opponent, that was a stoppage. Second opponent, that was a stoppage. Yes.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, Nuke. I was gonna ask you, like,
I wasn't making. I just wanted to know.
What's your opinion about this?
I don't follow Callum Smith, so I don't.
You're
know
supposed to know your facts already, Ashy.
Yeah. So and he's also knocked out a total of 3 people at 175 so far. So he knocked out his first 2 opponents, and then he knocked out another one a couple of fights later. So he has 3 bodies at 75.
His last opponent he knocked out, right?
And who asked me the
No,
question?
he didn't knock out
or Park Street or Carlos? Somebody's
No,
asking me a question.
No, it was me. It was me. I was just gonna ask you
Carlos,
because
what's up, bro?
what's your opinion about that July 12th card? I'm not, if we can continue on with this Canelo-Benavidez take, but
that July 12th card. Break down the card for me real quick, because I think I know it. I got it up on here real quick.
well, we got David Morrell versus this Russian dude that hasn't went 12 rounds, but he's undefeated. We have rumored Alberto Puello, the WBC 140 champion, versus Subriel Matias. Then the co-main is going to be Shakur versus William Zapeda.
Yeah.
And the main event is going to be Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Shiraz at 168, who supposedly is going to be the WBC eliminator.
Pushing Shakur as the main.
Well, no.
Did you
what I
name
seen
Morrell?
Mike
Did you say the
Coppinger say
Morrell
about
fight?
this is Mike said that Edgar Berlanga and Shiraz will be fighting last, while Shakur and Zapeda will be like the main event fighters at the press conference, which makes no sense.
Press conference.
I seen people try to shit on Shakur about this, but I'm like, at the end of the day, this shit don't matter, bro. Like, they got big fights, good entertaining fights. Just enjoy them. I mean, looking at this card, it really makes me want to go Shannon Sharp some chick.
Oh man!
Oh my bad, guys. Man. I didn't mean to say that, bro. My bad. But look, man. We can do a quick walkthrough prediction on that, and just see what everybody think. David Morrell versus Katiev. And who do you got in that one still?
Man, hey, am I good now?
Yeah, you're perfect.
All right, cool. My headphones connected to my, the wifey's phone, man. She just told me that, so that's why that shit was acting stupid. But man, I don't know. I went and looked up some footage of dude, man. Homeboy is nice. I gotta be real. This is I think this is gonna be a good fight. But just experience matters. David Benavidez being in there with David Morrell, that's gonna play in David Morrell's favor. I want to edge David Morrell. He's been 12. He's been the distance, and he's been in there with a better opponent than Kataev has ever been in with. So I'm gonna have to go with David Morrell. But homeboy got his work cut out for him, man. He better bring a lunch for this fight.
That's
right.
From
what I saw.
Who do you got, Puello or Matias?
Matias.
Okay. Stevenson or Zapeda?
I'm up in the air on that, man, because like I said, man, Zapeda has the style to beat Shakur Stevenson, man. If Zapeda was fighting Keyshawn Davis, I'd feel a lot more comfortable saying Keyshawn Davis. But I don't think Shakur has the higher skill set than Zapeda, but all that Sugarfoot shit and Jackfoot game, exactly. Just when someone is a Gatling gun and they throwing 10-punch combinations at you, just nonstop. This dude I try to get this through people's head. This dude threw 600 punches in 6 rounds against Hester. That is a ridiculous output, man. And Shakur ain't never been in with somebody with that type of value. So I don't know. I don't know.
What about Berlanga and Shiraz? Last one on the card. Berlanga, Shiraz. Who do you got in that one?
Both of them niggas lose.
Shiraz.
Decision, knockout. How do you got it?
I don't know, man. Just
it's a crazy fight.
Yeah, it's stupid to me, but Berlanga then all of a sudden turned into the old man. He talking his IQ shit. Your entire IQ, your entire push early on in your career was you being, you going in there outlining motherfuckers and chalking shit. Now, and once the knockout stopped, now all of a sudden you want to exercise your ring IQ, and that ain't never even been your game. You not nice like that. Shiraz, him being bigger, I think Shiraz is the more technically proficient fighter. Really good uppercut. And I think, just his jab alone is going to trouble Berlanga. And then he's going to try to fight at that distance anyway because he wants to beat his IQ dude. I'm going with Shiraz in this fight. I'm going with Shiraz in this fight. The minute Edgar Berlanga tries to step in behind that jab, he's going to meet an uppercut.
And the last one, Benn Eubank for tomorrow. Who you got on that one? Benn Eubank. Although Chris Eubank looked like he's very drained right now. I don't know if you've seen him.
I've seen him. On that notion, I'm gonna go with Conor Benn. I hope we get a Liam Beefy Smith situation with Chris Eubank Jr. where Conor Benn just go in there and just outline this dude in charge. Just go ahead and crash this dude, man, so we can pack him up and get him the fuck on up out of here, man. It's a lot of people feeling sorrowful for this motherfucker, but nobody told you to go and fight welterweights and super junior middleweights and all that shit, man. Middleweight is open for the taking, man. You turned your nose up at a fight with Yanni Beck. You done turned down a fight with Laura and all that shit. You acting like you too good for them dudes, but you good enough to go and brawl out with the not the middleweights, but the welterweights and the smaller dudes. Yeah. So give me Conor Benn, and I think the fact that the rehydration clause is in effect.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's gonna play a factor. So I'm on with Conor.
And one more for Still.
Let me get those choices because I'm about to get out of here.
Yeah, one second. One last one for Still. I had a lot of Ryan Garcia. I made a Ryan Garcia would quit against Boots video. I got a lot of hate. People said I was crazy and stupid. Boots is overrated. He's trash. He's this, is that. And I got a lot of slander on the video. I guess I'm not seeing what they're seeing about Ryan Garcia. I'm missing I get you don't have to like Boots. I get Ryan, you could be a Ryan fan, but I'm just talking about technically proficient, skilled, chin, heart, power. Everything seems to be in Boots' favor. I don't understand why people say they're the same level of fighter or Boots is overrated and I just what's your thoughts on a Ryan versus Boots fight? Real quick, Still. Who wins that fight and is it close?
Man, remember when that dude got in the ring with Efe Ajagba and as soon as the bell rang, he walked out? That's going to be Ryan Garcia, dog. Straight up, like, Ryan ain't got nothing for no Boots in this, man. A left hook is not going to do it because your left hook ain't as big as Boots in his left hook. And Boots in this has actual, he got skill set behind what it is that he's doing. He has a multitude of ways to set up that left hook. And you ain't going to be able to cut the ring off from no fucking Boots in this. That dude is going to sleep. Easy work, real easy, real early, bro. That's not a competitive match at all. Ryan is lunch meat in there with motherfucking Boots Ennis. Easy work. Easy work.
I tried to say that. I'm saying Ryan is booty meat against Boots Ennis. And I'm like, well, Boots Ennis is going to take away that left hook. What does Ryan have? He has nothing left.
Nothing.
All right, Preem, you're on the clock, my brother. There you go, Preem. I know you're about to get out of here.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Hit me with the choice. Come on, big dog.
Okay, I got you, Preem. I got you. So this is the card, and the first one, Shakur Stevenson versus Zapeda. Who you got?
Zapeda throws a lot of volume. Shakur, got some good defense. But remember, it's Shakur hands up to it. Because when you fight a guy like Zapeda's inside of you. That means you got to punch his arm, his elbows. You're going to catch elbows with those knuckles. So I don't know, man. His hands is kind of shaky. I'm going to go with Zapeda.
Okay. Wow. And who do you got? Puello versus Matias?
Oh, Matias all day. I ain't even got
it.
Ooh, okay.
Morel versus Katiev. Katiev has like a 90% knockout rate with about 10 fights and 9 knockouts, something around there, I believe.
Morel got a lot to prove. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stick with him.
Okay.
And then Berlanga and Shiraz. And this is Shiraz's first fight at 68. And a lot of people felt like Shiraz lost to the Bronco Adames, and he's moving up in weight.
Oh man, I know Shiraz got that jab. You know what I'm saying? My son is going for Shiraz, but we can't go for the same people in the house. So I'm gonna go for Berlanga.
Okay.
Okay, Preem. Okay. Let me go to Ashy Knuckles. Ashy, you there, my brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Who do you got? Morel versus Katiev. And Who you picking in that one?
I like Morrell, man. Like Steel Mill said, I think that fight with David Benavidez taught him a lot.
How did I know you were gonna say that? All right, Matias versus Pollo. Who do you got in that one?
Matias.
Okay.
Wow.
Stevenson versus Zapeda.
Shit, well, we all know Stevenson could run. So it's going to be a boring fight, but I could see Shakur edging it out with point.
Okay. Berlanga and Shiraz.
I'm kind of torn with that one. And the only reason why I say that is because I believe Shiraz was a little. I don't believe his last weight class was where he belonged. I believe 168 is a good weight for him. But I'm gonna run with him. I'm gonna run with Shiraz, but I won't be surprised if Berlanga beat him.
Okay. And let me ask you one off the cuff question real quick before I get to the next person. Actually, I posted a poll the other day, and it says, who has more to prove, Tank Davis or David Benavidez? Who do you believe has more to prove right now?
Tank Davis.
Tank.
Why do you feel Tank has more to prove than David?
Because Tank Davis ain't been fighting nobody. Can we get somebody? Can
That's
he fight
all I
somebody?
wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know, actually.
Shit, I'll take him fighting one of us on the panel. You know what
Damn.
I mean?
All day. I got you, bro. Shit, I got you actually against him.
Yeah, exactly.
El Caesar, who do you got? Stevenson versus Zapeda.
My bad. Huh? You said who I got on Zapeda and who?
Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson versus Zapeda.
Man, okay, so this is how it went, man. Zapeda did get dropped by Frank.
I'm out, my brothers. Peace.
Shout out Supreme. Take care.
Salute.
Vemos.
And
One
Shakur,
love. One love, Ash.
He did fight like a cab driver. He fought literally a electrician, so I can't be based on that. He fought an electrician, so Shakur. So it's gonna be a 50-50, man. But I'm gonna edge it a little bit to Zapeda because of the power, the pressure. I don't know if Shakur can handle that. We're gonna see, but I got Zapeda.
Okay. Pollo, Matias, who you got in that?
That one, man. That one was almost a 50-50. I got Matias. I think he can cut the ring off good.
Wow.
He's gonna pressure him with his power. I think he can stop either a stoppage or unanimous decision by Matias.
Morel Katiev.
Morel, I'm not even too hype on that fight, but
that might be the best fight. Low key, Caesar. This might be the best fight on the card. This might be the best fight on the card, personally.
Shit. I haven't read too much on the fighter that's fighting Morel.
Katiev might be a bigger puncher than David Benavidez. Maybe.
Really? Oh,
maybe.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He certainly looks the part. Solidus might stroke out here and that, but he looks the part.
Oh man.
Shit. Okay. So I'm not gonna answer it yet. I will maybe next live. I'm gonna answer that one.
Okay. And Berlanga Shiraz, who you got?
I got Shiraz. I'm gonna go with Shiraz, dog. Berlanga, man, I think Shiraz can at least outbox him. He can just a quick jab. He can get out the way with his power. You better watch out with Berlanga's power, though. I ain't gonna lie. So with his defense, he has to have that 100% defense with him, especially at super middleweight. It's gonna be his first fight, so he can outbox him. He can cut the ring off too, and see how it goes from there.
Can I get my picks?
Yeah, yes, sir. Carlos. Then we're gonna go to Solidus, and then we got some questions. All right, go ahead, Carlos.
The David
Shiraz Berlanga.
Oh, we started with that one. Oh man, I gotta go with Berlanga. I'm sorry.
You think Berlanga might stop him?
Hey man, Berlanga ain't no Ammo Williams. I'm sorry, Berlanga got the weight and he got the height and he been accumulated in 168. You know what I mean? And you know how I see this fight is kind of like you look at Plant's fight, you look at Charlo fight. This is kind of a better quality fight than those type of fights. But the thing here is like, you know, the Turkey wants to position Shiraz in a Canelo fight, and he feels like if he defeats a common opponent like Berlanga, he can get that golden ticket. But I just feel like Berlanga at his hometown, he gotta win. You know what I mean?
Okay, we're about to find out if Berlanga's IQ is really what he says it is. We're about to find out, and I guarantee you,
if you can't beat him, he's ass.
And I guarantee you, the post fight of that fight, and there's only one person I want on panel, and I want Steel Mills on here to talk about this man's IQ immediately after that fight. I just cannot wait to hear what he got to say about that man's IQ. All right, Stevenson, Zapeda, and Pollo versus Matias.
Stevenson, Zapeda. Well, that's a fight, but you know, I believe in Shakur's his boxing skills. You know, it's just the only thing that concerns me that is his hands hurting. You know what I mean? But it's just Willie Zapeda really like he disappointed me with Tevin Farmer going 24 rounds, couldn't stop him, and getting dropped by Tevin Farmer. Really,
that was a little shocking.
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And
that was a little shocking.
I feel like Shakur, you know, hopefully he does a better performance than Edwin De Los Santos, you know, and that's what I'm hoping for. Okay. With David Morrell and the Russian dude, I'm going with David Morrell because I feel like he got the experience. I feel like he went the 12 rounds with David Benavidez. I feel like he should win this dude, you know, even though he's not known, but you know, should bring that Cuban school of boxing onto him. And Subriel Matias and Puello. This is the closest fight to me if it's in the card. Alberto Puello has had 2 split decisions in his past 2 fights with Gary Antoine Russell and Sandor Martin. Subriel has stopped 2 of his last 2 fights after his loss with Liam Paro. I feel like people forget that Subriel, you know, he breaks these guys down, and these southpaws, like for example Malik Hawkins and fighters like that. But Puello is still a solid champion, has proven, you know, defended the belt. But I'm gonna go with my Puerto Rican brethren, Subriel, to break him down in the late 9th or 10th round.
Okay, and Solidus, are you there, my brother?
Yeah.
All right, let's break down the card, man. Morrell, Kontiev, who you got?
Although the Kontiev dude I agree with what you said. He is a big puncher, but I think Morrell would figure that out and get the win. So I'm going for Morrell on that one.
Okay, Pollo, Matias.
In my opinion, this is going to be the best fight on the card. My opinion. I kind of lean more towards Puello, but I could see it going the other way. But I got Puello. I'm gonna go for Puello.
Okay. Stevenson, Zapeda.
Oh, that's Stevenson. That's easy work.
Easy work. Interesting. And Berlanga, Shiraz.
I don't like neither fighter, but I don't want to be biased. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Shiraz. He seems more technical, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Shiraz.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. And I do want to ask you that poll question: who has more to prove, Tank Davis or David Benavidez?
I would say Tank because everybody's always talking shit about him, and at some point, that's going to irritate you to the point where you're going to feel you need to prove people wrong. So nobody, I mean, you know, people that, you know, the Canelo shit. So that's where Benavidez gets attacked at. But outside of that, nobody really talks shit about him. But everybody's always talking shit about Tank. So I can see Tank needs, he has to prove more because of that.
I don't think it's the shit talk about Tank. I think it's more about who Tank is fighting. He's never given.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they say he has a weak resume, and they're always they every single day they just keep bringing it up. They just keep bringing it up,
I mean, it is true though. It is true. It's sad.
It makes them want to just prove it.
Well, Eddie Hearn said that that he said on Fight Hub TV, the video's up now. He said that Tank Davis and Jake Paul is agreed for November.
Yeah, that's bull. That's stupid.
I don't know if it's true. This is from Eddie Hearn, Fight Hub TV. Go check it out if you don't believe me. If that is true and Tank is fighting Jake Paul in November,
I don't. Yeah, that's bullshit. I don't support that. If that's true, the interview. I think I saw the headline, so I know you're not lying about the interview. But if that fight does happen, that's going to be disappointing.
Yeah, I don't. Still, what do you make of Jake Paul, Tank Davis, November? if they're fighting. And he said there's a chance the Lamont Roach fight might not even happen because of it. We're assuming it's still on. We're assuming it's still on before, but it might not happen. But we're assuming the Lamont Roach Tank Davis is still on, and then he'll fight Jake Paul. But maybe we won't get the rematch. We'll see. What's your thoughts on the Tank Davis Jake Paul November fight?
Oh, that's
It's corny, bro. It's filthy. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's nauseating. It's all of that, man. You a champion, bro. You occupy real estate in the division. We got Keyshawn. We got Shakur. We got Lomachenko there. Lomachenko ain't already. He's already like, nah, fuck you. I'm cool on you. We still got Shakur and we still got Keyshawn, and both of them want that drama. You got duties to fulfill as a champion up there. Why are you even entertaining a circus fight with a dude, with a YouTuber, dog? Like, this shit is stupid. And let's say you don't want to fight Keyshawn, you don't want to fight Shakur. You got Mutataya, you still got Farmer. We got fuck, I just said his name, and William Zapeda. That is a rich division. I take Abdullah Mason over a fucking Jake Paul, dog. I'd take a Floyd Schofield over a Jake Paul. You can't. Yo, this dude's retirement can't come fast enough, man. That's all. That's how I feel about it.
What's your opinion about the Tank Lamar rematch being pushed to like late July to August? Ain't the fight was in March?
Yeah,
we're wasting the year already.
It's stupid because this. I mean, Brody, you shouldn't have fought the dude in the first place. Because once again, we got all these champions in the division. Why are you pulling up another fighter? Why are you pulling up another? There's no coming back from that. I don't give a fuck if he went in there and he knocked Lamont Roach out, bro. You lost that first fight. And I think he's gonna beat Lamont Roach in the rematch. But that's besides the fact, bro. You allowed a dude to come into your division and fluster you to the point where you committed 2 fouls. You got dropped and you went to your corner to get the sweat, wiped out of your eye, bro. You should have been docked a point for both of those, bro. And if somebody is that in a lower division can fluster you that much to cause you to have that type of reaction. Hey,
I'm starting to say this.
Ain't that a disqualification? What he did?
Yes.
Yes.
It should be. I think the one of the biggest mistakes Tank Davis has ever made in his career, and you guys might crucify me for this, but I think that Tank Davis should have fought Teofimo when Teofimo was running wild. Because I think when I'm looking at Tank's athletic ability and his power punching, I mean, I know a lot of people gonna have an issue with it, but I think that was Tank's chance to snatch up a big name, a big fight, and really solidify himself as something. And that's not to say that Teofimo couldn't have won. It's just saying that I think that would have been a very winnable fight for Tank based on his style and the way things were. And I don't know. Am I crazy here still, or what do you think?
I mean, because they both fight at a range to where they can touch each other at. They ain't got to go out and find one another. They're gonna stay at mid distance and they're gonna work off the counter. It could potentially be a boring fight, but I think Tank is a little bit more aggressive than Teofimo. But it could. I don't know. It could be a boring fight, man, because Tank's output is lower than heavyweights. He has the same output as heavyweights, dog. That's a problem. It could. I think it would have been a good fight. It'd have been a good fight, even if it was a boring fight. It would have been a really good name to have on your resume.
I'm sorry to say this, but 135 pounds has been a disgrace so far. Like right now that we got Teofimo, Ryan, Haney, technically going up to 147 pretty soon. Like Tank fumbled so many times, not having the Lomachenko fights, to not fighting these fighters at 135 when they was in the division. He wasted his good years of boxing because of his ego.
And
you know what I mean?
And this is my unpopular opinion for today. When I talk about Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez, all three at 147, and in my opinion, this is unpopular because I've gotten a lot of shit off of this, is that I think all three of those guys right now are in the same place. All three of those guys need to prove who the fuck they are. Yep. And I know it appears at this moment Devin Haney may seem to be the softest, but he's also could be the most skilled. So he could end out on top of all those three or at the bottom. It's really hard to tell. And I think any one of those guys could come out on top.
Yeah, he has the talent to bounce back for sure.
He does. He has the talent to bounce back. And Teofimo's so fucking unpredictable. I don't know what to expect from him. And Ryan never fixes mistakes. So I think it's wide open for any one of those guys. What do you think, Steele? Do you think one of those guys is head and shoulders above the others, or do you think it's a wide open field? In the next few fights, we'll see which one rises above.
With who? Between Devin Haney and who?
Ryan Haney and Teofimo.
I think Devin Haney and Teofimo are head and shoulders above Ryan, but I don't think Devin Haney and Teofimo are head and shoulders above each other. I don't think so. I think Devin Haney may have the edge because of his feet. He's a lot faster and lighter on his feet. But Teofimo is I like Teofimo's counter punching abilities better than I like Devin Haney's, man, because I see a lot more educated punches off the catch and shoot counters that Teofimo throws, man. I've seen him do uppercuts off a catch and shoot, but like he'll catch a hook and he'll shoot an uppercut off of the hook that he caught, man. I've seen that from Teofimo Lopez. I think he's a lot more creative with his counter punching. So I don't think it's head and shoulders between them two. I think Devin has a slightly higher skill set than Teofimo Lopez, though, because of his feet.
And when I got one more, Charles Conwell. I did a video where I said he was exposed, and I didn't mean it. And I didn't mean Charles Conwell was exposed, but people take it out of context. But I never meant that he was exposed, that he was a sorry fighter, a trash fighter. I just meant he was exposed as far as where people were pushing him. People push him as the top of the division when he's yet to prove that. Not that he couldn't bounce back from the loss or overcome it or anything like that. It's just that we're waiting on you to prove it. And when narratives start, it reminds me of Deontay Wilder, David Benavidez.
Yeah.
Like everybody fears this guy, and he's this and he's that. What do you put Charles Conwell right now at 154?
I think I haven't watched the fight yet. I think I think Charles Conwell is nice, but you're not wrong in saying that he's exposed, because I just found out that this dude lost to Ocampo, dog. This dude lost to Ocampo, and you turn around and you lose to him, and you supposed to be this wolf that everybody is scared to come and holler at. Like, nah, you can't lose to a dude who lost to Ocampo, my G.
That's not.
Nuke. The thing about it was that I was supporting Conwell because he represent my city. I gotta be honest. I want another champion in my city. But like, I saw that fight with Perez, right? And he was just the output, just being sluggish. Perez was always was punching first, you know what I mean? And I think the hype comes from because it's like he was ranked number 2 in the WBO, and he was like, oh, he's right there for to fight with Fundora or fight with Xander Sayas, for example. So they was like boosting him up, but he wasn't ready because this was his first 12 fight and he lost.
Two more questions. I'm gonna let y'all go, Ben. Brian Norman versus Jin Sasaki. What do you make of this? Like, why wouldn't you try to make a fight with Boots? I don't understand this. This is a blatant duck to me.
Man, I'm like, maybe he got a mandatory to get out the way. I'm hoping that's what it is, but bro, the Normans is playing themselves, man. Like we need Boots versus Brian. Period, point blank, man. Stop with the extra shit.
Yeah,
pursue that fight.
Boots is not gonna unify. He should just move up. He's not gonna unify.
And I'm thinking that he's already unified. He holds 2 belts. Hey, whatever,
And Manny's likely to fight Barrios, is what I'm hearing.
Oh my fucking God,
man.
yeah. That's fucking filthy, bro. That's
just when he's at the 5-year mark, he comes back.
This is a downhill.
These guys don't want to fight Boots, man. So Boots might as well move up and just get in the mix of all those great fights at 54. And last one, we got Usyk versus Daniel Dubois being announced, I think, on July 19th at Wembley Stadium. What chance do you give Daniel Dubois in this fight? Like percentage? 50, 40, 30, 20, 100, 80? What chance do you think he got to get the upset and shocking victory over Usyk?
Usyk is actually my favorite boxer, so I'm not willing to bet against him. But I will say, if he was to lose, I could see it being to Daniel. But I'm riding with Usyk on this.
Do you give Daniel any chance to be competitive, or you think that he's just going to go in there and wash him?
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be very competitive. It's going to go down. I think it's going to be 12 rounds. And if he is to beat Usyk, I can see it. I can see it.
I think
Carlos, Caesar?
Real quick, I think you got to give him. I mean, I got Usyk winning, but you got to give him a percentage that he could win. maybe not a lot of percent, not a high percentage, maybe like a 30%, because he's been on the road. You know, he's been on the road. He knocked out Anthony Joshua, and he's been the only one that made Usyk looks vulnerable to the body. You know what I mean? And it's be interesting. You know, this last 3 fights, he's been stopping these guys. You know, the Jerome Millers, the Hergovic, the Philip Hergovic, and Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And Usyk been winning on decisions. But he did stop. He still stopped Daniel Dubois in the 9th. You know, but Daniel Dubois, I feel like he matured that maybe he's no longer a quitter. Because if the body shots was working in the first fight, go back to it and stop complaining to the ref. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
We'll see. Caesar, you got any thoughts on the Usyk Dubois fight?
Yeah, my bad. Give me a sec.
Okay, we're gonna go to you still. Usyk Dubois, what do you think?
He's not gonna find that body shot again.
Oh,
if that was a clean body shot, he's not gonna find that, because if he was gonna find that again, he would have found it in that fight after he landed it.
So it's gonna be like a needle in a haystack. You're saying
a needle in the haystack, bro.
Okay.
I'll be generous and give him about 40%, man. But I think it's this,
That's
man.
really generous.
It's hella generous to me, because my thing, just I'm seeing a more assertive Dubois, and that's dope. You dig? That's gonna work for a lot of fighters in the division. But Usyk is too elusive. You're not about to just mow this dude down. It's just not gonna happen unless he get old overnight. It's not you need something else on top of that aggression, dog. And you're not gonna be able to. You're not just gonna be able to impose yourself on Usyk like that. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna work in your favor. He's gonna spin you. He's gonna dip you. You're gonna get tired of having to reset, because this dude keeps, he keeps pivoting to his right, and you have to fight. You got to follow him. You're losing him. That's mental fatigue. That's physical fatigue. He's just going to start putting punches off of them angles when Dubois resets, and it might fuck around and go like how I did last time, dog.
Damn, that's crazy. And I'll go back in time a little bit. I remember when Canelo was on a roll and he was whooping ass and taking names, but he was about to move up and fight Bivol. And I remember that fight was coming out. I said, well, the Bivol fight's 50-50. It's going to be a very hard fight for Canelo. Even though I thought Canelo had a chance to win the fight, I thought it would be a very difficult fight. People were calling it a cherry pick. And then people were skipping over Bivol and saying Canelo can go beat Usyk. Now, I think Canelo has a chance, if he's 100% healthy and at his best, to beat Bivol, in my opinion. I know some people think that's crazy. I think his style could possibly mess up Bivol. I don't think that there's a chance in hell he could ever beat Usyk. I remember at the time I told everybody, I said, anybody even thinking that this makes sense or that thinking that Canelo can do this, you smoking dick. There's no way he's not messing with this guy. Like, it's just not crazy. Usyk is, when you make that term one of them ones, that guy is that fucking one. He is that one. And I don't think I've ever seen a fighter like this that just can adapt to any fucking thing. And he's like a giant version of Lomachenko in a weird way. I don't know if I'm making that right, but Usyk is one of those special rare fighters that you're only going to get once in a generation. If Terrence Crawford beats Canelo, he's going to be put in that same category of Alexander Usyk. But it's going to take Crawford beating a guy like Canelo to get that recognition. And I'm going to tell you, if he does it, I'll give him all the credit in the world. I don't believe he'll do it, but if he can do it, I'll give him the credit, because Usyk has surprised me a few times, really shocked me. So I don't know. I got Usyk head and shoulders above the entire world at the moment. But I think if Dubois can land the right shot to that body, it could be a problem.
It could be a problem.
Become two-time undisputed, right? And a heavyweight.
Oh, man.
He's basically the modern day Holyfield.
Oh, man. He's phenomenal.
What he did to Tyson Fury just like surprised me. Wonder, because Tyson Fury was 6'9" and he can box, but he just, man, dude, he was just beautiful boxing.
That dude was not fucking with Usyk, bro. Just man.
I remember still they talked about Usyk versus Opetaia, and I'm high on Opetaia. I think he's great. It's just I don't know if anybody can just beat Usyk though. Like I just don't know.
Opetaia punches way too wide, bro. Usyk is a sharpshooter. That would be
Listen,
the kryptonite in that fight for that man, bro. Ooh, he's not beating no Usyk.
Now,
I fuck with Opataya. I fuck with Opataya.
Now, Opataya Benavidez, I think he sleeps David.
Yeah.
I think he puts David nap down. Solidus, can you agree with that? Can you agree that Opataya would put David to sleep?
Yeah, to be fair, if he were to move up to cruiserweight and fight him, yeah, I think Benavidez would catch an L. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Solidus.
We got to figure, now that it ain't as many people on the panel, we got to rap about this. We got to finish that conversation if Nuke is up to the, if
yeah. Break it down real quick.
No, I mean, you can finish doing your thing, man. It's your show. You know what I'm saying? Like you. Okay.
Yeah, Solidus. Speak on it, my brother. I think you wanted to break down David's style, or what was that?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what it is like when they get in that range. What is it that you see that David Benavidez is going to be able to do that's going to offset Canelo? Besides, because I think we got past the punch, the punching power and all that, and I want to know what else because I got a multitude of things that I see that is going to beat David Benavidez's kryptonite if they was a matchup.
I just think he's a bad matchup for Canelo. I just think, like I said earlier, anything can happen, but I just don't see Canelo being able to dominate Benavidez. Again, anything can happen, but if they were to fight, I really believe Benavidez will win. I think his style is good enough to beat Canelo, and yeah, I just really think that. Because I feel like, judging by Canelo's actions, I feel like if he wanted to fight Benavidez, he would have did it by now. I don't think all that other stuff matters. I think if he wanted to do it, he would have had it done, but he didn't want to. He was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if they fight, I think Benavidez style, I think he can beat Canelo.
I think in that opinion of yours, my opinion is I think Canelo is actually hurting Benavidez in a way, as in I think he's pretty much not letting him get the fight, in which look at Benavidez's career it's still nothing spectacular. He hasn't done anything. He doesn't even want to take a Callum Smith fight, and he's backing out of the fights. He's not trying to be an actual mandatory to get the better be a Bivol fight. He's just like, all right, I got the email chant, I got the email belt, and I don't got nothing else to do. I'm still better than Canelo. Let me talk my shit about Canelo every day until the end of the days. And that's what Canelo is pretty much showing us a point. Like, yeah, look at this dude. He's nothing special. He literally isn't.
The thing about it though is, I think he just I'm hearing he's interested in fighting Caleb Smith. You must have heard something different, but I think what it is he just really wants to fight Canelo. It's just something about Canelo. He just wants to fight the guy, and that's why he's always talking about him.
He's the money man. He wants
Canelo,
to he wants to get
Canelo
that
ain't
bag,
trying to do it. Money. All these guys are going to fight for money. It's always going to be money. We know that. But I think outside of the money, he just wants to fight Canelo. It's a legacy fight for him. He wants to dethrone him as the top Mexican boxer.
David came off as like the guy that tried to come in the party after the party ends. You know what I mean? Like man, what are you doing here? Like we did all this shit. You came in the very last minute. It's already 4 a.m, bro. Like go home. That's how Canelo sees David, dog.
But what you got to understand is,
he hasn't done anything like to catch his attention. He hasn't. All he does is talk shit. And
what you got to peep though is, if you look at Canelo's career, he usually fights people that call him out. So this is the only time he's been called out and not took the fight.
But the thing is this,
you did prove my point. Like, all right, go ahead, Steve.
No, the thing is, like, when it was Golovkin that was, you know what I'm saying, running up on him and all that, man, Golovkin had forced the issue to the point through action, not necessarily through just him barking. It was through action. You dig, chomped at the bit. If I can't get you, I'm going to just take off the next best thing until you ain't got no other choice but to come and holler at me. David didn't necessarily do that. And for him and his fans to have this type of bravado to them, to where it's like, if you don't fight me, then your legacy is on the line because I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? There's just a sense of arrogance. He's like, yo, the fight, I get it. Yeah, you know, when you call a fighter out, you're supposed to get that. You're supposed to answer that call. But it's also an incentive in that. And you're also being compensated if we run it and get in this ring. You dig what I'm saying? And I don't. It's not of extreme importance for me to go and holler at you like that. It's just not. And I don't necessarily. I don't want you to be compensated off of me like that with you running your mouth like this, because that's what it's really all about. If we being real, I'm not
But
looking
the
at
fans,
the fans definitely.
the real boxing fans, not the biased ones, they want to see them fight.
I definitely
Canelo's
do
well
too.
aware of this, and he's still like, I'm not going to do it.
I
So
definitely
what do you
want to
say?
see
So
that
what
fight.
do you say to the real boxing
real
fans
fans
that are
know
not
that.
biased?
What I say is this, and what I say is this: you're about to fight Bivol's in the
The whole
scope.
world wants to
It
see
is
that,
what it
bro.
is.
It's just
You
David
got
is in a
Bivol.
different weight division, and
No, because
it's
he's
two
talking about
different
going up to,
divisions now.
but he's talking about going back up to 175 and fighting Bivol. And my thing is this: if you're gonna fight Bivol, I'm not giving a fuck about you not fighting no David. David is not no legacy fight for that dude. I want the Benavidez fight more than I want the Bivol fight. But if you bro, Canelo's already been there, done that, and you looking to do it again, and you ain't even fought the dude. Instead of fighting the dude, you're gonna get him stripped. All right, bro. That's what type time we on. I will gladly take a Dimitri Bivol fight over a David Benavidez fight, even though I want the Benavidez fight more than I want the Bivol fight. Why? Because Benavidez isn't a legacy fight. Bivol
Yeah, but
is.
he is a legacy fight though, because it'd be the battle for Mexico. He already fought and
How?
lost to Bivol. He's going to lose again. And Bivol is saying he don't want to fight Canelo again unless it's for Canelo's belts at 68. Canelo don't want to do that. The battle for Mexico is way more of a bigger fight. He already got beat by Bivol. He's just going to get beat again. He's going to do something different to beat Bivol? No.
No, that's not the point. Do you want to see David Benavidez fight Bivol?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Why? Because he's gonna lose in embarrassing fashion.
Benavidez is?
Yes, in embarrassing
Man, that's
fashion.
something you got to wait and see.
Wait a minute. No. He said we got to wait and see. Solid is, and I respect you, my brother. But I say this with all due respect and love, my brother. David Benavidez is a tune-up for Dimitri Bivol. He's nothing more than a tune-up, and I'm talking about a tune-up as in you're not winning this fight, bro. Like that's done. That's done. Like you can talk about it. I'm gonna break his jaw. Yeah, that's nice. You're not winning the fight. So he's a tune-up for Bivol. Bivol is too many levels above him.
Way too many.
My question is, if Bivol beats David Benavidez, will the casual fan turn their look away from Benavidez and Canelo and decide, no, Bivol and Canelo, that's the fight to make happen?
And Domo says the battle for Mexico between a Mexican and an American.
That's what I wanted to say. How is this a battle for Mexico, man? That dude ain't from Mexico.
So his pops is saying he's Mexican. So I'm going to go against his pop.
I consider him Mexican personally. I consider him
Mexican. Let's define it. Let's define it. Where was David Benavidez born?
His last fight, he had.
I didn't ask about his last fight. I asked you where he was born. Hold on, Solidus. I asked you.
No, he's born in Phoenix. He's born in Phoenix, Arizona. But what I'm saying is,
so a natural Mexican is born in Mexico.
So
Canelo
it's from you got to be from Mexico to be considered Mexican.
I didn't say that. I said, but a natural Mexican is born out of Mexico, and so he's a Mexican American. That's the thing.
That's
he's
fine.
Mexican, but he's a Mexican American. If you notice, David Benavidez does not have all of Mexico behind him the way Canelo does. He doesn't get those receptions because he's from fucking the United States.
I don't think that's what it is. I think the Mexicans they support Canelo more.
But has Benavidez visited Mexico as much as Canelo has?
I can't speak on that, but I know his last fight, he had a shitload of Mexicans in the audience screaming Benavidez, El Monstro.
And were they Mexican Americans?
Mexicans in general. Mexicans from Mexico or Mexicans from America?
American and Mexicans.
I'm going to say this real quick. From my experience with Mexicans, from what the Mexicans are telling me, they don't give a fuck if they from Mexico or not. They Mexican if they Mexican.
I don't know who you're talking to. I've never had that experience. I live in Texas. So I've dealt with Mexican Americans and I've dealt with Mexicans.
They've all told me Mexicans.
I go to Mexico to vacation. And so I deal with both countries. And I'm telling you, there's a completely different
You're Mexican
situation. I'm not talking about my ancestry. I'm talking about what I experienced. And so I'm telling you, there's a difference between Mexicans in Mexico and Mexican Americans. There is a difference.
Facts. Oscar De La Hoya was he was fighting to prove his Mexican nationality, even though he was born in East LA. He was getting a lot of pushback from Mexicans. He's Chicano. You dig? That in itself is telling you what's the difference between the two of them. You dig? Not entirely, but it's just a nation state, bro. We Mexican, we real Mexicans. Y'all American. Even how they speak Spanish. It's a
Well, for
completely different
my,
ballgame.
my ex lady was Mexican, and they from America. They all said they Mexicans. They ain't give a fuck about none of that. Oh, I gotta be from Mexico to say I'm a Mexican. They said they Mexicans.
My wife is
That's
Mexican
my
and
experience,
Guatemalan,
though.
dog. But I get what you're saying. I definitely do, man. But it is
Like,
it is some sort of disharmony between Chicanos and
it's the
Mexican
same thing.
nationals.
It's the same thing with Puerto Ricans. You know, Edgar Berlanga is from New York. You think Puerto Ricans from the islands claim him? No, he get clowned when he goes over there. They're like,
We saw that.
You can't speak Spanish. You can't speak Spanish how we speak Spanish. You know what I mean?
It's something that just happens culturally, man. That's
It's a
all.
cultural thing.
But David is still popular amongst everybody. It's just it's a different level of support. That's all we're saying. It's not like a personal thing.
And to this battle for Mexico thing, man, we got to speak on that a little bit more, right? Because it can't be a battle for Mexico, bro, when you only got 11,000 in the MGM and they got to curtain off certain areas because them seats ain't full, bro. Like that is, come on, man. We not doing that. We not doing that. So my thing is this: when you look at I'm gonna just come on out and say, when you look at a fight between David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, man, David Benavidez is gonna do half of the work for Canelo Alvarez by meeting him in the middle of the ring. When they get in the phone booth, you talking about the volume punching. The thing about volume punching is that opens you up to be countered. And Canelo is devilish with slipping the straights and putting that left hook in your liver. That's going to have a residual effect on David Benavidez immediately. The minute he opens up, he's going to feel them left hooks to the liver, man. Canelo is a far better puncher as far as placement and technique is concerned. He knows what shots to throw. He's not just going to shoe shine you on whatever lands on some Brian Castano shit. No, he's precise and he's astute with the punches that he's going to let go of. Whether it's the uppercut, the left hook to the body, the uppercut to place the left hook in the body, all of that, the left hook to place the uppercut to place the left hook on your chin strap. He's going to put punches on this dude that he's not accustomed to seeing. And the power that he's going to hit him with is going to force him to back up. And them counters are going to be so effective that it's going to drop his output. I'm telling you, all that shit you talking, it sounds good and it's actually a good point. But if the only answer for you is the volume punching, that's going to work against them.
I'll say this.
And hold on, Solid. I wanted to step in real quick. The only thing I'll say is that David Benavidez is going to open up like he was dating Shannon Sharp. That's how he's going to open up. He's going to open up like that. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean.
Man,
because
Lord have mercy.
Just like to take off what Steele was saying is that, yeah, you throw a lot of punches, but that plays into Canelo's hand because he's a natural counter puncher. The more shots you throw, the more opportunities you give Canelo. And you say, well, Bivol's the exception to that. David doesn't have Bivol's accuracy. He doesn't. Bivol is extremely accurate. David does not have that. He got to throw twice as many punches to land half as many. So it's a completely different thing. And not only that, he doesn't have Bivol's footwork to get in and out of range. He has to sit down on those shots to get any fluctuation. So when you look at all of those things, this is a very bad matchup for David. Really, Canelo's a bad matchup. Really, Bivol's a really bad matchup. And better be if he might as well get his headstone picked out. So that's all I'm saying. And I like David, and I want to see the fights, and I think he deserves them. But I think we got to come down to reality on this, that David has to show us that he's more than what we've seen for us to believe.
I'll just say this, and I'll leave it alone after this. If they fight, just do not be surprised. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just don't be surprised.
It'd be nothing to be surprised about, bro. Canelo got his bag is way too deep for someone as crazy as David.
If they fight, they might not even fight. So this is probably a pointless conversation. They might not even fight. But if they do fight, do not be surprised.
Solidus, were you ever a fan of Deontay Wilder?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
But one thing I'll tell you is, a lot of Benavidez fans remind me of Deontay Wilder fans. Deontay Wilder was this unstoppable, immovable force. He was this guy that was going to knock out everybody. And I remember when I predicted the first fight that Tyson Fury was going to outbox this dude, I said, you fucking crazy. He's going to knock him out. And it didn't fucking happen. And then I said in the rematch, Fury's going to, hold on. Then I said in the rematch, Fury's going to knock him the fuck out. And it happened. The level of competition you fight matters. It really does. And then,
me and you said the same thing.
And he forced that issue with Bivol after previously saying that he was okay with waiting for Undisputed to play out for a third time. There's a reason why he forced that issue rather than waiting. There's a reason why. He wanted to get that accomplishment before that get took like Diddy. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
I mean, that's between them. I'm just saying, if they fight, this conversation is good. Y'all make good points. It's not even really that. We just got to see them fight, but we don't even know if they're going to fight. So this conversation might be pointless.
We don't even know if he's going to fight.
We'll
what's the name? Callum Smith. We don't know if he's going to. Who he's going to fight next?
Not even Ward.
I mean, that's what they're talking about. We'll see with that, but yeah.
But yeah,
I would think it's Callum Smith.
Circle. So we want to see David fight higher competition. I'm expecting the way you guys talk about him to go in there and wash Callum Smith. I expect Callum Smith to be knocked out cold in 3 rounds the way y'all talk about David. Because if that shit go to distance or I don't know, I just make sure David look good. Because if he go in there and look like
hey, you can't reverse psychology me. I told you that. Nobody never said he was going to watch Caleb Smith. They said he's probably going to win.
David fans talking about that. You must feel intimidated. I'm not trying to reverse psychology, bro.
No. I never heard nobody. I'm saying that because I never heard nobody say he was going to watch him. They said he'll beat him. I never heard nobody.
Me personally, you ain't looking in. They said he's going to knock out Callum Smith.
So you back it? You back?
I'm off the radar when it comes to that. Then.
Now. So
bro, 90% of David Benavidez fans think he's going to go in there and destroy Callum Smith in like 5 rounds.
They said that. Well, me personally, I think he'll win, but I don't think he'll knock him out in 3 rounds. No.
How you think he'll knock him out?
But do you think he'll?
I can see it. I can see it later in the fight. Yeah, but I don't think he'll not in 3 rounds. No.
How many rounds?
I say like 8 or 9 rounds, maybe the 9th round.
Oh, big difference, right? Yeah, from 3 to 8. He gave him the 3 to 8. Okay. So in 8 rounds, he going to sleep.
I see. Well, 9, yeah.
Now let's if it Mike like a prime Mike Tyson and Benavidez. That's what he sees when.
What you gonna say still?
No, I was just gonna say, if he don't knock him out, how do you see the score? Let's say it go to distance. How do you see the scorecards?
I can see Benavidez winning at 8-4.
My question to you is that if he goes to distance with Callum Smith, and then the next fight is Bivol, let's say Bivol gets through Benavidez, are you gonna feel confident?
Am I going to feel confident?
Like feel confident Benavidez is gonna get through Bivol, going the whole 12 with Callum Smith?
Yeah, because I think Benavidez is a threat for anybody.
Got it.
I think whoever fights him is going to have trouble.
That same, please. Yeah. All right.
Okay. That's a very interesting take on that. The only thing I'll tell you is
no, I don't have to. I keep it real. Like I don't. If I watch a guy fight, and if I think he's good, I'll say that. I don't have to.
Let me ask you this: do you think
I gotta
Callum
say
Smith,
something different because I like this guy or something? I don't have to do that.
I appreciate that. Do you think Callum Smith has a chance to hurt David in the fight?
Yeah, I think. Let me think deep about that.
Come on, man. You was about to say the right answer, dog. You don't think Callum Smith has a chance at hurting David Benavidez in this fight?
Man, so far everybody been hitting David Benavidez.
No, I don't.
How?
I don't.
Man, I need you to hear me on this. I need you to hear me. He has 3 bodies in 5 fights at 175 pounds. David Benavidez has not even dropped anybody at 175 pounds.
That's a fact. But I don't think that's a fact, but I don't think he'll hurt Benavidez.
He won't hurt
the only thing Benavidez.
Hey, when you say Morrell hurt him, you got to follow up. Like when he clipped David in the 4th round, what happened after he clipped him?
It don't matter. He hurt him.
Oh, it don't matter now. Okay,
it don't matter. He hurt him, dog.
There we go. It don't matter now.
Well, what justification could you possibly give me as to why that break down your point.
Somebody on the panel said earlier, getting clipped and getting hurt where you get knocked down is a difference. So he gets clipped. he gets clipped by Morrell.
But that was like a
legs buckle, right?
Yeah.
But yet he literally fights through the rest of the round and doesn't get further
He
damage.
held on to it. I
But
think
that don't matter.
Did he have like a pause
Fuck all that.
reaction when he took that
Come
punch?
on, bro.
he held on to him. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Did he?
Well,
Did
the
he
good
not?
thing,
Bro. That's why I wish IBF did watch what's it called? Watch alongs. We can just watch the fight and I can just point stuff out.
But what I'm saying
we'll
is
do
this,
it.
man.
We'll do it.
There's
I
no
really wish you would do that. I'll come out here and do it. I'm not
We'll
capping.
do that with David fight. I'll tell you,
So
we'll do that. Me,
everything
you, still,
I'm
all of
saying
us
will
to
be
get on here
backed
and do
up.
that for the David fight.
Everything I'm saying will be proven.
But there's
There's a
my fault,
reason
my
why.
fault.
Hold on, I'm my bad. Still, there's a reason why. Only thing I want to say is there's a reason why David gets stunned in a fight and his legs buckle. When you're doing a stanky leg, that's all I'm saying. You doing a stanky leg, there's a reason why. Because your defense, your timing, all that. But it's okay. Still, the floor is yours.
Man, I'm just saying, man, like there's just what happened, why he got clipped or whatever the fact it doesn't matter, dog. The fact of the matter is he got clipped. He got clipped because of his own deficiencies. And it
Let
was
me
just
say this.
Go ahead.
This happened a long time ago. This might not apply to today. But when Canelo got clipped by Cotto's brother, I actually was impressed with the way Canelo recovered. Very similar to Benavidez. He should have got knocked down, but he was able to not get knocked down. He got clipped. He's backing up. He was kind of holding on a little bit, but he fought through it. Same thing Benavidez did.
Wait.
So I give fighters credit for that.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on, guys. How old was Canelo when that happened?
No, it was a long time ago, so it's not really applicable.
Wait, Silas. I just want to know how old he was. Do you know how old he was?
I think he was like 21, 22.
And how old was David when he got clipped by Morrell? They was at different points in their careers.
I see, but you're not listening though. I said that was a long time ago. It's not really applicable.
Your point. I'm just saying
happened.
when guys are at two different hold on. When guys are at two different points and stages of their careers, these are completely different fighters. So you're comparing an inexperienced young Canelo to basically a prime David. I mean, if that's the comparison you want to make,
me personally,
then you can have at it. But
there was 19 years old.
Brother.
I like younger Canelo better than the Canelo we get now.
I don't, and I ain't mad at that.
No.
But the
only difference now with Canelo is he's bigger and he's stronger, but he was more athletic back then.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me that the Canelo
helped him a lot.
Yes, thank you.
But I think what you also get for what we get, I think the conversation is kind of getting a little bit, muddied or whatever. The fact of the matter is, David got clipped. Even when you talk about Canelo, what happened after that? All right, cool, yeah. But the fact of the matter is, he got clipped. So when you tell me Callum Smith is in his prime, when you tell me Callum Smith isn't able to hurt David Benavidez after we just seen him get clipped by a dude with 11 fights who ain't nearly as seasoned and as battle tested as someone like a Callum Smith, and doesn't even display the same level of skill set as a Callum Smith, I just think that's a little bit wild for me to hear you say some shit like that, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Does he really display?
Hold on one
does
second,
he really
Solid,
display the high skill set of Callum Smith?
One second, Solid. Just 1 second.
That's
and I know
questionable.
the first place that we're going to go is that Morrell skill set compared to Callum. Let's not forget he also got clipped by Ronald Gavril. So it's like, so when we talk about skills, keep that in mind, Solid. Is that it didn't take a David Morrell to clip him either. A Ronald Gavril could clip him. So if you believe in that, I'm just letting you know Callum Smith can do the job. It can hurt him.
So on average, how many fighters get clipped on average?
You're missing it, bro. That doesn't matter. That
bro,
listen.
you don't even.
Nah, because you're saying he got clipped by Morrell, so it's coming off in a way where you're saying that he might get clipped by Caleb Smith, but it's like he probably won't.
You're saying the point
you know what
is
I'm saying?
you saying
it's a genuine possibility.
The point is you're saying that it's kind of an you're saying that I can't see him hurting David Benavidez when we're telling
not by
you
Caleb Smith, no.
How though when Callum Smith is proven to be the bigger puncher between the two of them, and you getting dropped by fucking David Morrell, who is in his battle testing in his season is a Callum Smith. That's what I'm trying.
I don't think Caleb Smith is like a really good, technically good boxer like that. I think he's good, but I don't think he's on that level. I think Benavidez can kind of run through him a little bit.
Well, Ronald Gavril didn't have to be a technically good or proficient boxer to clip him, though. That's what I'm saying. So Ronald Gavril, so whatever rule you said, Ronald Gavril just proved that that's not the case.
But I can switch it up, and I can use your argument against you. How old was Benavidez in that fight?
Oh, he was young. He was younger. I give you that.
I can say the same thing. The Canelo.
But he just got clipped
cancel
again
each
by
other out.
Morrell. But he just got clipped again by Morrell. Oh, so he's showing the same flaws and deficiencies throughout his career. There's no progression in that regard because even then, Morrell's never been a world champion, never had championship level experience. And so when you look at it, you can believe Morrell has these skills, but he's never proved it.
But you disrespect Benavidez's ability to not go down, and he actually fought through it. You're like, fuck all that. He got clipped, so everything else don't matter. That don't even make sense.
So when you go up in
that don't even sound right.
I hear what you're saying, but when you go up in competition, we're arguing over the fact that a guy getting hurt and standing up, eventually you keep getting hit in the mouth, you're gonna go down.
Yeah, but that's something you gotta wait and see though. We don't even know if that's gonna happen again. That might not never happen again. We don't even know that.
No, we don't know that, Solid, but we know it's a possibility, right?
Yeah, it's a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, like that's like we say, oh, I'm messing with this girl, she got 2 kids. I'm messing with her because I know she fucking. That's why I'm messing with her. I know she get down. I'm not messing with no girl that I know ain't getting down. I like her because I see her at the abortion clinic. Oh, I know what you do. I'm hollering at you.
No, but see, the issue with it though is just because you get clipped, it's not that's not a big deal. You go and get hit.
No, it's not.
Now, if he would have got knocked down like he got knocked down by the other dude,
I'm saying
then I can understand that.
He could get hurt by Callum Smith, and he could still win the fight. Callum Smith could drop David. David get up and take it on the chin, and then turn around and win the fight. And be like, man, that was a great fight. David showed a lot of heart, got up off the canvas again, and showed us that he's that guy.
So you could say that for the Morrell fight then. He got hit, almost went down, but he didn't, and he dominated the fight.
Yeah, he did go down. I think you're missing the point, Brody. I think you're missing the point. What I'm saying is, my thing is, you are saying that you can't see Callum Smith hurting David Benavidez. When I'm telling you, we just saw a dude who wasn't as seasoned as Callum Smith and David Morrell hurt him and drop him. And I'm telling you, Callum Smith has 3 bodies in 5 fights up there at 175 pounds. I'm telling you, there's no, and not just like, bro, he gave a dude a seizure. He gave Lyndon Castillo a seizure in 2 rounds. And you telling me he can't in any way, shape, form, or fashion hurt David Benavidez.
Like do damage. Like Solidus, I think here's the thing. Like if David Benavidez is getting clipped by these lesser fighters, imagine the elite fighters.
Exactly.
And
I never denied
Smith
that.
has certified power.
But you did deny it, love.
I get that.
You did deny it, my brother. You did say that he's not getting hurt.
If he gets clipped by Callum Smith, he gets clipped by Callum Smith. Do I think he's going to let himself get clipped like he did in the Morrell fight to Callum Smith? No.
No, he didn't have a choice in the matter, my brother. He didn't say, I'm going to let myself get clipped. He went in there and fought the way he normally does. And
some fighters don't let you clip him.
But those are high IQ fighters. What? That's not who David is. David don't. Bro, I think we're mixing up David and Bivol. These are not the same guys, bro.
I think you're mixing up Zerto Ramirez and Benavidez.
Let's just keep this in perspective. I remember he said David's not as good as Bivol, but it ain't that big of a gap. And I'm like, no, there's an ocean between those guys.
Who said that?
My brother Solidus. He said that.
I did say that. Bivol, let me break it down. Bivol got better footwork. Bivol got better footwork. He has better jab. He counterpunches better. But I think when it comes to fighting in the pocket, I think Benavidez, them fast combos, his uppercuts, body blows, I think he throws those better than
Bivol. Hold on, bro. There's a reason why I say David is a B-level fighter. I think IBFP knows that. Everybody, even my homie Steve Mills right here, a B-level fighter, bro. It's not that many. He doesn't have that skill, even the skills to stop, or he hasn't stopped anybody in the last fight. So
Steel Mill.
He hasn't. He doesn't.
You sound very smart. Please tell me you do not agree with Benavidez being a B-level fighter.
I absolutely agree with it.
You can't.
Solidus, what I'm telling you,
I'm disappointed.
Solidus, listen. You go by pretty much Benavidez hurts. He looks like he hurts the fighter, right? And Canelo doesn't. I don't want to go back to Canelo, but we keep doing this because you keep bringing it up that Benavidez is this a whole different type of fighter that Canelo hasn't fought or even seen. That
All right.
Canelo doesn't look like he hurts another fighter, but Benavidez, he fights like he does. So in the last fight with Morrell, did he had all those gashes, all those bruises on his face, and Morrell really didn't? So are you telling me that he hurt
Hey
Morrell
man, that's a lot of
a lot
pepperonis
more?
on that face.
Did you see his face though?
I'm
Did
just
you
gonna
see his
leave. I'm
face?
just gonna say this:
So
if
he
they
looks
ever
like he hurt.
fight, y'all gonna be surprised. I'm just gonna say that.
A
With
lot of
Bivol?
people will be
Hey man,
surprised at
hey,
that.
tell me this. I gotta commend you, man. You got a lot of faith on David Benavidez, man.
I will
Way
say
too
that.
much.
You have a
Hey,
lot of
Mirage,
faith, bro. You got more faith in David Benavidez than I got
and
in my
himself.
bitch, cause I don't trust that hoe walking down the street. So you got a lot of faith in David. I
You know what's
respect you for
crazy
that.
though?
No, I'll say this. If he goes in the ring and loses, I'm willing to be like, okay, he lost. Like I like Earl Spence. Let me use Earl Spence for real quick. I like Earl Spence. I never thought he was better than Terrence Crawford, but I thought Earl Spence was good. You know how everybody was like, fuck Earl Spence when he lost to Terrence Crawford? I was like, hey, he lost to the better man that night. It is what it is. It is he
Yeah, but
lost. He got an L on his
his
record.
whole
Now just
fan
kept it
base,
moving. I can
his
do the
whole
same for
fan base
Benavidez if he
disappeared.
catches an L. It is what it is. He
I
lost.
don't know.
And
Just
one L
judging by
doesn't.
what I've seen from Benavidez in his fights, I will find it I would be very surprised if somebody's able to go in there and just wash him. I'll be very surprised.
Oh my
You'd be
god.
very surprised by that. All right,
Oh
bro.
my
That's
All
all
god.
right.
I'm saying.
I'm listening.
All right.
Nah,
All right.
Bro, I
y'all
would
got
not be surprised if he got washed, because Caleb Plant went in there 5 straight rounds and worked him. And I
facts.
feel like if his gas tank was on fleek, he would have just beat his ass the whole fight.
He would
And
have.
Let
and
me say this
but we
about
know
the
Caleb Plant gas
Caleb
tank ain't
Plant.
gonna last that long. So
Let me
only thing I'm saying, hold on, Solid. So the only thing I'm saying is, you go in there and fight a Bivol who's levels above Caleb Plant. It's over for this buddy. It's over for the boy. Like,
Over.
let
and
me
and, he, and I personally feel he going to sleep. Like, I feel like I'm gonna bring a pillow to the fight and popcorn. I'm eating popcorn. I got a pillow. This for you, David. This for
let
you.
me touch on the Plant and Benavidez fight. What I liked about that fight is the first 5 rounds, he was losing the fight. Caleb Plant was hitting and moving real good. He was holding a lot, but he was hitting and moving real good. I like how Benavidez kind of like, okay, I don't really know what to do, but he kind of like figured it out right around the 6th round. And then he caught up to a Plant. And then what happened after that? It was over
It
after
wasn't
that. It
his
was nothing
He
he
finish.
could
won a
do.
It
decision.
wasn't
Hold
his
on.
finish.
He went. Yeah, he said, "What happened after that?" You act like it was some big dramatic finish, and he went to a decision. It wasn't like he
He
finished
beat the
off a
shit out of him
tired
though.
Plant or
And
wobbly Plant. He went to a
he didn't knock
decision,
him
bro.
out.
Like,
He didn't knock him
there was
out.
no special effects, no nothing,
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but
As
I'm
a matter
keeping
of
it
fact,
real
hold
though.
on. Solidus.
No,
I'm
no.
keeping
So
it
so
real
you
right
are
now.
you are keeping it real.
I'm saying that he didn't knock him out.
Yeah,
I never said he
That's
knocked him out. He
no,
beat
no.
the
I'm
shit
But you
out of him
said
though.
that
He
he
didn't knock
figured
him
it
all
out.
I'm
out. It
saying
was
is he gave a very unimpressive performance. Oh, Caleb Plant, I'm gonna break your jaw. I'm gonna knock you out. And we already seen Canelo stop Caleb. We know Caleb has
The
gas
Canelo and
tank
Caleb
issues.
Plant fight was kind of boring. He didn't.
No, no, I
All
mean
he did,
that's up to
was
you.
just walk
what?
Caleb Plant down and just punch on him until he knocked him out. That's the
Bro.
whole
So we
fight. Just
talking
walk him down
about.
and punch him.
So
I
we
don't know if
talking
Walk him
y'all.
about
down and
I
punch
don't
him.
know
Oh
if
finish.
you
The
my
whole
understand
fight.
god.
this, Solid.
What?
Hold on, Solid. I don't know if you understand this. I don't know if you understand, but people
That's all
enjoy
he did.
knockouts. People enjoy
Brody.
knockouts. That makes the fight
No,
not
no, no,
boring.
no. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is either
Who said
or
it's
you're going to
boring?
lose. Whether somebody beats the shit out of you or knocks you out. Either or you're going to lose.
Yeah,
That's
Fam, you
all
it's
I'm
said
saying.
entertainment value.
Hold on.
you
Hold on.
you
I
said it
wanna
was
have we asked Solidus what is the strongest puncher Benavidez has fought? The strongest hitter
I would say
in his
Volvic.
career.
Who's
No,
the biggest puncher
nah,
that
he
Benavidez fought?
yeah, Solidus. Answer that.
I'll say it's a tie between either Morel or the Russian dude.
Okay.
That's that's the strongest, right?
So
A guy
yeah,
with 12
11
fights and
fight
a washed
Morel
up
or
Volvic.
retired Volsic is the
Yeah.
strongest
Hey,
fighter in the world.
y'all gotta give Morel some respect though. Morel's a really good fighter, very
No,
strong guy.
He hasn't
I knew
Morel gets
Benavidez
a
wasn't gonna
lot of
walk him over.
Morel gets a lot of respect. Them 11 fights were hard, and he got them done. He's a rookie in this
Bro, he
league,
hasn't
man.
even fought a
Oh
world
man.
champion.
He's
He
a
11
hasn't.
good.
peleas.
He
He's
was
a
a green
exactly.
fighter. He was a prospect.
And
He's a
look,
He
good.
was already
I mean, Morel has
retired.
So
never
y'all
been a
don't.
world champion. Has Morel been a world champion?
No.
No,
That's
he's
what I'm
not.
trying
Yeah.
to tell you,
Okay,
bro.
Y'all
and
just
so
keep.
Morel never fought an elite fighter either. So I mean,
But
David looked at this as a great
Morel as a
opportunity.
fighter is really good though. as a fighter. He don't got the accolades. If you're saying he don't got the accolades, okay, that's true. Yeah, he don't have the accolades.
Do matter to some degree for Morrell because he's never had that experience fighting at the top to prove he's a really good fighter. Everybody looks good up to a certain.
He fought an experienced fighter in Benavidez and went 12 rounds.
Hold on. I remember Edgar Berlanga was knocking guys out, had this historic knockout streak.
Yeah, 16
he looked really
in the first
good
round.
until he didn't. Then he thought he was Mike Tyson trying to bite dudes' ears and shit. Like we knew that. But that's what I'm saying. That's why competition matters, because then when you get in there, we can really see who you're dealing with. I mean, in the famous words, and so we'll say that in the famous words of Keith Sweat, David Benavidez has fought nobody on that elite level. Nobody on that level. He's
not even on
nobody.
Bivol's level. Better be his level.
Not even close,
he
man.
He fought a former retired guy in 11 fight Morrell, which were quality wins, but they're not like, we're not finna go and say this guy's a world beater. Oh, him and Bivol are close because of this. Now stop it.
Yo, but he did. Benavidez did beat the great Demetrius Andrade.
That is true.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a win right there. That was a hell of a win.
Andrade's the undisputed, whatever the most hyped, undisputed non-fighter ever in the world. Like this guy got more hype than anybody.
And where's his fan base at? Where's his fan base at?
Oh man,
he's not a 68 pounder.
I got my brother Goofy Combat here. Let me read a few of these comments they had about us. He said Mexican is a citizenship unless he has a Mexican citizenship. He will never be Mexican. Andy Ruiz is more Mexican than Benavidez, as he actually did paperwork to represent Mexico in the Olympic tryouts, but he was born in the U.S. So, and this is coming from the straight Latino community that understands and know this. And so that really pretty much did it. Domo has one and says, Solidus, you praising David for fighting after getting buckled by Morrell, where him getting buckled by Morrell shows he isn't an A-level fighter. He sucks. That's a very astute point. That's a very astute point.
Like I said, I understand.
Domo has a couple more for you, Solidus, then I'm going to let you go. Domo also says David Benavidez has been clipped and dropped more times than Canelo has over a 17-year span.
God.
That's another body. Domo is not bullshitting. Domo also says, Solidus, why couldn't David walk Plant down all night and stop him? See, that's another body. Because if you couldn't do it to Plant, don't even talk to me about Dimitri Bivol. Don't even talk to me about Dimitri Bivol.
Whoa. Y'all get fighters held all the time for always holding. That's what Plant was doing. Now all of a sudden he couldn't walk him down.
What you mean?
Y'all got selective hearing, bro.
You're supposed to break the clinch.
Bro, I've been coming on these panels, all these Mexican fight fans. Oh, he holds too much. He grabs too much. Plant did it to Benavidez. All of a sudden, he can't walk him down.
But the thing is,
seriously,
this is what you're not getting.
Y'all criticize guys that do that all the time, but you're willing to give Plant a pass because it's Benavidez.
No.
Nah, bro. I've heard enough. This ain't the only panel that did that.
Let's still get this one off, Solidus. One second, fellas. Let's still get this one off.
You're supposed to be the Mexican monster, dog. You're supposed to know when you no. Check it out. If you can't break the clinch physically, get him up off you and put a shot down the middle, you're supposed to time him. You saw it in his body language when he was looking to wrap you up. I knew off rip his offense would stop. He get like this certain type of dip in his you know what I'm saying, in his body language, and he go and clinch you. You know, he go for the wrap. You're supposed to know when that shit is coming, because I seen it coming a mile away sitting here on the couch. You can't put a straight down. Hold on. You can't put a straight down the middle. You can't put a jab in his face or keep a jab in his face to offshoot him, blind him with the jab, keep him busy with keep his mind working with the jab in his face and bring something over the top, so he doesn't even get in a position.
Hold on, Solidus, 1 second, Solidus. I got to read one more because Domo dropped another one. He says Canelo is elite at creating and exploiting high guard errors. David simply is not elite and hasn't gone through this enough against elite fighters to tell you that David can survive this. His feet got dropped by 2 B-level fighters. And I don't know, B-level might be generous for the guys because Gavril is not B-level at all. And so, like, really, Domo out here spitting and schooling and educating. And no, nobody has selective hearing or listening, or nobody's being selective.
So,
hold on, let me finish this one real quick, Solidus. The only thing the fans are saying is when people talk about holding and all of that type of stuff, The great David Benavidez and 90% of his fans, I guess you're not one of them, but the majority of his fans are talking like David is finna wash everybody. So when he goes in there and he's so high IQ and he's just right under Bivol with his IQ, like David is almost at Bivol's level with IQ, then why the fuck can't you navigate that when you're in the ring with Caleb Plant and stop him? Canelo did. So are you saying Canelo's higher IQ than David? Because David's supposed to be that guy that's right under Bivol. So that's what I'm saying. These narratives don't work. They don't fly. David is simply not the guy these people believe he is. And I get it. He's built off of a hate Canelo narrative that Steel Milton already laid out. That's a body, man.
So all these boxing pundits and all these former and current fighters that are basically saying what I'm saying, y'all override all of what they're saying. That's what y'all telling me.
No, what we're saying is
a lot of pundits and writers are meat writers.
No, I said boxers.
So to act like, hold on, to act like that you haven't seen a pundit or a writer to willfully say, I don't like this fighter and I like this one. There's a lot of guys who do that shit. I mean, we've even seen.
That works for Canelo too.
I know it works for everybody.
Yeah, it does. It works for everybody.
I'm not putting this on one side. This is everybody. But we've seen James Toney, former fighter, said Canelo was going to get knocked out by Iris Landy Lara, going to get knocked out by Jamal Charlo, going to get knocked out by Caleb Plant. Literally every prediction.
He ain't fight Jamal Charlo.
Hold on, let me finish. Said he's going to get knocked out by somebody. So that's what I'm saying. He's not picking off of what he sees in the ring. He's picking off of his emotions and his hate for the guy. Like you can tell it's obvious with some people, bro.
Bro, what? Yes, it is hate.
That's definitely hate. That's definitely hate, Brody. That's not objective.
We can understand the hate coming off his. We could understand the hate, but we can understand the hate. I couldn't make the word up, but you know, he kind of like punch drunk. You know, we can understand shit.
All I'm saying is, I'm just gonna say this.
So disrespectful.
This is my third time saying it. If they actually do ever fight in regard to Canelo and Benavidez, if they actually fight, do not be surprised if Benavidez beats him.
Let me say this,
I want to get this one in, Goofy. I did see your super chat. I read this one on him already about the Mexican citizenship. Let me see. Oh, here we go. This is the one he's talking about. Why are we also ignoring that David Benavidez also has Ecuadorian ancestry as well? Ecuador needed representation too, but he would rather represent Mexico, which is more marketable. That's another body bag right there.
That's a body bag.
And because he's not 100%, even genetically, he's not 100% Mexican. So that's something that we really have to get into.
Yeah, he's multiracial.
And hold on. And then Domo has another one. He says, Solidus, why was Canelo able to stop Plant's first clinch attempt by pushing him back and landing it right underneath, knocking him out, but David did it? Simply because David doesn't have the IQ. That's a body bag.
He didn't run from Canelo.
Hold on. And then Mike Trade
He was running from David.
Hold on. One second, Solidus. 1 second, Solidus. Mike Trade, salute to Mike Trades as well. He says, why is Solidus always taking shots at Mexican fans? I don't know. You're going to have to ask Solidus about that. We're going to have to get his thoughts on why Mexican fans are always at the tip of his tongue. We got to figure that one out. I don't know why. Domo says, Solidus, those pundits are indicative of America right now. Xenophobic, of course, they don't want a non-American as the face of American boxing. They want David, but propagate versus proving it because he sucks. So basically, they saying that David's an American. They want him over Canelo. That's why they're pushing him so hard. And it makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And we got one more from my brother Lord Scante. No one is giving Plant a pass for clinching. We just at clowning David Benavidez for not being able to break it.
Exactly.
If Canelo can break it, why can't David?
Why can't David figure that out?
Isn't he a monster?
And
He's
salute to Domo,
monster.
salute to Goofy Combat, salute to Mike Trades, and salute to Lord Scante. Yeah. So Solid, is you like a rebuttal to any of those points?
No, nobody. Like I said, if they ever actually fight, do not be surprised if Benavidez wins. And as far as the Mexican fans, I don't know what. I mean, just responding to some bullshit I hear. But as far as like not liking Mexican fans, I don't think that would be a terrible direction to go in if I'm going to talk about boxing. So that's not accurate. But I will respond to some bullshit though that a lot of Mexicans say. But other than that, I don't really see that's not true.
No,
And as
it's
far
not
as
off
but yeah,
limits.
like I
Like if
said, I say it
Mexican
again.
fans
Like
say something bad, you
if
can
they fight,
correct
it's
them,
a wrap.
just like any other fan base.
If they fight, it's a
Yeah.
wrap.
So IBFP on another topic from that, I think it might be over with the Benavidez topic. But going back to the Ryan Garcia and the boots topic, I think it's just they're mostly those casual rate or slash casual YouTube fans that like the TikTok videos that Ryan Garcia likes. Those are the fans that are saying, "What you mean, IBFP? He can knock out Boots? Hell yeah, he can. What you talking about?" Those are the racist casuals that always they're the racist Latino fans. I'm not even Mexican, but even I know what they mean by that. They're just a bias because since of course, we're all Canelo fans here. They want you to keep going for the Mexican fighter to be obviously a black fighter. They want that. That's what I even commented that. Yo, what are you talking about? You just a Ryan Garcia fanboy. Because in what world will Ryan knock out or even beat Boots? I never see that shit. Even the
I'm
You
gonna be
know,
honest
Teofimo
with you,
fans.
bro.
boxing has tribalism. We all know that.
The
It does. It does.
tribalism, yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like it's just certain things like that I just can't even believe. Like I know you're a fan of a guy, but I just can't believe it. It's like kind of like with the David thing when guys put him up there like him and Bivol's a 50-50 fight. I say anybody believe that need to be drug tested immediately.
That's what
Please,
yeah.
immediately get
It's the
them to a drug
tribalism,
testing.
bro.
I'm like, where's Michael Jordan at? Get help. Seek help. Please help them.
Bro, I'm
Please
telling you,
Yeah,
get
I
some
can't
Racial
help.
believe you said that,
services.
bro. I can't believe
and
you
I
said
think
that shit.
every race we all, or I mean, every race has a tribalism, and that's when they
That's
come
true.
out and it's that racist shit, bro.
You know,
And they're not real boxing fans.
I
They're
will
not.
I will say this. I will say this. What he said is true, but from my circle and from other black folks, we don't like, okay, a black fighter will lose to a Mexican fighter. It happens, right? We don't really trip off that too much. It is what it is. He lost, he lost. But I have seen Mexicans get really upset when the black guy wins. So that's
Because
unfortunate, but
yeah,
it
they're
is what it
seeing
is.
color. They're not
Cause
seeing a
me, I don't
fighter
give a fuck.
beating. They're not seeing a good fighter beating another good fighter. They just see color versus color. That's what those are the racist ones, bro. And that's what.
There's a section of racist fans on
Yeah.
every side, and then you have a
Hmm.
median set of fans that are really smart and intelligent and not really about that type of talk.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
That's right.
And then you have meat lovers like Mirage, and those guys are a whole nother
And the
category.
ashy knuckles, yeah.
Yeah, and
The
IBFP,
Glazers.
hold
I
on.
think you.
Domo has one more for you. Domo has one
Oh,
more. He says solid is too bad. We'll never know. They'll never fight. David's too important for Saudi.
Oh, not
Damn.
too important.
Yeah,
Damn.
he kind of like that statement right there. I actually like what that dude just said because I don't
yo,
think they're going to fight. So this conversation, even though it was entertaining to
But
have,
why did he say
this
they
shit
weren't going
probably
to fight? What
pointless.
did he say at the bottom of that? He said
The
David's
Saudi, he
too
don't want to fight
important
in
for
Saudi
Saudi.
Arabia.
Why does David not want to fight in Saudi Arabia?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
You
Hey,
don't want to
Canelo
examine
fighters.
that? That's something you might want to spend some time thinking about why David don't
yeah.
want to go over there and fight.
Right.
Because if Saudi's not too good for Beterbiev, Bivol, Canelo, all the fights he supposedly wants,
So what did
you
what did you
shouldn't
hear about
restrict
it?
your
You
hold
sound
on.
like
You
you know.
should
What did
not
you hear?
hold on 1 second. You should not restrict yourself to a certain area of the world when all the guys you want to fight are fighting somewhere else. Shouldn't you go across the street and fight those guys too? Say, look, let me go over where they at, because that's where the action at, right?
No, I can't speak on why he don't want to fight over there. He don't want to fight over there.
But
Because he don't
you
want to
don't
go over
make
there and
what
I'm
find
not
out,
saying
bro.
I
Because it's a
agree.
dog house over
you
there.
can't.
It's a
Why can
crop
you?
pool over there in Saudi, bro. Straight up
I'm
and down.
not
That's a
saying I
dog house.
agree, but this is what the man said out his own mouth. I'm going off what
I
he
know,
Yeah,
said.
but
but you don't
I
want to
know.
put the puzzle pieces together, bro.
Solid. Do you know what that make David look like? So when you say I won't fight
Yeah,
in
it's a
Saudi,
red
but
flag.
hold on. When you say you won't fight in Saudi, but Canelo, Bivol, and Beterbiev fight in Saudi, you look like a chihuahua barking behind the fence. Like
It's
you
a red
talking all this
flag.
shit,
I
but I
agree.
know I'm safe because I'm behind this fence.
It's the
I'm just
tank
behind the
shit all
PVC
over
fence.
again,
It
bro. I
might
don't
not
want to
be
It's
go.
the
that deep,
PV.
but it is a red flag.
That's what it. I
It's
think David
definitely that
Benavidez
deep.
he's the super middleweight Tank Davis.
He is,
Yeah,
bro. Well,
that's
he's a
David, bro.
bro. If we being real, David Benavidez's resume is slightly better than Tank Davis. That's just a fact. The dude is fighting barely good. He's fighting good enough competition to where he can escape being ostracized like Tank is being ostracized.
But it's
But
only
let's
by a cunt hair.
by
Yep.
Only by a
exactly.
little.
Yep. That's why when you did that poll, I was like, man,
I think
it's tough.
even Tank beating Pedraza. I think he's a step just a little
look,
over.
and we're talking about power at 75. The only thing David's dropping at 75 is cheeseburgers. That's it. Like I didn't see him drop nothing else at 75. Domo got another one. He said he scared them real fighters gonna hurt his titties.
Oh man.
Prime Time said I missed one. Let me go find you, Prime. Let me go find you, Prime.
They might pop a titty.
I'm telling you, man. David Benavidez is not what y'all think he is. He's a good fighter, but this is my biggest beef with him, man.
Jose Ortiz.
The
Salute to you,
dude.
Primetime 89.
Oh.
Salute to you, my brother. Thanks so much. He says, didn't Canelo knock out a champion in Kovalev in his first fight at light heavyweight?
Ooh.
But it's okay that David has him because he's only fought there twice.
Ooh.
We gotta keep that same energy.
Ooh. Solid is. Solid.
That's a quick body, Primetime.
No, the guy, that dude that y'all was arguing with earlier, he kind of explained the behind the scenes on that. You rewind it.
But my thing is this: so if we knock Canelo for fighting Kovalev, right? Then we gotta knock David Benavidez for fighting David Lemieux. We gotta do that shit.
David Lemieux.
Damn. There's no way you can get away with saying that. Oh well, knocking him for going up and fighting a champion in Kovalev. Yeah, there were weight stipulations.
Like I said, there's some political stuff that went on with that.
The weight stipulations.
Wait. The thing you're missing. Hold on. The thing that everybody's missing here. Canelo fought a champion at a higher weight class he did not campaign in. Even if there's a weight stipulation, he should get credit for that. But number two, before Canelo reached out to Kovalev, he reached out to Beterbiev. And so you need to go do your research. So I got a video with factoids on that if you want to go check it. But he reached out to Beterbiev.
Bro, he wasn't gonna fight no Beterbiev at that time. Come on.
I don't care what you believe, bro. I don't care what you believe. The facts are out there.
Stop it.
So I've already. I don't care. Your opinion on the matter. You believe Benavidez is a great fighter. So me and your opinion is never going to align. All I'm saying is the facts are out there. Canelo reached out to him.
He is a great fighter.
Now, do I believe if Canelo would have went up there and fought Beterbiev at that time, I don't think things would have ended well for him. I think things would have went left.
As long as you say that, we good.
No, I don't have to. No, you want somebody to hate on Canelo. I mean, maybe Canelo would have pulled it out, but I think Beterbiev would have got him at that point. But the point is it ain't about whether he wins or loses the fight. The fact that he got the nuts to want to fight the guy shows me something about him. It ain't really about you winning or losing, dog. Like, everybody loses. It's about you having the nuts.
So why, when I said that, it was a big deal?
Bro, everything you say, you put in a different context.
All right.
But hold on. I got something else for you. Mike Trades also says, what about the LDBC? They worse than Mexican fans. And you did not mention the LDBC, Solidus. Do you know who the LDBC is?
I don't really rock with them.
Okay, so that's an entire community of pro-black channels that are very racially biased and motivated. So I know
I know who they are. I just don't rock with them.
All I'm saying is, when you mention one, you got to mention the other, or you're going to come off biased too.
No. He asked me why was I saying about Mexican fans, and I gave my explanation.
I know.
That's why I said that.
But we have to acknowledge both sides of the coin.
He didn't ask me about the LBDC though.
Okay. Last thing I want to get into before we leave. It's being reported, I believe, from Dan Raphael that Stephen Fulton and Oshaki Foster has been agreed to.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what you think about this still. I don't know if it's 100% official but they're saying there's like an agreement in principle. What do you think about this still?
Salute to Fulton for taking a chance and moving up and everything. But it's gonna end up bad for him, bro.
Damn.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Shaq. I'm not, you dig, but he's a legitimate champion up there at 130 pounds, and he has Stephen Fulton ain't hurting my daughter, dog. That dude just ain't punching like that. And the higher you go up in them divisions, you're going to need firepower to keep whoever it is up there up off you. And he don't got that to contend up there with him. Okay, let's say he does beat Shaq at 130 pounds. Who else is up there waiting for him? Who else is at 130 right now? Wait, who's the champions at 130? Who's the champions at 130?
Navarrete. Oshaki.
I'm having a brain.
Oshaki, and there's been the WBA's vacant. No, WBA's Lamont Roach.
Okay, yeah. I'm tripping.
IBF is vacant.
If you get in there, you put Fulton in there with Emmanuel Navarrete. How do you think that fight is gonna go?
Huh.
I rest my case, man. Yeah, bro. Nah, salute to Stephen Fulton for being the G that he is and moving up and wanting to fight. But it's gonna get ugly for that dude. The more he keeps moving, you got knocked out at 122, love one. You don't belong at no 130. And you got downed at 126. You got dropped the fight before you fought fucking Figueroa.
Yeah,
You're
he
not
did.
going to do
He
nothing. You're
looked
not doing
bad.
nothing
He
at 30.
looked bad. He looked bad.
Jose Ortiz, shout out to you. He says Canelo making the fight in Saudi in the morning so we can see it. And so the fight, so that is a good thing. He also said suddenly I'm buying the fight. Wasn't when I heard it was in Saudi early morning. Then says the fight is early so we can watch it at normal time in the U.S. That's face of boxing type of shit. So I do respect Canelo. David won't even go to Saudi, so we'll even never know if we can get it at that same time frame. Because David doesn't want to go there and do that. Shout out to my brother Jose Ortiz. Much love and respect to everybody. Final thoughts from everybody. Anybody got any last thing to say before we head up out of here?
Hey, Nuke, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm hearing a rumor that the PBC and Top Rank is gonna do like a collab, and
yes,
I've
heard that. I've heard that. I heard
Fundora,
they're gonna work together.
Fundora, Sander Zayas, possibly Jermel Charlo versus Elisari Lara. I don't know how true that is for the 160 WBA belt. But
I don't know about that fight. I heard Jermel was coming back to 54, but one thing I will tell you is I got everybody beating Fundora. He's on fraud alert with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
He's on fraud alert with me.
Shit, man.
Solidus, Caesar, Chill, Mills. What do you guys got to say before we head up out of here? Any last thoughts about anything?
Nothing, man. Just stop amping David. Call this shit correct with David. The dude is a good fighter, but he has yet to show that he's worthy of this juggernaut that y'all keep trying to make him out to be. Man, stop preordaining these dudes is demons, bro. He not there just yet, and I don't think he ever gonna be there. He's gonna be a good fighter and ride off into the sunset after he gets smacked on a multitude of times. Because that's just what that is.
And Clean Cut Stacks TV leaves a comment for Steel Mills and says, I actually disagree with the panel. I think that Ryan Garcia can knock out Boots.
Oh, yeah, I got to leave on that one. Yeah, I get with y'all later. Yo. He burnt the fuck out. I'm out.
Salute to everybody, man. We'll be on it the next time. Salute, fellas.
Thank you. Salute everyone.
Salute, Solidus.